It's Game 7. It's here. Montreal Canadiens versus Buffalo Sabres. We are just a few minutes away from puck drop as Montreal is looking to make the conference finals for the first time since 2021. Look, we already made the second round, and despite people saying, oh, it's a successful season anyway, you know what? We're going to make it even better, Jesse. We're ready. There's so many sides Montreal's going to win. Some crazy last-minute lineup changes that no one saw coming. How excited is everyone in the comment section? How excited are you? I want W's in the chat. Go Habs, go in the chat. Everyone send all that energy because this is about to be incredible, Jesse. I'm so excited for this game.
What an amazing season it's been so far. What amazing playoffs. Second round, Game 7, Josh. We are beyond excited. It's an honor to be here all together. Just a crazy ride. We're looking to keep this going here tonight, Josh. But we're excited, right? Because we looked at some of the positive indicators coming in tonight's game. You know, we're bringing that propaganda hot and heavy here tonight. Again, Montreal Canadiens 5-0 after a loss here in the playoffs. That means this team, Josh, it has pride. And I think that this is going to be so important. Like Gouli ahead of this game here, he's saying here tonight that like these boys, they're tight. They've been through so much together through this rebuild. You got to feel like they're going to be called upon that here tonight in a big Game 7.
They absolutely are. He said they're like a group of brothers. I had this from the video earlier, so it's very, very good that we called this out. Look, he even said if you told them they'd be playing Game 7 of the second round of September, they would have been all about it. Yeah, they absolutely should be. It's been an absolutely unbelievable season, but we got some last minute lineup changes. So those of you in the chat, well, I don't know if you've seen it or not. We got lots of long-term members. Ron Keniston, great to see you here again, Ron. Hackdog, one of the long-term supporting members as well. So many. Ron Keniston's a Buffalo fan in disguise, guys. Kick him out of the live stream. No. We'll see. We'll give everyone a fair shot, but I think Ron's a pretty big supporter. But if you guys haven't seen, we saw this from Elliot Friedman first, saying Oliver Kapanen will take warm-up for Montreal, but Jesse, was what happened after that, as Eric Engels was there announcing the warm-up lines. Caufield, Suzuki, Slafkovsky, no change. Newhook, Evans, Demidov, no change. Bolduc, Kapanen, Duck. Joe Veleno comes out of the lineup, and no, it's not Brendan Gallagher. It is Mr. 20 goals as a rookie, Oliver Kapanen, taking his place. I mean, no one really expected this to happen in this game, Jesse. The guy who played all 82 regular season games has not got almost any run in this playoffs at all. A guy who has some good goal scoring ability, a guy whose play style might do well against Buffalo. We haven't seen him yet in this series. How are you feeling about this last minute change, you and everyone in the chat?
This is coming completely out of left field. I'm surprised, but I'm feeling it, Josh. Like, it kind of is reminiscent of like Brendan Gallagher, where like we're bringing him in, you hear that like that roster change, and you're just feeling that momentum like right away. And like this move here with Oliver Kapanen, it's just giving me those similar type of vibes. And like we've talked about it, right, Josh? And like you guys in the chat as well, where it's like, just that's what makes this Montreal Canadiens team like so special, is that we have options. We're able to get through that first round here with very much without having a Noah Dobson because of the depth that we have. We're here to get into the second round, Game 7, without one of our better goal scorers this year, a guy who scored over 20 goals in Oliver Kapanen here this year. So you got to feel again that he's just like, for me, it's been interesting. I get in the playoffs, things have to change, but I've been surprised. I was shocked, like, not to see him in the lineup, like, at all, like come back at some point in Tampa, but other guys came in. I think that Martin St. Louis was keeping this card up his sleeve for the right time, and he's drawing in right when the Habs really need him the most.
Marty, like we said, right? I didn't think this was going to happen, right? And we got a poll running right now. Everyone in chat, vote. Do you like the fact that Oliver Kapanen is the one playing in Game 7 over Brendan Gallagher and Joe Veleno? Because I know there's a lot of Gallagher fans. The thing is, he's a step slow at this point in his career. I love Gally. And Jesse, I was saying earlier, there is no one I would trust more to give their all in a Game 7 than Brendan Gallagher. Like, just a straight up fact. But with this play style, I didn't expect it, but I personally like it. I like that Marty's switching it up. Joe Veleno, to his credit, he's had some good moments. He's had some rough moments, but, you know, he brings physicality, brings defense. Gallagher, he brings heart, he brings energy. He gives a bit of Zach Benson energy, or should I say Zach Benson brings some Brendan Gallagher energy. Let's be honest here. Who started this? It's Brendan Gallagher, the absolute legend. But Oliver Kapanen coming in, though the thing is too, Jesse, he's not playing with Ivan Demidov, right? And we know that a lot of his production this year did come on Ivan Demidov's wing. Instead, he's playing with Bolduc and Dach, though, which I find interesting because that line was at its best this playoffs when those two, Dach and Bolduc, were playing alongside Texier. So now you bring in another guy who has some skill, hands not quite as good as Texier, but you could argue a better shot, or at least a better goal scoring ability near the net. I actually think this could work very well just based off what we've seen from Bolduc and Dach this playoff so far.
And again, like, it's all going to come down to really like those details of the game. And again, that's a big thing about Dach that you got to like, is that's what he was doing first. And then it translated onto the score sheet. And that's why I'm also liking the move of bringing Oliver Kapanen back. Yes, I will harken back to that, Josh, just because again, in a game 7, like we remembered last time in our game 7 where the margin of error was so small, it's a tight checking game. Now the Sabre series, like it's really like, it's one team or the other for the most part. It hasn't been like when it's a win, it's mostly one way or the other. But you have to feel all the same in a game 7. Like it's going to come down to the details of the game. And having somebody like Oliver Kapanen that really, as a rookie, thrives on the defensive side of the game. Just so much support to his D-man all the time. Some great options for breaking out the puck. Has that skill, but also that defensive play to really back it up as well. That's why I'm surprised to not see him drawn into the lineup. Like he's such a great combo. Like if you're telling me Oliver Kapanen's coming in rookie year, scoring over 20 goals, like we best believe like this is a big kind of like wild card that Marty's bringing in here tonight. As a rookie, he's got those details of the game, and that's really what the playoffs are all about. So that's why I'm liking this move here tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. Like no pressure. You can see him here currently on the screen chewing on his mouth guard. And by the way, for everyone watching who wants to sync their game up with us, what's gonna happen is everyone is going to pause when their puck drop happens, and at one point, we're going to say unpause, and then we're all going to be watching together. You can participate, you don't have to, up to you, but your viewing experience is enhanced a little bit if you do that. As you can see, the Sabres getting ready to come out onto the ice. There's still a bit of time here before puck drop because, of course, a 7:30 p.m. Eastern game's not going to start at 7:30. It's probably going to be 7:45, but I like that because we get some chances to discuss some things before this game with the wonderful fans. And one other thing that I mentioned earlier, Jesse, and we need the fans' opinions on this as I'm going to end the Oliver Kapanen poll. 66% of people said they like it. 67 actually, 33% said no. So very interesting. We also got some Habs and Sabres fans in chat, but I want to bring up one thing I saw in The Athletic earlier today. It was a great article about, both advantages to both teams heading into this game. In this game 7, Sean McIndoe, I wrote Senna, I meant to write Sean. Anyway, he's noted that the refs in Game 7, they don't want to be the ones to decide the game. Maybe some refs. Look, we got John Hebert and we got Wes McCauley, guys who, they have reputations. It doesn't matter. The Habs actually have a good record with Wes McCauley reffing, so I kind of throw that out the window. You're not going to blame the refs this early. But the refs are not going to want to decide this game. Stuff like slashes, cross-checks, boardings, they're not going to be called as tightly, right? If you can play an undisciplined game and you're not getting like too many men penalties or high sticks that you have to call, you're going to be in good shape. Because in this series, the Habs have outscored the Sabres 14-11 and 5-on-5. It's really been the special teams, which we thought would be an advantage for Montreal coming into this series. Buffalo, to their credit, has been better than expected on their power play. But keeping it a clean 5v5 game, Jesse, and letting Jakub Dobes just make his saves, to me, is probably the single biggest thing that could contribute to Montreal's success.
You're speaking my language right here, Josh. Like, playing that disciplined game is going to be key. Again, winning the first 10 minutes of this game and what it's all about. Like the Montreal Canadiens say, like they're going to have to refuse to allow anything to be scored with them. Like, let alone the first 5 minutes, first 10, like we need to win first 10 minutes of this game. It is absolutely imperative for the Montreal Canadiens' success here. And again, a lot of that is going to come down to just that discipline, which is going to be so important. And again, you're just going to have to feel like your power play is better. That's an advantage for you. Play the disciplined game, and it's really going to come out in the wash as it should. But again, I think that when we're coming to this game 7, we need to double down on really what's made us successful all the year long. And that's our identity, right? Of playing that good defense, but also blocking those shots, like collapsing down low, bending but not breaking. We're second in the league right now in the playoffs in terms of block shots. Mike Matheson is leading the entire playoffs in terms of block shots right now, so shout out to him for that. And that matters for this Montreal Canadiens team. It's really clearly the reason why we're here at this moment. So it's about leaning to all those things that made you successful in the past, which I think is really important here. And, you know, Martin St. Louis, he said some really important things here that I think is important to probably say before the puck drop here tonight. That this is game 7. Yeah. Welcome to all of you guys. If you guys are coming in the chat right now, you do not get a do-over. And so it's all about just leaving everything out on the ice. Again, this is going to come down to this young team. Can they rise to the moment? Can they show how much this truly means to them after rebuilding, going through so many dark days together, not sure what the future is going to be? Finally getting a first-round pick and then not sure if that was maybe the right choice. It ended up being, right? But there was a lot of dark days till we got there. Sneaking in the playoffs last year, but now truly making some noise, asserting ourselves, right? But you got to feel like this young team, they're not done yet.
Oh, no, they're not. Like, Lane Hutson is going to lose his mind if he doesn't get to play more hockey this year. You're going to find, no matter the result of this game, he's going to be on the ice tomorrow doing something. Lane Hutson look at all the Habs fans in Buffalo, by the way. If you're watching obviously you can't see the stream right now here, but you're probably watching on your own. So many Habs fans in Buffalo, but Hudson's going to lose his mind if he doesn't get to play some more hockey. So he has been the single biggest gamer for the Habs. I don't think it's a stretch to say he's been our best player all playoffs. Him and Jakub Dobeš right there, which is crazy because we have guys like Nick Suzuki, who's also been very solid, and like we have Slav, we have Thompson, but it's Hutson and Dobeš, like the two youngsters that are really carrying this team, and that's just such a good omen for the future. But anyway, I want to take a look through the chat. We got Ethan. Ethan, great to see you in chat. One of our wonderful mods and Rocket Richard tier members. Great to see you, Ethan. They better not start the game with the first line. Hey, we'll see. You never know. Jake Carroll in chat, channel member. Need to not have defensive breakdowns right at the beginning of the game. And yes, discipline. It is discipline. Right now in chat, what's one word that you would use to say, you know, if Montreal does this, they'll have success? Is it discipline? Is it defense? You can maybe drop 2 words, whatever. Block shots, whatever it is. Jesse, I know you said defense and discipline. I think that's some very, very good ones. Early start, just one or two words in chat. What do you think? Jason Patrick says he's nervous. We need a good first 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm just going to say one word, and I think it kind of encompasses a lot of this. It's just poise. And, you know, having that poise right now, teams are going to be nervous. Buffalo's at home. You know, Montreal had this experience of playing against Tampa in Game 7 in the first round. It was a stressful watch, you know. Of course, that game was a bit crazy. But overall, having the poise to know we belong here. We deserve to win this game. If we play our best game, that's it. You can't get overzealous. Last game, Game 6, we saw it right from the first 10 minutes. Like, not only was Buffalo playing well, but we were taking gambles, right? Pinching when we didn't need to pinch. Bad passes leading to odd man rushes. Avoiding that, just playing calm hockey. Like Marty said earlier today, Jesse, just play hockey. And we know Montreal is going to be able to come out and take this game.
Yeah, making good decisions with the puck, and I think that leads to the strong defensive play, which has been a huge revelation for the Montreal Canadiens. But you're right to highlight poise because, Josh, that leans into the mental side of the game, which we're talking about a Game 7. We'd be amiss if we didn't talk about it, right? Yeah. Because that's definitely a huge part of it. Like, emotions are going to run high, so, like, bringing that poise is really so huge. And I think kind of that balance of really wanting it with really kind of keeping like that calmness, which I think is just going to be so important, right? But I think if they can bring that poise along with like that physicality, that this is going to really lean well. Because again, this is Game 7. This is the second round of the playoffs. That physicality is going to matter. And again, that's a strong indicator for the Habs here tonight, who again lead the playoffs with 425 hits. Mm-hmm. So doing what they need to, but it's not just like one guy, right? And that's just a huge part of like your team defense. When you got guys like on the forecheck, like obviously we're going to look for big nights, like guys like Anderson, guys like Bolduc to continue to be physical. Guys like Gouli, of course, that, you know, you got to feel like these are the guys that are going to rise at these type of moments here. You got to guys, this is a lot of pride that this team has, and I expect them to really show how much they care for this team here tonight.
Absolutely, and I'm going to pause it there. And so, Jesse, when you see the puck dropped, you let us know. Everyone pause your streams at the opening faceoff, and as soon as Jesse gives the signal, we're gonna get going. They saw Rob Ray banging the drum. People are saying defense. People are saying keep the sticks down. I think that's it, Jesse. It's gonna be disciplined hockey, and I guess you're approaching it here now. What are you seeing on your screen?
I'm seeing Dobie right now in the net. They are about to drop the puck right now. I'm loving the call out from the chat here about keeping the sticks down.
Yeah.
Again, just speaks about like how well educated you guys are. Again, drop off. Where are you guys tuning from in the world? We want to know. We're right about to drop off the chat here. All hands on deck. Dropping the puck right now.
There we go. And we are live. Here we go. The game is underway. Now, you guys might be a few seconds ahead of us again. If you didn't sync it up, that's okay. It's Alex Carrier trying to get the puck behind the net. It's the Ivan Demidov, Jake Evans, and Alex Newhook line that starts the game for the Montreal Canadiens. Jason Patrick saying, I want to win tonight, and 27,000 subscribers. Don't you forget, subscribe right now. It's literally just one click. It's completely free, and we are doing watch-alongs. We're doing news videos every day, sometimes twice a day. Today, you might get 3, and don't forget, no matter what happens today, we're still going the rest of the playoffs. We're going all off-season, all gas, no breaks. We don't take days off as Buffalo gets an icing to start this one. Jesse, they just show Montreal is 7-1 in Game 7 since 2004. This franchise has that pedigree that they want to uphold. Buffalo has only won one Game 7 ever, and I believe it was in 1997 against the Ottawa Senators. So right now, again, history and the current play seems to dictate that Montreal is certainly in good shape to make a big impression tonight.
And Lindy Ruff really doesn't have the best record when it comes to Game 7s as well. So that's a factor in all this, as well as the road team has taken the majority of the wins in the series. In fact, Buffalo, what they were doing prior to this game, they were actually staying in a hotel to mimic the fact that they were on the road, right? Like, they feel like it's kind of a disadvantage for them playing at home right now. So I think that's, again, that might be a huge factor into this. But again, that's just why winning Game 5 is so important. You get 2 opportunities, you get 2 kicks at the can, and obviously, as we know, that just obviously increases your chance of winning the series so much.
So much, and Montreal is looking to put it away as the Buffalo crowd's already chanting Dobes, just like the Montreal crowd chanted all the Sabres goalies' names throughout this whole series. But it is Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in net for Buffalo. If you guys didn't catch it, they didn't go with Alex Lyon, who let in 3 goals on the first 3 shots last game. So I don't know, like, this series has been very back and forth. Both teams have had games where they've dominated the scoring chances, right? Montreal's had big wins. Buffalo had a big win. This, to me, is just going to be a game where each team shows their complete heart. You know, people are playing injured. It is what it is, the nature of the playoffs. Is Rasmus Dahlin fully healthy? I don't know, he had 5 points last game, but he didn't even play 20 minutes the game before. Josh Anderson has lost a little bit of a step. There's questions about Suzuki. Who knows? No matter what, at the end of the playoffs, we're going to see some crazy things about these players. But one thing that you cannot question, or at least we hope that you're not going to be able to question after this Game 7, is the heart and soul and effort that Montreal gives from the opening face-off of this game.
And you got to feel when you're blocking shots, when you're leading in hits in the playoffs, like, those are all the things that you want in the playoffs. Lead that, like, pair that with a strong power play as well. And we know, just historically speaking, those are the teams that tend to have success in the postseason. So that's why we remain bullish on the Montreal Canadiens. Again, we're just looking objectively at the numbers. We're looking at the eye test. Again, it's about, can we find some open space here as we're in the offensive zone now? Because if Montreal can get that open ice, they're going to be able to create some opportunities off of that.
For sure. The Habs fans in attendance wanted a trip call there as Mike Matheson went down. Very interesting. Now, you said offensive zone. What time are you at on your stream? Just because I'm not sure if we're synced up.
Absolutely. I think I'm at 4:20 right now. 18:20, excuse me.
Okay, so I'm a few seconds ahead. So I'm going to pause just for a few seconds, and I'm going to wait for you. As Oliver Kapanen did get a chance at the side of the net there, so maybe you'll see that now, I'm guessing, roughly. So anyway, we're still in the offensive zone. Oliver Kapanen on the forecheck, but Montreal manages to recover. It looks like it's Jake Evans back to the point. Caden Gooley looking, sending it back to the line, though it does come out. So Montreal's going to have to reset as it's Arbor Xhekaj who skates it all the way back into his own zone. Arbor Xhekaj, Jesse, a guy that a lot of Habs fans have been praising all year, and you know what? He's made the most of his minutes in the playoffs. Not always a ton of minutes in any given game, but he's a guy that you talk about guys that are going to give their entire heart and soul into a game. I am very excited to see what Arbor's going to bring, and I'm sure his limited minutes tonight.
I love that you're talking about Arbor Xhekaj in a Game 7, because you got to feel like that's what this guy lives and breathes for, right? Is these type of opportunities when it truly matters. Again, and like when it comes down to these Game 7s, a lot of the time, this is the exact type of game where Arbor Xhekaj excels, where it just comes down to that staring competition at the end of the day, like who's going to blink first, right? And that's where having somebody like Arbor Jack on your team is truly just such a benefit.
Very, very true. As Alex Tuch nearly sprung a chance for Buffalo there, but some good defense from Montreal disrupted it. Though Buffalo manages to keep it in the offensive zone as it's Owen Power at the line, firing one from distance through a lot of traffic. It does not get through, but Ivan Demidov sends a pass up to Alex Newhook, and it's chipped out of play. There's going to be a face-off with 16:50 left in the first period. So far, a bit of back and forth, though Montreal looking like the team who's got a bit of a step, first of all, and we're going to take this little break in the action to shout out the people from all over the world. Again, in chat, let us know where you're watching from. We got Poland, Jesse. We got Sumba Island, Indonesia. We got Orford, Quebec. We got Guelph, Ontario, Hamburg, Germany. So many people. We got Toronto, or someone said Toronto sucks. I don't know if you're saying you're watching from Toronto, but yeah, we can agree Toronto sucks. Watching in Montreal, was considering going outside the Bell Center, but my throat's still sore from screaming there on Saturday. Unbelievable stuff, Jesse. We got the international crowd as the game's back underway. The puck is chipped out. I love that. People from all over the world tuning in, sharing in this magic. That is what's special about Habs hockey.
From coast to coast, right? And it's just so nice to see people really rallying around and some of those new fans coming up. You know, it's always nice, even my pops, right, who's maybe wasn't always a Montreal Canadiens fan. We're checking in. We're getting new fans of the Montreal Canadiens, which is just so nice to see all over, right? So, again, we appreciate you guys being. It's truly been such an amazing season, and it's really all hands on deck. You guys are showing up for this team when it really matters, giving that support and that encouragement, and you got to feel like that team is feeling it as well.
The team always feels it. The team is ready to go as it's Nick Suzuki who takes these in front of Dobej. Whoa, little pass behind the net. Mike Matheson getting pressured in the corner, but he does get it up the boards to Nick Suzuki, who chips it out to the blue line. Buffalo's going to have to get out of the offensive zone, or else it's going to be offside as Mike Matheson takes it behind Dobej, springs a pass up the wing. I believe that it's Anderson or Evans. I can't tell. The stream is too small here, but it is Mike Matheson once again. He's going to take it behind Dobej. He's just going to reset, reset the nerves. We're going to see what happens here. Mike Matheson starts the rush out as it's Josh Anderson through center, backhands it in deep. Alex Texier on this line with Anderson and Deneau. A fantastic forechecking line as you're a bit ahead of me. Caden Gooley sends it in front, and Phil Deneau or Josh Anderson scores the goal. It doesn't matter who it is. The Habs score first, baby. The Montreal Canadiens are on the board. It's 1-0. It's Philippe Danault. Trade him for a second-round pick. Here we go. The best way you could have started Game 7, Jesse. You said the first 10 minutes. We're 4.5 minutes in. That's how you start this game.
Really flipping the script this time around, and it just starts by getting the puck in deep. And again, the forecheck, that's been this identity for this team for so long, recovering a loose puck. And then Deneau, right? Like, let's get some puck Gooley, let's siphon it towards the net. That's just a solid playoff goal with Deneau in front of the net there. Count on that guy, a vet, really coming and paying for the pizza when it really matters here.
Paying for the pizza, baby. Paying for the pizza. That's exactly what he does. I'm actually going to skip slightly ahead because I think I was a bit behind there. That was good because I was like, well, at least it was only about a second apart. But we did get a super chat from Jake Carroll because we're all so excited. $5 from Jake Carroll. Thank you, Jake, for saying Danault. It's pizza time, boys. Everyone send pizza emojis in the chat right now. Send your pizza emojis. I'm going to send some. Oh, well, hold on. Let me see. Search emotes. Pizza. Let's get it. Spam the pizza emotes in the chat. Everyone, right now. That's what we got to do to celebrate Phil Deneau. As Zach Bolduc is once again in on the forecheck, Jesse. Habs are starting hot and heavy, and that's exactly what we needed to see. Buffalo looks a little rattled in front of their home barn. A lot of time left. We saw what happened last game, but you could not ask for a better start to this one.
And especially following up that shift after with some heavy hits being thrown at the blue line. You absolutely love that. Like, that's exactly what I want to see in a Game 7 after scoring a goal. That's when you know that this team isn't setting their laurels. Like, if that's Kirby Dach that's setting that hit there, like, I'm just going to absolutely lose it because it's just been a complete transformation for this player so far this year. And again, like, what he's doing, that's exactly the way that you want to respond, and really build upon some good early success.
Exactly. You got to just keep the pressure on now. As it's Buffalo who's cycling it around Montreal's zone. This is Josh Doan, sends it behind the net. Montreal's not giving him much space, though. They're not giving him any space in the middle. They're playing a very conservative game right now, except Alex Newhook, as he pressures the puck, and it's Lane Hutson, who's sprung on the break. He shoots Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen with the save. I think I might be a second or two ahead of you, yeah?
A second, but it's all good.
It's all good. Okay, I'm just going to pause for literally 1 second and then play again. Just want to sync it up as good as we can so we can share this with the fans. As right now, it's Nick Suzuki who sends it down into the zone. Juraj Slafkovsky chasing in the forecheck. Big hit. Suzuki out in front. Caufield. And there's a big save by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Great save by him, but Jesse, the Habs have been relentless so far. You know what they're doing? They're playing off the rush. Is that not the one thing that we said the Habs needed to do if they wanted to generate more chances? It's where we thrive. We could not get it get done in Game 6, but so far in Game 7, it's been chance after chance as Caufield comes within a couple of inches of raising that over UPL's arm and into the top corner. What a start.
And it's really the identity for this team. And just so nice to see that we're building off of that early goal. We're not resting. We're going after right after the transition game. That's definitely our game. But you got to love to see Cole Caufield getting his chances early. There's a direct correlation between shot attempts for Cole Caufield and just the Montreal Canadiens winning hockey games. He's just one of the premier snipers in the league. You want to see him just getting opportunities quick and early here on the night. And if you like seeing Cole Caufield scoring big goals in big games, subscribe to the channel so you can stay locked in here in the playoffs. We're looking to hit 27,000 here while we're on the stream with all you fine folks here. We truly appreciate your support, but we want to keep you locked in because we know things are changing really quickly. We're often doing multiple videos per day, so we want to make sure that you're up to date on that, the most important information here, so you can really enjoy this ride to the fullest.
You literally have no reason not to subscribe. If you want to stay up to date, this is the spot to be. We are so fast on all the daily videos. Again, all off season, all regular season. You will not find a channel more consistent than us. We're doing this for you right now. Thank you for tuning in. We'd love to hit 27,000. We're already seeing the numbers come in. This is unbelievable. Jesse, the pizza. Let me just scroll through this so you guys can see what the chat looks like. Look at all the pizza. I actually kind of want to see some more pizza. So all of you who are in chat, I want to see some more. People saying they're shooting. Gary Bisson in the chat. By the way, shout out to Gary Bisson, a wonderful channel member as we're still on commercial break here, who won the Habs Digest Fantasy Hockey League. We have shipped Gary a wonderful 2026 Habs playoff hoodie for winning the hockey pool. So shout out to you, Gary. Let us know when you get it. We'll post the picture because we reward the loyal viewers who are members who join in the stuff that we do around here. You get rewarded. So big shout out to Gary for winning that. Jason Patrick, you guys ever see that meme of Kylo Ren? Every time we score, I keep thinking of that meme. More. You know, we need more. Jesse, 3-1 wasn't enough last game. I want to see us get 5 goals in the first few minutes in this one. I want this to be a thrashing. I don't know about you.
And we're not going to get ahead of ourselves because I know for a young team, that's okay and we care. And that's great. But we're going to be excited because we're seeing some great things, Josh. Like, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but this is like a kind of a perfect start to the game in terms of just playing the game right. Like, a lot of time, Marty, when he's asked about the game, he kind of talks about like, okay, like, you know, scoreboard aside, this is how I thought the game was. Yeah. Like, Marty doesn't always view it by what's on the score sheet. He just views it by the quality of hockey, and that's probably the best indicator to get of like what's going on in a game. So the fact that the Habs are just playing so well to start off this game, the fact that we're winning draws, able to play that puck possession, really play to our skills, that top six that's truly coming to their own. Yes, Ivan Demidov is unlocked. Yeah. Look for him to factor into this game in some big ways. Yeah, we're feeling positive about what the Habs can do in their prospects here in this game.
Oh, absolutely we are. The positivity is always flowing here on this channel, and you loyal viewers, you all know it. And you know what? I know we're asking you to subscribe, but you know, if you don't want to subscribe, that's okay. We'll earn your trust, I promise. But if you could just click the like button, it's just one click, right? Even you subscribers, just check if you've liked. We're only at 38. We want to see that hit 50. And if you're the 50th like, let me know in chat. We'll give you a big shout out. As off the icing, Montreal manages to win the faceoff and chip it out to center, though it's back into Buffalo's zone. Is Matthias Samuelsson, who's had himself quite the series. Honestly, a guy who some people thought signed a pretty big contract when he signed it, but I think he's been pretty worth it for Buffalo. He's looked very good. There's a bit of a scrum in front of Dobesh as a little bit of a snow shower, nothing too crazy, but Buffalo definitely making their intentions known, as you probably should in a Game 7. I'd love if Montreal did the same thing to UPL. It's something you really want to see. You want to see him head into the offensive zone. Oh, as Montreal may or may not have got... Oh, it looks like they got away with the too many men on the ice call there, as it did hit Phil Deneau. Well, there were 6 men on the ice, but you know what? This is the kind of thing, Jesse, we're saying. Some stuff's just not going to get called in Game 7. Buffalo's down 1-0. Game management's a real thing. The refs, I don't know if the refs didn't really want to call that, maybe. I don't know, but it doesn't matter as Montreal manages to win the faceoff again. Mike Matheson falls on his butt, and it's a slot change for Buffalo. Goodness, Michael, you're not doing any good for the narrative here, are you? Buffalo trying to get something going. It's back to the point. They send it back down behind the net. They're going to try and just continue to pressure Montreal now. Montreal had Buffalo on the back foot. Buffalo's had a few chances in the O-zone now, but Josh Anderson is on the puck trying to work it out, though it is Buffalo who retains possession, sends it across to the top to, I believe that's Connor Timmins. It's hard to tell sometimes. I could do play-by-play if I had a better camera angle, but Montreal's looking to win this puck battle. They once again can't. Jesse, Montreal winning puck battles on the boards in this game, especially being up 1-0, is going to be key. And plays like that, where we flipped it out of our zone, that's good, but that has cost us at times this series, so you want to make sure you don't get too cute with it.
That is so true. Again, just making sure, like, when we're exiting the zone, that we're making a sure play of it, I think is just so important. Like, Josh, it's just this time of year where a clean zone exit is just something that just makes me feel happy and good inside. And we've seen a couple of that from the Montreal Canadiens where, like, they're able to win the face-off cleanly, make a quick breakout from there, and that's really going to be the recipe, right? Like, obviously, you need to do that for the rest of the game to really come into play. So again, like, you know, Buffalo, they're going to look to have their best shot to try and slow down the Montreal Canadiens in the neutral zone. But I'm seeing lots of positive indicators from this Montreal Canadiens team right now. They're really looking to collapse down low and just prevent any of those high danger opportunities at the moment.
Yeah, they've done a great job so far. They've kept Buffalo mostly to the outside, and when Buffalo has tried to throw the puck into the middle, it's gotten tipped, it's gotten blocked, there's nothing really they can do, as it's currently Noah Dobson in the Habs zone after an attempt in the offensive zone. Nothing quite going there. Teams, again, trying to shut down in the neutral zone, and that's, I mean, in that Tampa series, that was such an important factor. And so there's a quick shot by Slafkovsky that nearly caught Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen by surprise, a blind backhand shot. Usually it's Slav firing those blind backhand passes, but not this time. He nearly caught Luukkonen by surprise as Tage Thompson who comes the other way, but Slafkovsky runs into the boards with Josh Norris and wins the puck back for Montreal, though Buffalo manages to get it. Lane Hutson tips it. The puck does come out. Not sure the top line's going to go for a change. Yes, they are, as Buffalo regroups in their own zone. So, Jesse, we're approaching the halfway mark in this first period. Everyone in chat, how are you feeling about the performance so far halfway through? I think Montreal's doing pretty much everything right so far, but you got to give a whole lot of heart and effort if you want to continue this for the next 50 minutes.
It's all about building upon that. Absolutely. Solid 10 minutes. But we've seen before where we're having the lead, and you got to feel like this has been a learning experience for the Montreal Canadiens. So you got to feel like when they're going to have a lead, they're just going to appreciate it that much more this time around. All that hard work that it really took to get it. They're going to want to really keep it this time around. And of course, that starts once you get it with those defensive adjustments, which we've seen they've been able to make some. And shout out to Martin St. Louis for what he's been able to do coming into this game, because just having a first solid 10 minutes here, again, in Game 7, getting that first goal, just really is just so critically important.
Yeah, Montreal also at 7 shots already, Jason. We're only 2 shy of our total from last Game 7, so not a bad start on that front either. And there's a little chance for Buffalo in close. Jack Quinn gets taken down. Are they going to call that penalty? I don't think they are. I don't see a hand up. So right now, Jack Quinn could not get it done as Jakub Dobeš made a phenomenal save. This is Montreal and Alex Texier coming out the other way. Some of the fans, Jason Patrick, saying, so far so good. Keep pushing, keep momentum. Let's go, boys. Keep shooting at the net, says Lee. That's exactly it. Totally. Keep shooting at the net. As there's a little bit of a chance brewing here. Alex Texier, with his wonderful hands, coming in behind the Buffalo net, pokes it over to the side. Phil Deneau going after it, chips it to Texier, who keeps it along the boards. He's going to chip it back to Gouli at the point, who's going to dump it right back in. A bit of a deflection, stays on the boards. Gouli fires it towards the net looking for a tip. Nothing doing. It's Lane Hutson who corrals the puck on the other side, cuts to the slot, looking to shoot. Nothing there. Gouli sends it back down. Touch pass back to Deneau. Back to Caden Gouli at the top of the blue line, fires a shot. It's kicked away by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. To a dangerous zone, though, as it's Lane Hutson who keeps it in. Buffalo manages to steal it. There's a 2-on-1 developing. It's Josh Doan over. The pass gets a little bit tipped to Jack Quinn. Back in front. But Jesse, once again, that was another bit of a dangerous chance, an odd man rush for Buffalo. But Montreal manages to not allow the puck to even get to that high danger area, as there's another chance in front of Dobeš. Dobeš down, sprawling. Where is the puck? It's in the corner. Montreal, once again, they're trying their best to not allow the puck to even get into that zone in front of Dobeš, because, you know, if he can see the puck, he's probably going to save it.
And Doby is attacking the shooter right now, which is always such a positive sign in his game. That's when Doby's really always at his best. And when he's going to do that, you got to love how the boys are looking to lay the body in this one here. But absolutely, like, that was a huge adjustment that they're making right now, is they're looking to block those cross-seam passes, which we notice is something that they needed to do coming to Game 7. They're clearly doing that. And if they're able to do that, they're going to limit the high danger chances against. So that's part of the defensive adjustments that Martin St. Louis made coming into this game.
Yes, they showed the replays of some of those. Like, all 3 of those Buffalo chances, they looked very high danger, but other than the Jack Quinn one, the other 2, Montreal got a stick right in there. Lane Hutson deflecting the pass on the first one, and on the other one, they looked like a high danger chance there, but not quite. Like, Montreal just kind of in the way. So that's it. But the Poirier's 19 in chat saying, let's keep subscribing to this awesome channel. Well, thank you so much. Hey, we're at 26,964. We're only at 36 subs away from 27 1,000. Unbelievable to even say that. Jake in chat saying intense. It absolutely is intense. And Stacy asking in chat, can I have a shout out? You know what? Yeah, shout out to you, Stacy. Thank you for being a viewer. Thank you to everyone here as we also just hit 50 likes. Come on, if you have the video liked, let me know that you were the 50th. Someone knows they were the 50th as we are currently on commercial break. So right now, again, 1-0. Buffalo got a bit of momentum there, Jesse, but some scrambles in front, some deflections from Montreal, and most importantly, some poise from Dobeš in net. Not going too crazy. He looks a little bouncy. He looks a little crazy in net, but guess what? At the end of the play, he finds the puck, he covers it, and the crowd kind of exploded a bit. You know, they're appreciating Buffalo's chances, but usually when the goalie stops the play after a rush like that, the crowd's a little demoralized. I don't know. I feel like the Habs contingency in Buffalo is showing up pretty loud in this one.
And obviously that's feeding this team as well. And with Dobie, you got to feel like, again, like he's really, like whenever he's looking good early on, that's always a very, very positive sign for this team because of what he's done, what he's been able to do for this team in the playoffs. Like anytime that Dobie has a good performance, in fact, just as a rule of thumb, like whenever the Montreal Canadiens had solid goaltending in back of them, holding down the fort, they've proceeded to not only play very good hockey games, but win a lot of hockey games as well. So, like, again, I just love, like, that mentality from Dobeš. This is a rookie now coming into his second Game 7 already, and he's not shying away from the moment. He's at the top of the crease when it matters the most, and that's just his classic style. So I'm seeing some positive things from his game right now.
Yeah, he's been locked in so far, and he knows what he needs to do. He's such a good goalie, and, like, he saved half a goal above expected in a game where he gave up 6 goals. So even in a game where he lets in like the most of the playoffs, he still was good. Like that's how you know Dobie's a gamer. Marty St. Louis earlier saying, yeah, I got no worries with Dobbs. As Montreal and Buffalo is back underway right now. It's in the Habs zone. It's the top line out there. Suzuki sends it up to Slafkovsky. Your boy, would you love for this line to get another 5v5 goal. They just have that one Caufield goal. Slav leaves a bit of a pass there. It was nearly a turnover, but Nick Suzuki manages to corral it, and Slav looking to make up for his mistake. There's a Caufield in the slot with an unbelievable save. The rebound. Did that get saved by the Buffalo defenseman? Now, there is a delay of game penalty, Jesse. Montreal gets a power play out of this play, but Cole Caufield absolutely robbed on the doorstep multiple times, but oh my goodness, the Habs are continuing to pressure, and you gotta think Buffalo is on the back foot right now as they desperately threw that puck over the glass just to hope that this play ended.
And that's exactly where you want them, but it starts just by putting the puck in just really good spots in the offensive zone, just being really clever and seeing that soft spot and making it easy for your teammates. Cole is obviously here, like just doing everything but putting the puck in the back of the net. Right there. This is absolutely nuts. He's not going to be denied for too long here.
No, it's Zach Benson who takes the puck over glass penalty. That was 2 glove saves by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Unbelievable stops. And you know, Buffalo fans, like for those Buffalo fans here, they're looking at like, oh boy, like that's the difference. A 2-0 game and a 1-0 game, 13 minutes into the game is huge. So Buffalo got a bit of a break there. UPL proven that he's the right decision in this game so far, I think, for Buffalo, but we'll see how this goes in the next few minutes. This is Ryan McLeod who does clear the puck back down to behind Jakub Dobeš as the Montreal power play is underway. 23.5% in these 2026 playoffs. Pretty good. You know, we've had some cold stretches, we've had some hot stretches, so we're hoping that Ivan Demidov can continue his hot streak here as there's, the zone entry not as clean as you'd like, but guess what? You got the puck in, Juraj Slafkovsky on the boards over to Hutson. Buffalo is playing hard right now. They're playing aggressive. They're trying to not let the Habs players have any space as Ivan Demidov sends a pass right off a leg back to the blue line, but Lane Hutson comes back in on his own over to Demidov, who's going to spin away from Malenstein, send it down to Hutson, back to the point for Slafkovsky, looking, sees Suzuki on the left, on Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen's right, over to Hutson. Hutson back at the top, over to Demidov. Again, you're looking for Demidov. To me, he's a guy that's been hot. He knows he wants to shoot. He's looking in the slot, looking to shoot. Sees Slafkovsky across the ice to Suzuki, one-time shot. It doesn't go. Back to the blue line for Ivan Demidov. Looking, dangles in, sends it over to Hutson a bit in front of him, has to recover. Hutson, looking, sends it down to Suzuki on the left hash marks. Suzuki brings it back up top. You know he's looking for Caufield. Hutson fakes the one-timer. Waiting. You want to get the puck on net. This is the thing. You got to take a shot. It's just a bit of passing around. It's Caufield, though, and you got to think that he feels it, right? Caufield down to Suzuki. Suzuki looking, sends it across. Slafkovsky was there on the doorstep. The puck's going to come out. Jesse, I mean, it's one thing, we've said it a lot. Montreal's power play, you just wish they would shoot a little bit more, but all the same, some good possession hockey at the very least on this one.
And they really go for those high-scoring opportunities. And even 5v5, they are outchancing the Sabres in terms of high-scoring danger opportunities, because that's just part of their game, which is really stems from their puck possession. They really value that. So when they're taking shots, they want to make it count.
It's in.
That extends to the power plays. Well, yes.
It's in.
Let's go, boys.
It's in. Zachary Bolduc.
Let's go.
It caught me off guard. I didn't know that went in. That went in and out of the net so fast. As we talk about too much passing, a beautiful pass up to the hash marks to Zachary Bolduc, baby. Quebec, shout out Trois-Rivières for Zachary Bolduc getting the goal. You can see they're showing some replays, some great chances. Slav over to Suzuki. The one-timer hit Caufield on the knee a little bit earlier in the
Lord
power play.
Have mercy, what a shot from our boy Boldy. Oh my God, that was in and out before you could call your grandmother Suzanne. Oh my goodness, what a shot from him tonight. This is what we were seeing from Zachary Bolduc early on in the season, where that shot was a difference maker. We said that this guy's a playoff performer. Now look at him showing out when it truly matters. And this guy, he's ready for the puck. Like, he's wanting it. He's waiting for it to come. And boy, is he ever ready once it does come to him.
Oh my goodness. It was so fast. I couldn't even tell. Like, it was in and out of the top corner, top cheese, baby. 14-29, a power play goal from Zachary Bolduc, just as we were saying. Oh yeah, you need to shoot the puck more. Assist, Jesse, to Suzuki and Lane Hutson, who is now guaranteed another. He's still a point per game, 6-game point streak with 8 assists over his last 6 games. Legend. Jake Carroll in chat, another $5. Bolduc, baby, yes sir. Zachary Bolduc with the unbelievable goal. Now, again, another 2-goal lead, Jesse. We're all too familiar with this in the playoffs. Montreal has blown a couple of 2-goal leads, but this game feels different. This game feels genuinely different, because now, in a Game 7, in front of your home crowd, if you're Buffalo, you are nervous as they try to generate a chance, send it into the slot of Montreal. Montreal's hoping to get this out of their own zone right now with about 5 minutes left in the period. It looks Dahlin sending it in tight. A bit of a chaos in front of Jakub Dobeš right now. Everyone's scrambling in the crease as this game didn't even take a break. But there is a break right now. It's Alex Texier wide open on the breakaway. Texier in the filthy move and the save by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Oh my God, that was close.
Jesse, UPL, Montreal 2 goals already, but UPL has probably saved a couple more. This game is as intense as you could ask for in a Game 7, but honestly, I would not have it any other way.
We're winning 2-0, but even scoreboard aside, we are just playing absolutely phenomenal right now. We're just collapsing down low. We're playing exactly the way defensively that we need to. You know it's raining when pouring, when we're having some of our boys is getting some great opportunities like this right now. But again, shout out just again to all the super chats. We just want to say we really appreciate that. If you guys want to shout out, you got anything that you want to be heard to Habs Nation, you guys want to ask us any questions, sound off. We love hearing from you. Those super chats are absolutely so welcome. It helps for us, obviously, to just keep providing consistent programming for this channel here. But Josh, it's about locking it down. You're so right. 2-goal lead. We've been here before. We've had the 3-1 lead in just very recently. It's about locking it down. This game we were able to start on time. That's a check. That's an important thing. But now really being able to have that poise, which is just so important once we're having the lead, it's really gut check time for the Montreal Canadiens. We just want to speak this. We want to get ahead of it. An ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure. It's really for those boys not taking the foot off the gas, remembering those defensive details, but still getting hard on the forecheck and playing on our toes here.
Yeah, speaking of defensive details, in the meantime there, Alexandre Carrier making up for a rough Game 6 with an unbelievable sliding play on a 2-on-1 Buffalo break. He covers the player with the puck, and he doesn't even allow the pass across. Montreal playing such solid defense, and we were saying we knew Buffalo would be on the back foot now. 2-0. The pressure of the home crowd on Buffalo to try and desperately get back into this game. Shots are 11-10. Jakub Dobeš, 0 goals. 0 goals allowed on 10 shots so far. He's been stellar, but the Montreal defense has been great in front of him as well. The onus is all on Buffalo now. It really is. Montreal, though, Jesse, I know we've seen it before. You cannot play prevent hockey. Montreal's best game is when they play fast and loose, and that's what I'm hoping to see for the rest of this one.
It's what they're going to have to, while still keeping that discipline, which is important, because, again, emotions are running high. We're feeling good, and it's time to lock that in. But Habs keep it free because that's Marty's style. Like, that's how this team plays. So you're absolutely right to shout that out. And I think it's an observant take of what they need to do to be successful, because that's why sometimes hard to defend against the Montreal Canadiens is because of how loose and how like free that they do play, right? Like, they're made to make reads off each other and make adjustments accordingly. And I think that that's been a huge part of the Habs' success, which isn't really spoken about as much, where, again, Marty always said that this team doesn't have systems as much as just like certain structures you got to stick to. And when you're executing that well, that's hard to defend against. But besides the structure, Josh, like, just on the fundamentals of the game, we said, like, the power plays is so important. Like, typically speaking, for teams to advance in the playoffs, they need to have a power play above about 25%. Now, that's exactly where the Montreal Canadiens are operating. There's just no getting around that. Your power play needs to be cooking in the postseason. That's what the Montreal Canadiens are doing to a higher level than that of the Buffalo Sabres over the course of this entire postseason. So you have to feel like we can keep discipline. We're going to win that special teams battle. That's the game I'm playing to win this game.
Yeah, you got to win the special teams for sure. And Montreal, so far this game, they absolutely have. As we get another super chat from Simon Desjardins saying, "Go Habs, go!" Everyone, shout out Simon. Thank you so much for the donation and the huge support, Simon. Shout out to Lee's husband Dennis as well in the chat. There's a big hit by Caden Gooley along the boards, as we also saw a nice prolonged defensive possession by Alex Carrier, who's really shown up in this first period. In my opinion, I think he's been playing some solid defense. As Caden Gooley sends it over to Lane Hutson in his own zone, tries to send the long stretch pass, but that is going to go for icing with 1 minute and 46 seconds left here in this first period. We will not be going to break because it's an icing, but you can see the camera, the Sportsnet camera, honing in on Alex Carrier because of the incredible defense. Caden Gooley made a mistake on that pass play, and Jason Zucker looking across, but Carrier with the unbelievable stick and leg on that replay, and then Caden Gooley following it up with a big hit on Jack Quinn, who looked like a ballerina doing the splits with his leg about 5 feet in the air. Jason Patrick saying, agree, we need to be up at least 2-0. I say 3-0. I say 4-0. Make it big. Caden Gooley, 42 hits the playoffs, 2 tonight. Byram gets the puck off of the faceoff. Buffalo fires it on net. Jakub Dobeš, I don't even know if that got through to him, but it's Josh Anderson who chips it out of the zone with 1.5 minutes left in this period. So Buffalo shots have gone back down to 9, but it's Bowen Byram as Montreal gets the change, sends it up to Josh Doan. Little dangle gets into the Habs zone, but Matheson and some others make a great defensive play to get some sticks on it. But Buffalo maintains possession. The Lane Hutson steps up and pokes the puck away from a Rasmus Dahlin shot as it's fired on Dobeš, who steers it away into the corner. Back to the point. Big Owen Power sends it on net. It's tipped just a little bit wide, and with only 1 minute left, Jesse, Buffalo, they feel like they're trying to get some offensive zone time here, but Montreal, as we've been saying, the key to this game, smothering defense, as it's Lane Hutson who gets the puck in the corner. He's smothered by 2 or 3 Sabres, but the Habs are just not allowing Buffalo, after those early chances, to get anything in by Jakub Dobeš.
Yeah, and again, Lane Hutson is making just some strong defensive plays here in the defensive zone to end off this period. As we know, you guys are seeing, like, and this guy's all heart, right? Like, he's operating a little bit like on some fumes, but that's exactly like on adrenaline is really where Lane Hutson plays his best hockey. But speaking of really defensemen that are stepping up for the Montreal Canadiens right now, and I mean that literally, is in Caden Gooley at this blue line. This guy's been an absolute force, stepping up, making his presence known. Like, this guy's ready for a game 7. He came in locked and loaded, and I'm just appreciating the heart that we're seeing from a player that we know that you have a soft spot for, Josh.
Oh yeah, I really do. He's been unbelievable as Montreal leads the hit department 13-4. As we did get, it's weird. These TV timeouts are really strange because we would have taken it earlier, but there was an icing, so they couldn't. So we now get a TV timeout with 36 seconds left in the first period, but it's going to be a neutral zone faceoff because Buffalo came in offside. The fans are not happy about it, but you can feel the nerves creeping in. The Buffalo building, they're trying to get behind their Sabres, but it's quiet. It's quiet right now. Victoire score 1-0, says Gary Bisson. Thank you for the update, Montreal Victoire. There was some controversy in one of those games the other day, a trip that just didn't get called. But anyway, shout out to the Montreal Victoire. Fantastic watch as well. As we are getting close to the end of this first period, I want everyone in chat to leave 1 or 2 words on your feelings in this first period. Was it great? Was it amazing? Perfect? Maybe a word like defense? Was it a word like fast? Leave a 1-word response. To me, again, I think just, maybe not as, like, there's been some good poise, but Buffalo's had some chances. It's been a fast and loose game, but I'm just gonna, my word personally, I don't know, might not even have 1 word, but there's one that came to my mind, and it's execution. So far, it looks like Montreal is actually executing the game plan very well. From the opening faceoff, they did everything that I'm sure Marty told them to do, and right now, Buffalo's paying the price. Montreal's got the lead. It's 2-0, and it really feels like this game is going the way the Habs wanted it to go.
That's a very good take, and really being prepared for the game here ahead of time, and the coaching's a big part of that. And so right now they have a solid game plan in terms of how the game's going, how they want to play. And now really this next step is going to be about really predicting where could this game possibly go in the future, because obviously Buffalo's going to look to adjust here in the second period. You always want to stay one step ahead of really seeing how are they potentially going to adjust, where are going to be some openings from that. But again, I'm seeing I'm just really impressed in a lot of ways, Josh. I'd say just impressed because, again, like for this young team to come out and really play like they're meaning it, like how I want to see them start off. Like I'm not picking too many, like I don't have too many qualms with how the Montreal Canadiens are really playing this first period here. I think that they're playing a very matured game. They came in ready, bringing that energy. It's a lot of what I want to see right now here. And from there, it's really about just finishing out on a couple more of those opportunities, like save for a couple huge shots from UPL. We're maybe up 3-0 right now. So you have to feel very happy with the Montreal Canadiens. That's going to garner some goodwill from Martin St. Louis. But again, we don't want to rest on that, right? Like just, oh, coach is happy. It's like, okay, what's that next place? Where's the game going next? And being ready to adjust that ahead of everybody else.
Absolutely. As the first period ends after some wonderful play once again from the Habs in their own defensive zone, just pinning the puck up against the boards. You know, if you want to do one thing to just kill the momentum of a crowd, Buffalo down 2-0. There's a face-off. You get possession in the Montreal zone with 30 seconds left in the period, and the Habs just take it, pin it up against the boards, listen to the boos rain down, nothing. Oh, they didn't really boo, but what are they going to do? What a first period. Leave some hype in the chat. I want to see some W's. I want to see some W's in the chat right now for that incredible first period from the Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to go grab some stats to chat about here on this intermission, but leave your thoughts in chat. I need to see more W's, guys. Come on, there's only a couple there, but I'm going to read through some of the one-word answers. People are saying, sticking to the game plan. Steady, says Matt. Good defense, says Jason. Shoot, says Kaza. Hey, that's a big one. Just shoot the friggin' thing. We already have more shots in this one than we had in our last Game 7. Nail biter, says Gary, for sure. Why Suzuki's out there in the last minute? Because it is our best line, regardless of what these 5v5 numbers say. It doesn't matter. I trust them. Discipline, says Jake. Good start, says Canadian dude in Oz. Tuning in from Australia as always. Let's just shut it down, says Ethan. I think that's it. You know, right now, Money Puck currently has the Montreal Canadiens at about an 82% chance to win this game. The deserve to win a meter, 70% for Montreal. But again, we're not going to count our chickens before they hatch. There's a whole lot of game left to be played. But like you said, Jesse, earlier, this game is like a couple of Ukko-Pekka and Luukkonen saves away from this being 4-0. Like right now, Montreal is getting all the chances they want. Dobesh has been good too. Buffalo does have about one expected goal. They've had some chances in tight, but Montreal's been able to kind of stifle a lot of the chances. They've had a few, but not the volume that they've had in previous games. But as always, you need to just stomp on them in this second period. We cannot afford to have one of those rebuild second periods, and I think the real fans, they know what we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. And it's guys like Dano that are such a big part of the success here in this Game 7. You have to expect like somebody that has that experience. I love that he's stepping up here for the Montreal Canadiens. Like I love the views from the chat here. Again, it's like shot on net. And that combined with bodies in front. And that's what's translating to that all-important first goal in Game 7 here. Like if Phil Dano is going to score in Game 7, Josh, if I'm telling you he's going to go down the ice and he's going to undress 3 players and stop at top shelf, like you'd probably say that that's probably not going to happen, right? Like if Dano is going to be scoring in Game 7, he's going to be in front of the net. They're going to be taking some shots. Yep. It's going to bounce off him. It's going to go in. Like that's a perfect Phil Dano goal. And that's exactly what you need to do in Game 7. That's how you win these type of games, which is so important. So having a player like that to really set the example of here's what worked, and it's only right that they got rewarded with that first goal. Just considering you have to feel like that higher percent of chances. Like Doby's, nice to see our goalie looking good, but you have to feel like UPL was just like, it's obviously it could be 3-4-0, a couple breakaways. Like Texier, so good on the breakaways, Josh. Like I thought for sure that he had that. So obviously like UPL, he's doing his job of keeping them in. They're having that chance. So that's why Montreal Canadiens, like if you're the Habs, you're feeling good. But I want like the one word, I think for second period, let us know like what you think should be the state of mind for the Montreal Canadiens going to the second period. I'll say stoic. Yeah. Like it's okay, we're doing good, but let's wait. Let's let's not, let's celebrate later on. We're gonna wait later, and we're just gonna keep playing that effort and really just again having that business-like type attitude here. I think is gonna be really important. So again, just bringing bodies to the front of the net, and that's where guys like our playoff performers like Danault are truly gonna shine.
Yeah, stoic is good. Just, act like you've been there before. And so far they have. Like, they came out flying in this one. This so far, that might have been one of their best first periods all playoffs. Like, just in terms of getting a good start and getting, like, we've had a couple where we've had early goals, of course, but not letting Buffalo get that goal in the first few minutes is so important. And let's take a look here at some of the graphics, right? Some of the important stuff in the first period. And the first thing that jumped out to me, Buffalo, yes, had 2 chances in tight. You can see those 2 on the right side. Those blue circles on the right side are Buffalo scoring chances. The red circles on the left side are Montreal scoring chances. There's a massive, massive red circle near that hash mark. That's Caufield. I think we all know that, right? That's exactly where he took that shot from, and he got robbed. Danault did score right there. That was Bolduc, I guess, because that was a goal. Sorry, the dark circles are the ones that scored. So that was Bolduc. Caufield was the one a little bit closer. So, yeah, Bolduc, incredible chance there and goal. Danault, but you can look, Jesse, between the hash marks and in the slot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 shots in kind of the slot area for Montreal. Buffalo's had a few, but, not too many. And a lot of these, they're like, I don't know. They didn't seem nearly as dangerous, at least to me. Of course, one of those there was Alex Texier's on the left side, but Montreal getting the chances where they need them. Yes, Buffalo's getting some, but the difference for me is that Montreal's chances that we're seeing here, they're not getting blocked as well as Montreal is blocking these Buffalo chances. In terms of just getting players away, letting Dobeš make the saves, it feels like the chances Montreal is generating are a lot more dangerous for UPL than they are for Buffalo's chances on Jakub Dobeš, and that has been a huge difference tonight so far.
Certainly passes the eye test, and the fact that it's a lot of your depth guys that are providing the goal scoring and many opportunities for the Habs here. Again, it has to make you feel confident here going into the rest of the game, because Josh, like, I think that it's going to be either Slav, Zook, or Cole is going to score in this game here. I think, okay, the depth has done a great job. The top line, somebody from that line is going to score. Let us know in the chat, who do you think is going to be? Cole has had a couple opportunities already. He wouldn't be a fair one to say here, right? Like, I don't think you'd be wrong to fault. Like, Zook's proved he's a big time guy. Slav has had his moments here in the playoffs as well. Let us know who. Like, we're not saying that if somebody from the top line is going to score, somebody from the top line, that's going to be a take I'm going to say right now here in this game. The depth has done a good job of holding it down a lot, even throughout the playoffs. Here in Game 7, they're going to be able to reward them when it really matters, and things are just going to balance out, and that's really the essence of this team.
I agree. I'm going to put a poll up there, and now, like this, we've been saying for so long how due they are for a bounce back, but teams have been focusing on them. They game plan for this top line, but again, it's always been the depth guys in Montreal, this playoffs at least, that have gotten it done. And even the Bolduc goal, though, was assisted by Hutson and Suzuki. So the poll right now, who from the top line will score tonight? Will it be Suzuki? Will it be Caufield? Will it be Slafkovsky? Or there's also an option for all of them, if you're really confident like we are that something good's going to happen here.
All the above, baby.
Yeah, why not? Why not all of them above? Jason Patrick saying, I feel like Newhook is going to get one tonight. He's going to be amped up after taking that hit. I like that. And you know what? There was a thing floating around, Jesse, of some people asking Sabres fans, who's that guy on the Habs that you kind of can't stand? And their answer, a lot of them in this video that I saw, was Newhook, but not because they thought he was a pest, but they were like, this guy, he turns into a Gretzky against us, right? Like, we got to stop him. This was earlier in the series. Like, he had such a dominant start to this series, and why not continue it? Now, so far, again, if we want to show some of the forward line stats, which is very important to paint the full picture here, that Newhook, Evans, Demidov line, again, they haven't had a ton of time on the ice together, but they've been the weakest Habs forward line so far, and I think that passes the eye test. They've had some good chances for checking, but they really haven't generated anything. Like, I can't really, like, Demi's had some nice, dangles into the offensive zone, but not really compared to Doc Capin and Bolduc, who's looked decent. Slafkovsky, Suzuki, Caufield looked solid. Texier, Danault, Henderson, always on the forecheck. There's lots of time left, but I really think this Newhook, Evans, Demidov line, Jesse, I mean, they haven't had the greatest first period. It wasn't bad, just, not that great. If they can get going, which I think they will, because they have in pretty much every game this series, again, just another reason why, like, yes, it's 2-0. Yes, Montreal is kind of dominating the chances in this game, but I still feel like, I don't know about you guys, I want in the chat and you yourself, like, I still feel like Montreal has another level. Like, I'm watching this game and I'm like, oh, there's a couple mistakes there. Buffalo got some chances in tight. Like, I don't know, could have buried that. The fact that I'm thinking that in a 2-0 game is, I think it's some pretty good news.
And it's because the second line, and it's a new iteration really just since the beginning of this series here, has been one of our best lines here so far in this round. So it always makes you feel good when you're winning 2-0, but then the guys that do the heavy lifting for you the most over the season, the top line for the Montreal Canadiens, and obviously that second line now here in this round here, haven't really had their say as much, but statistically, all very good. And I was surprised at first, Josh, to really see it. But again, it kind of balances out and speaks to why they put Evans along there with Demidov and Nui. You just have that good balance of the offense and the defense, which again is just going to speak and really correlate in the stats department. So like the stats are painting the picture that if they didn't have a good first, how good that they've been over the course of the series, they're going to regress to the mean and they're going to have a solid second and third period here. That's what that means.
Yeah, it's exactly what it means. Well, I mean, solid full games, like teams in the playoffs are so good that you're going to see runs one way or the other, but you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to dominate the second and third. You just need to be better. And one thing for tonight, and I know we talk about it all the time, you're very right on everything you said, but there's just one guy that always stands out to me, and it's just Dobesh. Like, how is he going to look? Because if he is normal Dobesh, we win this game, right? Like you can't allow these deflected shots to get towards the net. Block the shot, or push everyone 10 feet out of the way. Don't let him get anywhere near the eye line of Dobesh, and he's going to make the saves. He scrambles all the time. He's been making some incredible stuff. UPL, to his credit, he's made some good saves, but the goals he's let in, look, he's actually saved the expected goals below 2. So, like, right now, like, Buffalo's goaltending situation, yeah, he's made some saves, but you know what that tells me too, Jesse? He's not due to make any more. But if you're Montreal, you see the chances you're generating. And I have to think that if you're Marty in that locker room, yeah, solid second, third, you're absolutely right. That's what you need to say. But he's like, guys, like we've been in this position before. Up 2 goals. We saw what happened last game. Don't you dare let them get back into this. You go out there, you give more than you had in this first period. And I think on Buffalo's side, I don't know what Lindy Ruff is saying to his team. Maybe try to light a fire under their ass. But like, realistically, like, you gotta think that the nerves are kicking in now, down 2 on home ice in a game 7. Like, we gotta get this done. And, so it might motivate some, but it might scare some guys, especially the ones that haven't been there before.
And we're clearly seeing the Montreal Canadiens' ability to reset. And that's after a win or after a loss.
Yes.
And I think that's so important where it's like you're not getting too high with your highs and not too low with your losses. And that even keel that the Montreal Canadiens team has had is why they're able to bounce back and be so good after a game of having lost. And again, I think that just speaks to their complete refusal to really be intimidated when it really matters. Like they lose a game, but then, guys like Dobesh, it's just like, he just refuses to back down at key moments. And it's like, it's normal. It's like, you're not just going to run throughout the playoffs and win every single game throughout the entirety of the entire run there. But it's really your ability to bounce back. And I think like for this young team, again, like you'd maybe fault them if they weren't so quick to the take here. But they're truly showing that they're up to it. And again, it's just like that. I see a lot of skill and like the size from like Dobesh and like, not to speak of like our forwards, 100-point guys, 50 goal scorers, one of the best decors in the league. Mm-hmm. That's all good, Josh. But then when you pair that with like that mentality in the playoffs, like that resiliency we see from Dobesh, that never say die attitude, and this team like really like rallying together, like when it matters, what did they do? Did they start blaming each other? No. Or did they kind of draw together and double down on each other the most? Right? That they were able to do that. And I think that that's truly why this team is special. And it does mean something in playoff hockey.
Yeah, it really does. And we keep going back to this Gooley thing that he said earlier, but this team is like brothers. And it's not just Gooley saying that. It's kind of everyone. And we saw this thing, Chris Nyland on Spit and Chicklets earlier was like, there's stuff that he's talked to some of the players. They've also said like, leadership from your teammates, wanting to play for each other. But they said that Marty has said some stuff that some of these players have said they've never heard out of another coach's mouth. That's kind of where it all starts, right? Like playing for each other, like, inherently some guys are going to want to do that more than others, but there's also lots of guys who are maybe inherently selfish players. Not on the Habs, I mean, just in general in sports. That's what happens, right? You get a balance. It's always a mix. And it's how do you control the locker room with all these different personalities? Because it's never easy. Like, Kent Hughes has done a wonderful job, him and Jeff Gorton, of bringing in guys that do fit the culture. But there's no doubt that guys are going to have different personalities, different ways of approaching things. And your coach and your coaching staff have to manage that and get everyone to try and be on the same page. And as much praise as we give Marty, I still feel like we almost take for granted how much these guys love each other, how much these guys really want to play for each other, how much of a family this is, and how much credit goes to Marty and the coaching staff for helping facilitate that, because that is not easy to do in a pro sports locker room. It's really kind of crazy. Like, I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, this team has fantastic chemistry, but like, I think there's a whole lot more to it than meets the eye.
We're seeing Martin St. Louis 2.0 here. And it is a side of him that we haven't seen in a lot of ways. Yeah. And it's a little bit surprising. I feel like that's completely intentional. And I will say pre-planned, dare I say even destined to maybe take out some words out of Martin St. Louis himself, where just his whole demeanor and his attitude of like here in the playoffs, like being there to motivate the boys when it really matters. But again, a little bit more of like that serious tone, which Josh, for me, it's like we're happy-go-lucky here on the channel. It's a breath of fresh air, though. Like, through the rebuild, it was all cool and, like, good vibes from Marty as he's teaching them and gaining that trust, building relationships. Now we're here in the playoffs. Different expectations with the playoffs. Different expectations in the way that we're speaking to the media and how we're adjusting. And I, for one, am completely here for it. And for Marty, maybe being a little bit more direct and really providing that type of leadership and confidence for his team that I think it really matters. Like, we're here, we're in the playoffs, and we're taking a little bit more of a business-like approach, and we're maybe cutting out any sort of thing that isn't about playing really good hockey. And I think that starts with Martin St. Louis, and that's the type of mentality that he's bringing to this hockey club.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's contagious. It really is to us. Like, some of these things, you know, we've been saying bounce back a lot, but bounce forward. That's something Marty's been saying, you know?
Yeah.
Physics, right? Bounce forward. Like, so far, again, I keep saying so far because there's a lot of game left, and you know, the second and third period is where you really prove you belong here. First period's great; it's a great start, but lots of teams can get hyped for a game like this. It's how you control it for the rest, right? Because sometimes you burn yourself out early, but this is where you really bounce forward from last game, already playing a much better first period, and it's going to be unbelievable. And I want to give everyone a shout out in the chat who's here watching us. I'm going to give you, excuse me, I'm not allergic to you, I promise. But I'm going to take a look in the chat and give a shout out, thank you, to all the people here who are watching. And I want to just give some shout outs to names that maybe I haven't seen before. Jake Carroll saying they're jealous of the Newfie Super Saiyan. Of course, I've said Jake's name before. Paul saying, don't F with Cappy. I don't know if you're saying you don't like him being out there, or you're saying people better not F with him, because so far that line, pretty good so far. 5v5. RPM saying Jack gets half of Gooley's ice time and more hits. Well, that's kind of all Arbor does, though, as they're showing currently Montreal versus Ottawa in the PWHL. Ottawa did score on a tip, by the way, 1-1 right now. Jason Patrick saying more. Let's go. Remember last game, 40 more to go. Exactly. Good point, Paul. We can get excited, though. We're still excited because all the good signs are there. There's a whole lot left. Lee saying shoot, 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 and defense. RPM saying I bet Carolina's cheering for Buffalo. And Ken, channel member Ken, shout out to you, Ken, responding, not sure they really care. Even though Montreal did have a good season series against them, Carolina has to be super confident. I mean, I don't think Carolina cares. I think they're watching intently. But you know what? I kind of hope that they're cheering for Buffalo, because I want Montreal to go in there, because if that's true, that would mean that they're underestimating Montreal, a team that swept them, right? I mean, still had a great result in the regular season. And I just think, like, we've talked about it before, Jesse, but if Montreal can hold on to this 2-goal lead and win this game, if there's still a lot of time left, Carolina feels like, to me, it's not a perfect comparison, and it's not totally true, but like, there's a little bit of Tampa in them. There's a little bit of Buffalo in them. There's a whole lot of Carolina, right? Obviously, they're their own beast. They have their own systems that are hard to crack. But, again, that poise of that veteran team like Tampa had, that Montreal had to just constantly and consistently try to break through. And Buffalo's speed and some top-end skill on, like, certain lines that are just making it hard to play against. Carolina has a few of those elements, but one, they're on massive rest, which usually is not a great thing for a team heading into a series, at least not in the first game or so. And two, like, I just think Montreal and even Buffalo, like, these teams have experience to go up against them. So, you know, I don't want to look too far ahead. I don't want to look at this series yet, but just, you know, I'm keeping my eye on Carolina, because I think that right now in this game, like, these guys are not thinking about it. I don't want to think about it, but sometimes it creeps into the mind. But I think I gotta corral myself, Jesse. I know it's 2-0. There's a whole lot of game left to play.
It's because you care and you're excited, and it's just like the prospects of what that could mean. It's all about like letting that excitement drive you. Well, with this Habs team staying in that present moment, they're going to absolutely look to do that here in the second period. Josh, and like, I just want to see them play like some hard-nosed hockey, like even just getting like the puck in deep and forechecking. But Josh, maybe that's asking like too little. Like, obviously we want them just continue playing that puck possession game. But just playing with that attitude of just like really wanting it, making, solid, like if we're looking to get the puck out of our zone, making strong, sure plays out of it. Again, like not being our worst enemy. Because if anything, I think Montreal has just really shot themselves in the foot more than anything else a lot of the times, where it's just a young team, and that's actually totally to be expected, where the pressure in the playoffs will get to you. But now they've shown that they've been able to meet it here tonight, and in fact bring an energy level even higher than that any sort of adversity of what they're facing. So this has truly just been very impressive for the Montreal Canadiens to take this momentum back coming into the second period. Now we know this game is far from being done here, but again, it's really about sticking to a solid second 10 minutes. That's what truly remains, is taking this at 10 minutes side, just win this next 10 minutes, truly just taking it from there, and then building off of that, right? But you got to feel like if you're able to do that, the mental game will come in at a certain point. So it's really about holding down the fort and keeping that composure in the meantime.
Absolutely. I want to see some go Habs go in the chat.
I'm dropping the puck right now on my end.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm behind. Okay. What? And I don't know how far ahead I am. Okay. I'm gonna go back. Let me know what time you're at. Can you count down your time for me so I can sync it up?
For sure. I'm at 19:47, 46, 45.
45.
43,
okay.
42, 41, 40.
40, 39, 38, 37,
yeah, exactly.
36,
yeah.
35,
perfect.
34, 33, 32. Now I'm synced up and we are back into this game. I don't know what keeps happening with mine, but here we go. We're in period 2 right now. Montreal Canadiens versus Buffalo Sabres. There's 19 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. We're going to get the audio coming for you guys. And here we go. There's the audio. Matthias Samuelsson is fighting for the puck in the corner for Buffalo as it's Alex Tuch who springs it out. Sends a little backhand feed down to Josh Doan, but it's Noah Dobson who beats it out and is going to be icing on Buffalo less than a minute into this second period. That's what you love to see. There's been a few times in this game, in this series, Jesse, that early chances for teams like, that was an interesting one. Dobes tipped that puck over the net with his own glove, where teams have tried to spring themselves for chances, leading to icings early. And if Montreal can manage to come in here and capitalize off of this icing, yeah, that would be something huge. Even if it's just a sustained offensive zone, a bit of offensive zone pressure, Montreal is ready to go. Hey, by the way, Waris, I appreciate you cheering for Buffalo. Thank you for tuning into this. Don't spam in the chat. We'll have to remove you. We don't want to do that. We want fans from all kinds of teams. I love the fight, though. There's Let's Go Buffalo and Go Habs Go in the chat. It's what we want to see, Jesse. Friendly competition's always the best.
Absolutely. And again, it's all really hands on deck for the Montreal Canadiens, but we're seeing just so many fans tuning in right now, right? But when you're talking about like making some breakout plays, which the Montreal Canadiens have looked like they've wanted to do early on in this game here, look for maybe a guy like Noah Dobson, who's been suspiciously quiet here in the game. You got to feel like he's waiting in the wait, looking to make his impact felt in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think he's still playing injured and currently playing without a stick as well. I mean, he manages to help get the puck out of the zone, though. But Noah Dobson, again, like, I don't know how much pain he's playing through. I can imagine it's probably a lot, and he's doing his best. He does have the stick now. Jakub Dobes tried to make a play on the puck, but it didn't quite work as it's Tage Thompson who feeds it down behind the net. A rapid try by Buffalo, but it's Noah Dobson who sends a little floaty backhand down the ice. And that is going to go for icing with 18 minutes and 10 seconds left. So this is another one of those times, Jesse, where you get the puck. The Habs love to do this little flutter, flip out of the zone. And, yeah, that one led to an icing. That was a bit of a bad bounce. Usually those don't. Those pucks don't have enough energy to go all the way. But you want to try and minimize these things. Again, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You'll settle in as the period goes on. But these flips out that go for icings this early in the period after you were already playing a bit of defense, you want to try and minimize those. And I'm sure Marty's going to talk to the guys as the game goes on. But Suzuki does win the draw. And all in all, no harm done.
For sure. But at the same time, it's like just making sure that we're getting the puck out of the zone by all means. That is the first thing. But definitely having a little bit more touch on that is going to be really big. But again, it's about bending but not breaking here. It's like Buffalo, they're going to be motivated to obviously look to come back in this one here. But it's going to be about just holding down those main spots here in the ice as we see Dobes getting plenty of support here from his teammates holding down the crease.
Absolutely. Buffalo getting a nice prime opportunity in the slot. It was fired just wide. Scramble at the side of that. Jason Zucker trying to jam it home on off of Dobes. Now, I imagine even if he did score there, they would have called it back for goalie interference because he was kind of jamming at the pad, trying to poke it in the net. But look, it's Cole Caufield, Noah Dobson pushing him away. We get a closer replay here. The puck was very close to going going in. Jakub Dobeš holding his pose. Zucker just could not touch the puck. Noah Dobson boxing him out like it's a basketball game, Jesse. Pushing him away just far enough that Zucker just couldn't pull the puck into the net. No leverage for Jason Zucker. Still 2-0. Jakub Dobeš standing his ground. The defensive effort from Montreal in their own zone, getting pressured a bit early in the second, as you would expect, right? Buffalo, they knew they needed to start the second period hot, but you say it all the time, bending but not breaking. Giving Buffalo a little opportunity, sucking the energy away from the crowd in the meantime and just trying to push themselves. Montreal's going to have to weather this early storm. Buffalo's going to have a ton of adrenaline, and if you can do that, you're in real good shape moving forward.
And I love to see guys like Noah Dobson just making some strong plays defensively there. Looks like we're going to be going down a man here right now. But again, it's just about really limiting those high danger opportunities here. And again, this Montreal Canadiens team has started off this game very strong. They're going to need to continue that here in the second period. Let's get a light spike going. We're just so appreciative of you guys being here, being with us here tonight. Make sure that you like this so that you can share it with more people. Obviously, the more the merrier here. The Habs fans continue to grow by the day here, and that's in large part by you guys liking and sharing your support here of the channel.
That's right. Leave a like right now if you don't like this call, because there's some questionable stuff here. Josh Norris was certainly bleeding, but it's Zach Benson. Zach Benson comes in, high sticks his own player in the face.
Wow.
Zach Benson just high stick Josh Norris in the face, and Caden Gooley is going off for 4 minutes. There has to be a review here. Caden Gooley's stick was behind Josh Norris. Wes McCauley special right now. They're reviewing.
Goodness.
Okay. So I think what
this
they're
is
doing,
unreal.
They got to call this a major, right? Just so they can review it, yeah?
They're reviewing it. They're going to get this one right, boys.
No.
Oh, I am so happy. This is a huge point. This is a turning point in the game. The fact that this power play is not happening right now. This is a huge momentum shift for the Montreal Canadiens. And absolutely right that we're getting some justice here after some questionable calls early in this playoff run.
Yeah, you know what?
Not this time.
Yeah, I agree. And look, this is the thing that the refs, they just gotta get right. They have to get right, and I'm glad they did, because I'm sure like the Habs players, every single person was like, I was behind him. The ref that called it saw that Gooley's stick was behind him. I'm not sure, but look at that. Okay, very good. Now Norris, Buffalo faking
Benson's
it.
Still confused.
Yeah,
he's looking up at the. He's like, "What's going on?" Like completely bewildered. No idea.
Yeah, ridiculous. Now Josh Norris, sorry, buddy, he was bleeding a lot. So I don't know about faking it, because he definitely got hit in the face. But it was Zach Benson who did it. A little too aggressive yourself. But you might even get in your own head a bit, right? Norris is like, I'm sure he's not going to be mad at Benson, but Buffalo's the team now. That you look at this, like, oh, they're the team with the undisciplined stick, as they now take an offside. The momentum is starting to shift, right? We talked about this. We just said this. If Montreal could weather the early storm, all the adrenaline coming from Buffalo, coming into the second period, Game 7 down 2-0 at home, you'd be in a really good position to move forward. And then a penalty, the crowd thinks they're going on the power play, just to review and take that away. And then immediately Buffalo takes an offside and a chance where it looked like it'd be a 3-on-2. Like, these kind of things, it's going to go back and forth this whole game. It's not going to fully shift in Montreal's favor and never let go. But these little momentum shifts, they matter a whole lot, because it takes the crowd out of the game. And to some extent, the players can get a little exasperated as well.
And we saw Tage Thompson with his head down there getting a little bit frustrated. And again, it definitely comes down to that mental battle and which team is really going to be resilient and which team is going to kind of get hard on themselves instead of being themselves and really implode as a team as a result here. So I think that's going to be, again, where how close this Habs team is going to be super important, as they're getting some very solid opportunities here on UPL. That's what I want to see here in the second period, buzzing in front of the Sabres net.
Crashing UPL. You can see Kirby Dach. He's not often one of those guys he can get into people's face. We saw him do with the double headlock, but right there, he kind of gave an extra jab at the pad after the play, and I'll say Buffalo they pushed him away, but they really didn't shove him to the ground, right? You can see here, Kirby Dach's taking the extra stuff. If that's the Habs, if that's Dobeš, he's punching the guy in the head and chopping at his legs. And Arbor Jackey's coming in to crush you. Kirby Dach kind of got away with a little extra jab there. Buffalo didn't really do much. You talk about getting in their head. This line, Bolduc, Dach, and Oliver Kapanen. So far, Jesse, I gotta say, they've been pretty solid. And with 16.5 minutes left, I believe that was, actually, I don't know who that was on the faceoff. But the stick broke on the faceoff. So right now, Montreal has a bit of an advantage, but they can't keep it in the offensive zone as it's Beck Malenstein who's fighting for the puck. Alex Texier keeps it in the offensive zone. No, they call it offside with 16-17 left. The pace of play has slowed a little bit, but that's kind of good for the moment because both of these teams, they thrive on the rush chances. They thrive on fast hockey. Montreal so far in this game has had the edge in that. But if the pace is slow, you talk Buffalo is not going to have much of a chance to come back in this game. So weather the storm, but the one thing I'm just going to keep saying it, Jesse, Montreal cannot stray away from their own game. The game's slow because of some whistles right now, but you still got to keep pushing the pace. But don't gamble too much. Play your game within the game. Shout out Marty St. Louis. Marty goes right back to that Kapanen and Doc Bull Duke line.
Yeah, and a lot of things to like with that Kapanen line right now and their advanced metrics here. Shout out to Josh Anderson. You got to feel like he's going to look to factor in this series. But the boys, what I like right now is how they're really just supporting each other, and that's both offensively with the puck to just make easier passes and break out of the zone, but it also means defensively as well. They're really coming together. And, you know, obviously, like, zone entries are going to happen, but really just slowing them up on that is just so important for being able to get the puck out and go the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, pressure and Tage Thompson is one way to do that. He looks shook. Out of this whole series, he has looked out of sorts. I don't know if he's dealing with an injury, but he told the Sabres media, none of your business, which is... Anyway, that also says something maybe about Tage Thompson, but I'll leave it at that. I think he was just frustrated after that game, and you know what? Sometimes people get frustrated. I'm not going to hold that against him, but what is a fact is he has not been playing very well this series, and Montreal's able to pressure him, though it is Buffalo coming the other way as it's Zucker, but he's not able to complete the pass as Slafkovsky tips it. Montreal blocks the shot there from Tage again. Thompson sends it down. Buffalo trying to continue some offensive pressure. That wasn't Thompson, my bad. That's Jack Quinn. Jack Quinn with the puck over to Rasmus Dahlin, who's fresh off a 5-point game. He shoots through some traffic. It goes wide. Jakub Dobeš didn't even see it, but you know what? If you can block the shot like Montreal's done, Jesse, you mentioned it earlier, that's what matters. Is it's the Habs going the other way as it's Bolduc out there with Suzuki and Slaf, but finally, Bolduc is able to get off for that change. He was out there a while. It's Konsta Helenus who comes away with the puck behind the net. He's had a fantastic couple of games here. Great young player for Buffalo, but I hope he does absolutely nothing for the rest of this one. Alex Tuch cycling back in the Sabres' own zone, looking to get some breakout, but through the neutral zone so far, Montreal, look, Caufield there, Jesse, forcing Buffalo back into their own zone. Love it, right?
Yeah.
Just forcing them, pressuring them, burning off a little bit of time on the clock. That adds up as this game moves along.
Yeah, and they're just having really good structure and doing some solid line changes right now to keep that solid defensive structure right now. Just so many great things to love. Like when you're seeing Cole Caufield getting the forecheck, backing somebody up into their own defensive zone. It's just something like if you're Martin St. Louis, those are the type of details of the game that's going to make them smile.
Absolutely, absolutely. As the puck goes down behind the Habs net, Alex Carrier, whoa, goes into the boards really awkwardly. He lost an edge. Hope he's okay. I think he is. Alex Tuch comes up with the puck, but once again, Montreal pressuring the puck carrier a whole lot. There's a whistle. Play is dead. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. I didn't see if the puck came out. I don't have the audio full volume, but regardless, with about 14 minutes left in the second period, Montreal still 2-0. People saying the ref had already going south. I don't know. I think it's been pretty even so far. Montreal got the power play. They got the power play goal. So right now, how are we feeling? You know what? I want everyone in chat. We talked about it earlier. Leave a like. Leave a like right now if you want Montreal to win this game. It's one click. It's free. It pushes us out to all the other Habs fans. Plus, we're very close to 100. We'd love to get to 100 likes. So thank you for tuning in, Jesse. And I mean, this rest of this playoffs is going pretty quickly because I'm pretty sure the next series, the Eastern Conference Final, starts in just a few days. We know the Western Conference Final starts Wednesday. The schedule is out. But right now, people are saying they feel good, says Silly Billy Willy 123. Feeling good. The defense is looking good. And I know you mentioned how important that would be for this game. You've said it from the get-go. We've stayed pretty constant on that all series. If the Habs defense can play a mature game, you're going to be in good shape. And so far, not just the defensemen, but the forwards too. The defense through the neutral zone, managing to keep chances away from Dobeš. It's been working wonders.
It's definitely the key to success, and I like that you're highlighting the whole team. But obviously, it really begins with the defense, which was so true. That's like setting that example to play a strong defensive game. And how do you do that, Josh? Like, it seems redundant, but it's by defending your defensive zone and not making those easy entries, by able to stand up at those blue line, which is a little bit of an aggressive play, but like, you got to be able to slow them in. Like, it really comes in. If we're just allowing them to enter, that's not going to be a game that the Montreal Canadiens are going to be able to win. So their ability to be able to step up at the blue line, and it's early on in the game that there's going to be a cost if you're coming in willy-nilly, is an important precedent to set.
Yeah, and they're doing it well. Like, they really, really are. The Habs are starting this game strong, and I want to shout out Alex Carrier again, who so far has had a very, very good bounce forward game. I guess he's been really solid so far. Matheson, decent. He's been, maybe a little shaky at some times tonight, but pretty solid. And Hutson, I mean, just always creating chances. We're about to get back into the game as they're showing that Rasmus Dahlin has a Buffalo defenseman record for points in a series with 9. He has been good. Shout out to him, but I don't like him, so I'm not going to give him any more praise. So, sorry. No, I'm not sorry. 13:52 left in this period. If you want to sync up your time to ours, you can pause your game and you can go along with us. Right now, we haven't seen the puck drop yet. Phil Deneau is kicked out of the faceoff dot. It's going to be Alex Texier who comes in. I feel like I must have said Texier instead of Carrier at some point throughout this stream or in videos, and I just don't even notice it. I feel like it just happens. It's like we used to say Cam Fowler instead of Jacob Fowler before he came up. Like, it would just happen a lot. Your brain is so used to one or the other. But the face-off is won by Buffalo. It goes back to UPL, and it's Bowen Byram who sends it out of the Buffalo zone. The whistle blows again, because this game is just not capable of playing fast right now. It's getting a little slow pace, but that's okay. But you can see, Jesse, I don't know about you, and let us know in chat if you see it too. It just feels like the body language from Buffalo is starting to decline a little bit. Now, again, they're one shot, one deflection away from that all changing, but you can see the nerves on the face of these guys. There's a difference between locked in, focused, and like, uh-oh, we better get something going. And, I'm sure Montreal, if they were down 2-0, you'd probably see something similar, but it's exactly what you want to see, right? You want to shake the Sabres, and right now Montreal's doing everything in their power to keep them on the back foot.
And the longer that continues, just the more nervous they're going to get. And that's normal, right? Because you've come so far, both teams, and obviously there's just so much vested in at this point in time where you're going to want to look to continue that. So it's obviously just like a really big gut check time. But that being said, like, just the body language for the Montreal Canadiens as a whole, you have to feel has just been a little bit better, which is so important. Like, we're not just saying it, like, this is a recurring theme with Tage Thompson, where maybe not the best body language at certain times. And like, you want to make sure that you are having that positive energy for your teams, right? And we're seeing, like, obviously Tage took some bad penalties at certain points in this series, which has hurt his teammates as well, Josh. And I really submit to all this, it's like, it's a good way. Taking bad penalties is a good way to really cause division within your team, because we hate to say it, right? But if you're playing a game and one of your teammates just takes a really stupid, selfish penalty, you can't help it. You're like a little bit upset at that person. You're in the game, in the playoffs. It matters to you a lot. That's where teams start to create friction, and that's where teams ultimately fall apart. And we have seen signs of that earlier on in the series with Buffalo. Yep. If the Habs are able to create and keep that momentum and keep that pressure, they're going to create those opportunities just by virtue of that.
Exactly, 100%. And keeping that pressure on, and like, if you can bait Buffalo into taking a bad penalty here, that would be absolutely massive once again for the momentum. But Buffalo's been trying to play as clean as they can. Jack Quinn, I think that was, or is that Tage? It's hard to tell with the number. I think it's Quinn. Tried to shoot his short side on Dobesh. They've tried that a couple times this game. I don't know if they saw something on the scouting, but I don't remember Dobesh giving up one of those goals, so we'll see. But Slafkovsky and the top line have been out here for a long time right now. Buffalo crowd, I think, wanting a penalty. There's Dahlin goes down. A pass to the slot isn't completed, but Buffalo, Tage Thompson steps on the ice, shoots it. It's deflected. It bounces in front of Dobesh and down into the corner. But there was a high stick, and the play is called dead. 12:22 left in this period. Suzuki is down on the ground. Again, like a little bit of a sustained offensive zone pressure from Buffalo here. Jack Quinn again trying to snipe it short side. Dobesh does not give those up. He gave absolutely no space. But it's one of those other things, Jesse. You're tired, right? You're tired, and that top line was out for a long time. And, a couple of, one missed pass, and that's it, right? All of a sudden, Buffalo is in your zone. So, but Montreal, once again, like, doing their best, even when they're put in these precarious positions, to just stay constant, stay the course. They're playing their game. I love the consistency I've seen from the Habs, even when they're screwing up a little bit. They're doing their absolute best to not give Buffalo the high danger chances. They're using all the effort they have, and you gotta love when you see that from this young team.
And it comes from really like the love that they have for each other, just being good teammates. at the end of the day, because it's a lot of blocked shots where they're really rallying. Like, how many opportunities right now? Like, they're just getting in front of everything. It's so hard for Buffalo to get anything even remotely close to the net right now. The fact that we're seeing that poise, but like also the fact that we're just not seeing that power play called against the Montreal Canadiens, where there's been like lots of opportunities where we've seen penalties that shouldn't be called against us, even going back to the Tampa series with stick penalties. Here, like, just the fact, Josh, like, this is making me feel so good in Game 7. Like, do we have the bounces on our side in this game? Like, the fact that we're not getting called on that, where we've so many times we take that on the chin, like, oh, just another bad penalty call against, right? Like, it's really just caught me. The vibes are just so high. Just for that reason here, it looks like we're just getting a couple calls, which, justice is being served here.
Yeah, I agree. And like, we talked about this earlier, right? Game 7, if it's even a little bit iffy, the refs are probably not going to call it. Like, it's the truth of the matter, right? Like, when a guy gets hit in the face with a high stick and he's bleeding, like we saw earlier, even though it was Benson's stick, you have to call it. You don't have a choice. You can't let that go. But like a stick when Buffalo had a break and it was Jack Quinn, the stick maybe got in between his legs, but too fast to tell, you don't call it, right? That there, a little bit more egregious, mind you, but you don't call it. As it's Montreal, Josh Anderson gets a wide open breakaway, and he is tripped.
Let's get a shootout here.
There's no what?
Let's give him a penalty shot. Come on.
I mean, are they even calling a penalty? I mean, it has to be a penalty shot.
I don't see an arm up.
Hold on, we need to see a replay here. Anderson went stomach first into the post. Andy, are you okay? Are you okay, Andy? Says Jason Patrick. Yeah. Ooh. Smooth skater, Josh Anderson. He is standing up now, and I need to see a replay of this because I am not sure if they called anything. I need to see. He gets
chopped after it looks like the shot is there.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. I would be surprised to see them call something on this just because it is after the shot. At the same time, he is getting a pretty good shot on him, which is potentially contributing to barreling into the net there.
Yeah, maybe. I think Anderson just lost an edge. The stick definitely does not get into his feet. He kind of goes down as he gets hit on the hands. I think he was probably trying to stop and just going 34 kilometers an hour straight into the post. Oh, Andy, I hope you are okay. Yeah, no, I don't think that's a penalty. I think if that was called a penalty, then, I get it. I would not want that called against Montreal, but it's okay. It certainly looked like he was taken down in real time, but again, a pretty good no call by the refs who have been mediocre, which is pretty good so far. I'll give them that. Right? They've been middling, which is better than we've gotten usually. So Buffalo does come into the Habs zone, but Jakub Dobeš covers up very quickly. We're seeing a bit of pushing and shoving, Jesse. You think the physicality might step up as this game goes on? I actually think Montreal might try to bait Buffalo into some physicality, and you might see Arbor Jacki out there for a few more shifts because Buffalo's probably not going to try and bait Montreal into something because Buffalo's the team that needs to just play their clean hockey and not get sucked into the physicality. But if Montreal can kind of get him in that physical mindset, you might be able to draw, a dumb penalty or two, as we've seen over the course of the series.
And that physicality is super important for just protecting the front of the net, as we're seeing there, which is contributing to really a nothing play, us getting the face-off and being able to go the other way. But it's even, again, just so much of our positioning from our defensemen, even without the puck. Like, I'm just loving the game from Noah Dobson, just low-key of just his positioning here on the ice. Obviously, as Marty likes to say so often, we want to be looking where the puck isn't on the ice, and for me, Noah Dobson's just putting himself in all the right positions right now.
I agree. Now, what time are you at so I can sync it up? Because I think I was a few seconds behind.
Yeah, I'm actually at 10:37 right now.
37, okay, and
34, 33.
Okay, I'm about 1 second behind you now, so this is good. All right, so we got the puck here from Montreal. Cole Caufield steps into the offensive zone. He rips a shot. The UPL, he knows Caufield's going glove side. That's 3 glove saves. Now, that one was less of a high-danger chance, but every chance is a high-danger chance when Cole Caufield has the puck on his stick. By the way, guys, we're 6 likes away from 100. If you could like the video right now and let us know who the 100th is. We'll give you a big shout out. Bob said Cappy looks lost out there. I don't agree. I think that line's been pretty good tonight. Though I will say Kapanen hasn't, I haven't heard his name as much as maybe Doc or Bolduc in this one for sure. But it's his first game in a while. I'm going to give him a break. I'm going to give him some time to settle into this one as a Buffalo shot gets deflected wide. Malenstein had a prime opportunity, but Dobeš was able to slide over in time. Samuelson at the point shoots. No one really knows where the puck is. Does Dobesh have it? I think he does. The play comes to a halt. 9:46 left. We're past the halfway mark. Jakub Dobesh covers up. Past the halfway mark of the second period. Past the halfway mark of this game. And the Montreal Canadiens are still up 2-0 as we see a replay of Beck Malenstein firing it just wide, but it doesn't matter because Jakub Dobesh was in position. 30 minutes left, Jesse. 30 minutes left. That's all you have to do. You just played a phenomenal 30 minutes. You know, some ups, some downs. As you know, the start of the second period was a bit more even than I think the first period was. First period was definitely lead more Montreal. Second period pretty even so far. As you'd expect in a game, you're gonna have highs and lows. But with half the game left, Montreal up 2-0. We have to be feeling good, right? Everyone in chat, I need to see some W's. I need to see some more. We're not seeing enough W's or go Habs goes in the chats because we know how much that means to the Habs. They see it. They're looking. The Habs are in the intermission. They're looking at their phone. Oh, look at the Habs Digest chat. Look at all the W's in it. We got to win this game, fellas. Shout out to Robin Oliver for being the 95th like. I want one more before the end of the second, says Jason Ken with the W's. Jesse, one more before the end of the second. And, you know, you're putting yourself in, you know, pretty good spot. But, you know, it is wishful thinking. But the way Montreal's played this game, I think something's going to happen very soon.
Just about playing our game, and those details are so important, right? And as you guys are watching the game and commercials are coming up, we saw something from Taco Bell here recently, but like the Habs, they don't want to go into a defensive shell, which is so important. Like that's the worst thing that they could do here at a 2-point victory, like leading the game right now. It's like, again, you want to stay on the toes. It's about getting pucks in deep, getting on the forecheck. Like this is playoff hockey, but they got guys like Josh, Randy Anderson, like well suited for this type of game. He's starting to light up right now when it matters the most. I think that's definitely a good look, but it's just about kind of like playing the simple game, and that's kind of the beauty of the playoffs. That's why we love watching the game this time of the year. It's like the skill matters, yes, but it becomes that much more mental. Just getting pucks in the net, bodies in front of the net, pucks in deep, forechecking. But really, like the boys right now, like again, like Josh, I had to make the comparison almost to like a chess match, right? Like just the way that they're just supporting each other so well. Like nobody's getting isolated out on the puck here, or whether that's offensively, defensively, like just how the boys are staying connected and keeping those close gaps in between them. I think it's just, again, it's just, I think at the root of the Habs' success here tonight is playing that really connected game.
Yeah, you know what? I like that. All these pieces can protect each other, right? Some people are pawns. Josh Anderson's definitely a knight. I mean, he has to be, right? He's a horse. I mean, there's no way. I don't know, Lane Hutson, maybe a bishop, maybe a queen, one of the, like, the most powerful piece in chess. Marty St. Louis is the king, right? They're trying to, or maybe it's Jakub Dobesh. He doesn't leave his crease, just moves one square at a time, but he is the king. Dobie is the puck, squeaks out in the slot. Alex Lyon gets it. I see a lot of Go Habs go in the chat, but I do see EPT Gamers, who is a Buffalo fan, in the chat. You said, my bad, couldn't find any Buffalo sources. Hey, it's not your bad. Don't feel bad for being here. Thank you for being here. All the Habs fans, all the Sabres fans. But by the way, I gotta give a shout out. If you're looking for some daily Sabres content, we do have Sabres Digest, hosted by Ryan. So, fantastic channel. It's popping off right now with this series. So go check out Ryan at Sabres Digest. Subscribe to 99, says Robin Oliver. Guys, we're 2 likes away from 100. Let us know who the 100th is. You'll get a big shout out. Come on. You know you want to be the 100th. You don't even need, you just sign up and log in with your account. Click the button. That's all it is. Zach Benson has it in the offensive zone. Hands off to Bowen Byram, who comes downhill to the hash marks. He sends it over to the half wall. Buffalo looking to create some chaos here. Owen Power stepping up. Owen Power has not been a huge factor in this series so far, though. He gets the puck. He's stepping up. He's looking for the shot, but he's not going to take it. He's going to give it to Benson behind the net, who comes out in front and shoots. The puck just gets deflected wide. Back to the point for Bowen Byram, who has looked dangerous at many times in this series. But Ryan McLeod cannot corral the puck on the boards. Mike Matheson gets it behind the net. Blind pass, though, up the half wall. Tries to hit Texier, but turns it over as Buffalo gets it behind the net again. Dobesh, little sneaky
I love that from him.
Isn't that great? Isn't that it's those little things that you love? The puck squeaks out next to Dobesh after it was once again blocked, as the 4 Habs skaters have been out for a minute and a half. Josh Doan skates into the slot, fires it, once again blocked. Buffalo creating some chaos, but it's Jakub Dobesh, baby, with the phenomenal glove save to completely neutralize the Buffalo opportunity. That's what you need to see, Jesse. Reminds me of Mr. Carey Price. Chaos. Goes out there, little glove save, calms it down, ends the play. That's the kind of calm play you need from Dobesh. Not known for his great rebound control, but there, showing it off to a fantastic degree.
One of the best goalies here in the playoffs, growing every single game. He is an evolution in progress right now. And really, this team is an evolution in progress as well, where we saw defending the front of the net was not the Montreal Canadiens' strengths earlier on in the season. We saw at some points where they would just it was the defensive zone coverage, and we would just often leave some opportunities there and some prime opportunities. Not the case here in the second round in Game 7. The Habs have just shown such growth in the game where it's like it's a rotating cast. Never are they leaving that front of the net in their defensive zone vacant whatsoever. So I'm loving to see the boys and how they're really communicating out there.
I completely agree, as they showed the shot attempts being 43-25. But Montreal still leads the game in shots. Goes to show how good Montreal has been at just getting the stick on different shots, getting the body on different shots. They're not letting Buffalo get the puck to the net. But Buffalo is not blocking Montreal shot attempts. And by the way, thank you all for helping us hit 100 likes on this stream, as it's Buffalo continuing this offensive zone pressure. But Juraj Slafkovsky makes a great play at the blue line, nearly turns it over there in the neutral zone, but it's Nick Suzuki who hammers it in deep as Cole Caufield is looking to get on the puck here, squeaks out to the blue line, is dumped back in. Caufield below the goal line, tries to go short side on UPL. UPL has Caufield's number this game, but Caufield, Jesse, to his credit, he has been hammering the puck on net, and we've been talking about how important it is to just shoot, especially for a guy like Caufield. The more that we're just putting the pucks on UPL, the more his cracks are going to show. His numbers have not been great the playoffs. He's a fine goalie, but he's not going to keep saving these opportunities for the whole rest of the game. So continuing to just put pucks on net, Buffalo's not doing a good job of blocking them. You're going to see good results eventually.
And Cole Caufield could definitely score from there, but I'm just loving to see the confidence that clearly Cole Caufield has with this game. He's locked in. That's why I maintain the take. Somebody from this top line is going to be able to score in this game. And the way that Cole Caufield's starting to get his numbers here on net, it could very well be him.
It sure could be. Peyton Krebs comes in the offensive zone, neutralized by Lane Hutson. Great stick in the defensive zone here, though. Buffalo once again continuing to just pressure the Montreal Canadiens. We have not been able to get sustained offensive zone time right now as Buffalo fires it on net there. Greenway pushing and shoving in front of the net here. Josh Anderson cannot get the puck there.
Big hit though, that matters.
On Peyton Krebs though. I mean, Anderson doing everything he can here to just work his magic and do what he does best. But Buffalo once again keeps the puck in the zone. Montreal, we've seen this all series, not able to cleanly clear the puck, as that's a bit of a funny visual. Lane Hutson on Jordan Greenway, but it's Greenway behind the net. Back to Beck Malenstein. He feeds it in front, and it's a shot from Samuelson, and it goes in. As Buffalo scores, oh boy, there was a bit of a scramble. Dobesh didn't see it. Lane Hutson did not have a stick. And once again, Jesse, is Montreal not quite able to get a clean clear. A few chances to clear it, they couldn't get it. They just couldn't do it, and Buffalo comes to within one goal with 6:41 left here in the second period.
It's a desperate team right now. And again, they're fighting for their playoff lives right now. And they're shooting their shot. But again, the Montreal Canadiens have put themselves in a good position where even though Buffalo is getting this goal here, they still have the advantage in this game like they have in this series. Again, by winning that Game 5 here, it's about putting yourself just in that good position. It's when you're going up against an NHL caliber team, it's obviously you're not going to envision all the time. You're just going to be getting a shutout every single time. But for the large part, the Habs have been able to limit those opportunities. They're now pushing here in the second period, and it's now time for the Habs really to bounce forward and really continue building on that solid momentum and goodwill that they've built over this game.
It's exactly that. Just bounce forward. That's it, right? Like, you take that. That's a bit of a bad bounce. Now, that, to be fair, was created by a lot of offensive zone pressure by Buffalo. Montreal failed clearing attempts. It's been like the bane of our existence. I don't know why it's such a thing these whole playoffs, but that's fine. But the shot itself, yeah, a bit of a lucky bounce for the puck to come right back out to Samuelson while there was about 800 people in the crease. So, like, and to be fair, he put it where he needed to put it. I think it probably hit one or two things on the way in the net. Dobesh, he had absolutely no chance. I mean, that's as close to a full expected goal as you can get. But right now, Montreal just got to weather the storm. Bend, don't break, 2-1 still, but you need some offensive zone time if you're Montreal. You haven't had the rush chances in this second period that you had in the first. Buffalo's done a better job in the neutral zone of stopping Montreal from getting into the offensive zone. Montreal's shot numbers have been lower. You just got to keep forechecking as they do a good job here. Nick Suzuki sends it back to the point for Matheson, down back behind the net, but it's Buffalo who gets it. Again, just another little thing, 2 passes and out, but no, Zach Bolduc out there right now with Kirby Dach and Nick Suzuki. A bit of an interesting trio who's out there due to some changes that happened, but Buffalo does manage to get the puck, and they're out going quick. quick. And you know they're going to continue to do this up through the neutral zone without any pressure. Byram over, wide open shot. And it goes wide. Montreal's starting to bend a little bit more, Jesse. But you have to think that this momentum that Buffalo's gaining is like an elastic band, right? It's going to kind of come back the other way. And you just got to wait for that moment where Montreal is going to be able to just take advantage whenever Buffalo does inevitably make a mistake, because they're playing with a lot of excitement right now.
Type Habs strong if you believe in this team right now and their ability to be able to bounce back when it truly matters. Stay strong in these key moments. They're shooting their best shot against us. This is totally to be expected at a certain point where they're going to come. They're not just going to want to be just completely waltzed out of the playoffs without having any sort of say whatsoever. They're having their time right now. It's just going to be all about the Habs being able to limit that here. But the Montreal Canadiens, they're going to believe in what they can do. But it's all really about doubling down and just having that confidence in how they've played this entire season and believing that you can do that here again.
And they're doing a great job right now getting some nice offensive zone time. It's the Demidov, Evans, and Newhook line. Newhook with some great efforts to kind of start this whole thing, just fighting on the forecheck to keep the puck in the offensive zone. Buffalo's now a little desperate. Is this Samuelson and Dahlin fighting along the boards? Ryan McLeod does come out with it, but you can see Dobson stepping up, sending it back behind the net. Buffalo fans want a penalty. Doesn't look like it's going to be called. No, it's not. McLeod sends it over to Tuch, who's kind of hit a little bit by Dobson. The Habs are coming the other way as it's fed up. It's Cole Caufield in on the rush, and it's saved once again by UPL, though it nearly trickles through him. There you go, Jesse. That's what you needed. Just a little momentum swing. Cole Caufield has been all over this game. One of his best 5v5 performances so far this playoffs with that fantastic shot. Oh, he nearly squeaked it through UPL. We saw something similar. Remember on Demidov's, well, I thought it was Demidov's goal, Evans' goal last game where Demidov kind of shot. It squeaked a little bit through and then Evans tapped it in. Cole Caufield is getting his chances, but that right there, after a ton of Buffalo pressure, they come to within one goal. This is exactly what we said. It's going to elastic band back. Caufield gets a big rush chance off an offensive zone turnover from Buffalo. Nearly scores a goal. Now, if you're Montreal, you're looking at this. We got 4 minutes left. You got to go hard for these 4 minutes. Capitalize on that tiny little momentum shift. Try and make it bigger. Demoralize this crowd as we head into the third.
And look to get another goal if you're the Montreal Canadiens to really end this one out. It's all about really winning this last 5 minutes of the period. You got to feel like the boys are really going to be finishing this off hard because they know how much it matters to truly end off this period in style. And UPL, again, is showing a little bit of cracks there where you're getting the opportunity on him and he's not quite sure of where it is there. So, you know, again, showing a little bit of uncertainty in his game. And you have to feel like Cole Caufield, he's going to feed off that because he's looking hungry right now. If we see him out on the ice, that's the body language. He's also looking confident. You know that he wants more and he feels like he's happy with the team, but he wants more for himself and he's not going to be satisfied until he's got his name on the score sheet here tonight.
He's very hungry for a small guy. You know, he needs that sustenance. He needs to get that goal. But a good point in chat from Bob. Those 3 missed breakaways going to bite them in the butt. We don't know if it's going to bite them in the butt, but so far, like, you can't guarantee a goal in the breakaway. Definitely something that has been a bit of a theme, weirdly, over the last year or two. Like, not really. Now, I wouldn't call that Caufield one a breakaway either. He had to fire it from about the hash marks. Like, you know, and he's also nearly squeaked it through UPL. So, Texie and Anderson, yeah, you wish you maybe could have got one of those goals, but, you know, it's far from a guarantee in the playoffs. But they're doing the right thing to get these opportunities. And the goals are going to come if this continues to happen. We're just over halfway through this game. Montreal's had a whole lot more breakaway and rush chances than Buffalo in general. You know, Buffalo's one goal came off a scramble, and it just squeaked out to a defenseman when there was everyone in the, you know, painted blue crease. So it is what it is. I think Montreal's doing exactly what they need to do as the Buffalo crowd's into it, but Montreal wins the offensive zone faceoff, though it does squeak out past the blue line. Nick Suzuki is down low. They're going to call this offside with 4 minutes and 24 seconds left. And, you know, you wish you maybe could have got some offensive zone time there, but you talk about it being a chess match. For the rest of this game, really it is going to be a lot of Marty St. Louis versus Lindy Ruff. How are they going to modify their strategies? Who are they going to deploy against who? How are they going to try to neutralize the other team's strengths? Because Marty did a great job against John Cooper in matching up lines, matching up deep pairings, and you have to think that's going to be a major focus here as we head to the end of the second and, of course, into this third period.
Yeah, and again, it just comes down to really who wants it the most in this 2-1 game. That's what it really is. While being mindful of just those X and O's, but again, just how the boys are playing in the neutral zone, just getting on top of your man is just really important, right? It's like winning those battles ahead of time. It's like making that play in front of your man in the neutral zone, so you don't need to make a hero play in the defensive zone. I think it's just so huge. So it's really those small battles that are being won that's going to determine the difference here tonight. But you know, the Habs, it's obviously like to finish off this period, we want to see them just getting those pucks in deep, putting them in some good spots, and then going to work from there.
Yeah, you really got to just continue your forecheck. It hasn't been fantastic here in the second period so far, but it was fantastic in the first period. And I think there's going to be a whole lot of great effort here as they're showing another replay of this goal. I think, are they saying they credit it to Jordan Greenway? I think that's what they're saying right now. So whatever, doesn't really matter. But right now, what I love to see, Jesse, even on that possession there, well, I shouldn't say possession, but right there when Buffalo had the puck, Caufield, he's swarming the puck carrier. Every time he's there, he's trying to, he's forcing him into quick decisions. And, you know, his defensive side of the game gets underrated by so many people just because he's small. But it's been an incredible evolution to watch him be able to disrupt and disturb other players. Like, some nights, he's one of the better defensive forwards just because of how much he disrupts. And so far tonight, he's doing everything he can. He's been the most visible on that top line for sure in this one, and I love what I've seen from him. It just makes me think that something big is brewing here. Like, Caufield's got his legs under him. That's a dangerous thing for any team going up against the Habs.
And the fact that you're calling that out is so important for the Montreal Canadiens, because we know the key for their success is playing that defensive game. So when you got guys like Cole Caufield contributing there, you know that there's some positive things going on for the Montreal Canadiens. Like, I absolutely love hearing that. And it truly is the evolution of Cole Caufield that's coming into fruition right now, where all these years where Martin St. Louis has been working with them to really round out the defensive game. Now here we are in game 7 of round 2, where truly that part of the game is really coming into practice for Cole Caufield, and really being able to help the Canadiens right when they need it the most.
Yeah, and it's all that practice. This is where muscle memory kicks in, right? There's a whole lot of adrenaline. You just go out there and you just play, and Caufield wants it. I mean, you talk about a guy who looks like he wants it. As Krebs fires a shot, there's some screens going in front of Dobesh, but it is kicked away into the corner. Jordan Greenway back out there, who now has credit for that goal. He fires it. But Dobesh did not see that. It went well over his head after it was deflected. But it's Carrier now with Ivan Demidov ahead of him, but you got to think that Demidov's going to go off for a change as soon as he gets this puck in deep, or he just takes it and fires it on UPL. Why not, right? Get those pucks on net, but it's Buffalo coming the other way. That's the danger of these quick shots, because the other team can get out and in that transition game very, very fast. Slafkovsky back out on the ice, Suzuki, Caufield. This line is staying out there a lot. Slafkovsky has not had the strongest series. He's not looked himself, but he's coming in, bringing the puck into the offensive zone, trying to go short side, and it's back to Hutson, who sends it on net, and it's deflected into the corner. Montreal, here you go, Jesse. We're talking about it. Getting some offensive zone pressure, and who else but Lane Hutson and the first line. Though Hutson does turn it over there, and Buffalo's going to be able to come down into the Habs zone now in their own chance. But the top line and Lane Hutson, these are the guys that you want to see step up into Game 7. And so far, I mean, right here at key moments in the game, it seems like they're showing up.
And trust that top line to get a shift when we really need it, to start getting some positive momentum from here. So the boys are definitely going to look to build upon that, but they're going to have to hold strong defensively here in the meantime.
They really are. Buffalo getting a lot of slot chances right now. And ooh! A point shot from Rasmus Dahlin does deflect a little bit wide. The crowd on the edge of their seat right now. I mean, so am I. Owen Power has the puck down behind Jakub Dobesh, almost down in the corner. The Habs once again a full minute out there. Alex Tuch trying to jam it in short side, unable to. The puck is out in the slot, but it's Caufield, bit of hand-eye, batting it up to himself to manage to get it clear. I mean, as small a play as that is, it's important, but Tuch sends it into the slot. As it's McLeod who gloves it down. Montreal, Jesse, bending a little bit again. Right now, Buffalo getting chance after chance after chance in the Habs slot, in on Jakub Dobesh, but guess what? It's still 2-1. The crowd's starting to get back into it. You got to hold on for about a minute left here. Montreal, a couple of missed defensive assignments. Lane Hutson had the puck carrier. I don't know where the rest of the defense was. It was just him. And Jakub Dobesh with just with the tip of his toe there. Oh my gosh, and Josh Doan firing the puck about an inch over the crossbar. It's been a bit of a scary few minutes, last 5 or 6 minutes for Montreal, of course, even 10 minutes. Giving up the goal to Buffalo, now giving up chances, Jesse, but you got 48 seconds. If you can survive this, third period is a whole new ballgame.
And this is where Dobesh can truly be a difference maker. In spite of everything, he's coming up clutch when it matters. He's showing a lot of composure in the back of the net, and it's not only the saves he's making, but also the confidence that he's doing so, which is really going to help to encourage the Montreal Canadiens right now.
Yeah, and I don't know what's happening here. Jakub Dobeš flopping like a fish there to jump on the puck. My goodness. This is chaos right now. Montreal allowing Buffalo. We talked about how good a job they did in the first period of keeping the Buffalo Sabres out of the blue paint. This second period, Buffalo's kind of got to their spots. They've gotten where they wanted to get to. Jakub Dobeš looking up at the jumbotron to see what happened here. Caden Gooley, that was a bit of a weird bounce, as they did stop the pass, but it went right to the Buffalo player. They crashed the crease. Everyone managed to just dive onto the ground. It was a great save by Dobeš. Managed to recover. He was going the wrong way. The puck bounced in a place where he wasn't expecting it. Still made the save. Yeah, oh my goodness. Look at this replay. Scramble there. Caden Gooley on the puck. Tage Thompson just jumps in on everyone, and the Habs were not happy with that. But with 31.7 seconds left, Jesse, we got to just continue to hold on. Get the puck out of the zone here. But Dobeš, once again, he's calm. He knows what he's doing. He's a bit all over the place sometimes, but that's kind of the Dobeš we love. You got to have a bit of chaos in his game.
Dobie's playing well, but it's a lot of high energy out there, and when he's pouncing on the puck, he's picking his good opportunities to do so. He's playing a solid game, and now allows Philip Deneau to get an important face-off win, which is so important here to end off the second period and get a good shift in the offensive zone.
Fantastic call. Phil Deneau, that's what we got him for, right? Not let alone scoring the first goal of this game. That was incredible. But Phil Deneau has been so good. Number one on the team in face-off percentage. Very, very important. But some people in chat pointing out the Habs have not done a good job in this second period of clearing the paint in front of Dobeš. It hasn't been as physical as the puck bounces out in front again for Josh Norris. The Habs are not able to get the puck out of the blue paint. I don't know what's going on, but you know what? You know who comes out of that scrum with the puck, Jesse? It is Phil Deneau. As my goodness, I don't think there's any doubt that Montreal probably lost that period, but you know what? It doesn't matter, because you're going into the third period with a 2-1 lead in Game 7. 2-1 lead in Game 7. I am excited. Leave your thoughts in chat. How was that period? What do you need Montreal to do? And leave type believe. We've been doing this a whole lot. Shout out Mark Orr for always saying keep the faith. Type believe in chat if you believe the Montreal Canadiens will hold on to this 2-1 lead and win this game. How are we feeling after that period? Scary period. You know what that reminds me of, Jesse? Reminds me a little bit of Game 7 versus Tampa, where we held on. We did what we needed to do. We had some moments where we looked a little tired. We came out flying in the first. Buffalo came out flying in the second. The third period is where you really need to prove yourself now. Montreal won a period. Buffalo won a period. Guess who's winning the game? This third period shows what you're made of. Money Puck has the Habs at a 76% chance to win this one. And in the chat, they sure believe. I can tell you that right now.
And a lot of ways, this is to be expected, where you're at this point in the playoffs in the second round. You got to know that these are two good hockey teams, and they're both going to show their mettle at different points in the game. And it's really just who's going to be able to assert themselves the most. Both teams can play good hockey. It's just who can play the most over the course of the game is going to be so huge to see who gets the W here at the end of the day. And again, it's like what the Montreal Canadiens, like we've seen so many times, and it doesn't matter like what sport it is. There's a lot to be said sometimes about being able to bend but not break.
Yep.
And that's really what the Montreal Canadiens are doing right now. Now, obviously, they're going to want to be able to get on the forefoot a little bit more, getting some pucks in deep. But that's what the Montreal Canadiens can do, and they just need to ride that momentum wave. It's about creating some momentum, create some bounces their way, and really skating, because you have to feel like that's the Habs game. Like, even though Sabres like to play a similar game, like you can't even really focus on that. It's like play the defense, but other than that, offensively, we stick to what we do best. And that's really bringing it offensively there. So I think that's going to be important. And just as the Habs, they've been able to reset from game to game, I think it's important to do that from period to period. There's going to be adjustments. As we know, where's the game going to go next? And being able to adjust, to recognize that, and to really bring the type of game that you want to this Game 7 here.
I love that, right? It's about imposing your will. It's about saying, like, this is what I want, and I'm about to go and take it. And that's probably what Marty is telling. I keep saying that, but, then again, we hear these stories that, like, Marty's saying some of the most ridiculous stuff that no one's ever heard. So I think Marty's probably saying some other stuff. I don't know if he's talking in French or what he's doing there, but we're going to take a look at some of these second period stats. And you know what I love to see? Like, what else would you want? At the Money Puck model right now, they do 1,000 simulations. I don't think I've ever seen this. Dead 50-50 after two periods. Makes sense. Habs won the first, Sabres won the second. But you know what? There's a reason they have the Habs at a 76% chance to win, because even after that Buffalo onslaught of offense, guess who has the lead, baby? It's Montreal. As we take a little closer look, and we're going to compare the first period to the second period scoring chances. So this is the second period. Again, the blue circles are Buffalo, the red is Montreal. Here's the first period. Montreal getting a lot of those chances. Look at all the chances that Buffalo generated in the second, in and around Dobeš. So, to me, Jesse, I mean, very clear key right now. We saw how important the defense was in the first period. The defenseman clearing the way in front of Dobeš. Couldn't quite execute on that as much in the second. That's still the biggest focus here, right? When it started to lack a little bit, that's when Buffalo started to push a little bit. They got a few more chances in the blue paint. Let us know what you think in the chat. But to me, I think this is an obvious one, right? You can lock down in front of your own net, you got a good chance to win this game. That to me is so obvious, and we know Montreal has been able to do that in large stretches. So I actually have a ton of faith that that stretch from Buffalo is not going to happen again.
And this heat map really speaks to just how good Jakub Dobeš has been at some key moments there. And what's the strategy to really just help encourage this young goalie even further? It's if he's going to see it, he's going to stop it. So that's going to be really big. So it's clearing out the front of the net. So you're not allowed him to be screened there, because I really think if Dobeš here going in this third period, he's going to need, there's no way unless if he sees this puck here, he's definitely going to be stopping it. So I think that's the big key. And then conversely, we want to do the same thing. Like, that's the name of the game in playoffs, right? Like, that's what allowed Montreal to be successful in the first period. This is what allowed Buffalo to get on the scoreboard, albeit not to where Montreal is here in the second. So what's going to be the key to success in the third? You have to feel like it's going to involve getting pucks at the front of the net, bodies in front of the net. That's really been the story here so far. Who can work to get in those hard spots and get the rewards that go with it. Again, I'm going to double down. I still feel that this top line's going to contribute when it matters the most. We know Slav's been a little bit quiet. Can he really hone in? Because he can be a big difference maker, like not just offensively, but like physically as well. Slav can be a difference maker. I want to say that I do believe that Slav can find that outlet. Let's cue the Slavzilla animation to really speak into existence, like the type of third period that we want Slav to play, because we know that like when he's at the best, he's playing that Brady Tkachuk style game. I kind of hate to say it because I feel like Slav's almost a better player than him now. It's like, but like playing physically. Like rattling a few cages, getting in front of the net. Like, I want to talk about him because if we're scoring playoff goals, we know that that's where it's coming from. Then I'm looking no further than Mr. Juraj Slafkovsky.
I love that. I mean, so many of his goals this year, especially on the power play, right from the slot, right? He's got a heck of a shot, like one-timers too. If he can let one rip, got a good chance to go in. Game one of the entire playoffs, the man had a hat trick on Andrei Vasilevsky. And, like, they were all pretty solid shots. Like, no fluky goals there. That last goal, absolute snipe. So, we know when he can get the puck, he'll do some great things. But he has looked a little weird since the Tampa series. It feels like that Slav that just dominates, like, he uses his shoulder when he has the puck possession. It's not really there as much. He's fallen down a bit more. So, like, I don't know if he's full health. Maybe he is. But, look, it doesn't matter because he's still in, like, it's the first time he's been in the second round, right? There's a ton of learning experience here. You can't expect a guy to be amazing right away, but coming into this game, he was tied with Cole Caufield in goals and assists in the playoffs. So, like, still with 9 points in 13 games coming into this one. So it's not like he's been horrible. Of course, he's had certain games. He had a 3-goal game and a 3-assist game. His offense comes in bunches. And he had a 3-assist game just a couple games ago. And I feel like we forget that. Like, the dude had a 3-point night just a couple nights ago. So I love that shout out that Juraj Slafkovsky can make a big difference in this one. And we'll take a look at the forward line stats now through 2 periods. So, well, that's full screen. I'm actually going to get away from full screen. No. Why is it doing that? Okay, hold on. Let me just go here. No, we'll go here. There we go. So, Juraj Slafkovsky and Nick Suzuki and Cole Caufield, not as strong of a second period. They had a 90% share of the expected goals in the first, but still very solid. Over the course of this game, none of the lines on the Habs are controlling the shot attempts, because we saw Buffalo has had way more shot attempts, but Montreal's been able to block them. Montreal, fewer shot attempts, which has been kind of a tough thing for them, but they've been able to make it count. So, but still, again, in terms of generating chances, it's been the top line. The numbers show it. They have generated, Slafkovsky, Suzuki, Caufield, the most 5v5 scoring chances of any line in this game. Now, most of it, for sure, it was Cole Caufield with a couple of those chances on UPL, that little break chance below the goal line trying to go short side. But still, like, this top line is capable of doing stuff, but more than just the offense, it's also the defense. Like, if the top lines, yeah, they're generating those chances, but that also means that Buffalo's not generating that many chances to offset this line. So offensively and defensively, I think it's important that the forward lines need to just continue to lock in. And shout out to all the lines. Again, I think we'll see a lot of Phil Deneau deployment in this third period. Jesse, wouldn't surprise me to see him get some extra shifts for some extra faceoffs, even over like a guy like Jake Evans on that new hook Demidov line. Even though Evans himself is good on the faceoff dot, I think Marty's going to be very, very careful with his defensive deployments here in this third period.
He's going to have to, but at the same time, this is really like 1-goal games is where the Montreal Canadiens live and thrive. 60% of their games so far this year have been within 1 goal or less here. So again, it's just the boys are very close to being in these type of situations when it truly matters. So you have to feel like they're going to be rallying right now.
They really are, as we see the panel chatting about that period. And honestly, I'm just anxious. Like, not anxious in terms of like, oh, what's going to happen. I just want to see that. I want to see the game go back on, man. I'm anxious to watch more hockey. Like, because I think I speak for a lot of people where it's like, I'm not nervous about Montreal blowing this lead. Like, some people, some fans of some teams might say that. I am just like, I'm anxious to see how Montreal's going to come out and just get a quick goal. Because that's just how we felt all season long, right? We belong here. And I want to see how Montreal responds because this team is so capable. Like, you mentioned earlier, Dobson had a quiet game. He's still been fairly quiet in this one. Hutson, by his standards, a little bit quiet as well. You know, like, he's been great. Like, he's great every game, right? And my standard for Hutson is, like, here. And he's been here. He's still been one of the best players on the ice. But he hasn't quite been that, like, oh, generate, like, these crazy Ds generate incredible chances. We have guys on this team, like Slav, not really generating that much. Hutson, great. We know he has that extra gear. Dobson, same thing. Yeah, we have guys stepping up, like Bolduc, like Deneau, these guys. But the fact that we have so many guys that are like, yeah, I know against a team like Buffalo, they're going to be able to take it to that next step. Just, again, gets me excited for this third period as we only got 10 minutes left now for this third period, Jesse. I feel like we've been in intermission for about a half hour. I don't know about you, but I'm getting driven nuts. I want to watch hockey.
I'm getting hyped again, and it's like this is the third period coming into Game 7. If you're saying that the Montreal Canadiens are winning that game 2-1, you're taking it every day of the week. And as we're coming into this third period, we're calling upon the magic of the Montreal Canadiens. The most storied franchise in all of hockey that has won the most Stanley Cups. They've just had so many moments where they've been able to come back or just win games when it truly matters. Like, there's no way that you become the most winningest franchise in hockey history by not having just something special like that aura around the Montreal Canadiens. I believe that's we're going to see that come into fruition here in this third period. There is something, again, just truly special. They're greater than the sum of its parts, but this is where it's going to need to matter the most. They're going to need their best period of hockey of the entire season to be able to do so. But they have just been so good in the clutch where it really matters. And all of that practice, you had to feel is leading them to this very moment.
The Habs maybe have more practice coming from behind late than they do holding on to these late leads. But it's unbelievable because regardless, it's the poise in these late game moments. And we've seen Montreal before do these sometimes, maybe try and play prevent hockey. In this third period, Buffalo season's on the line. So was Montreal's, of course. But when you're down in the Game 7, you come out in that third period and you literally have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing. Now, a little bit, because, a 2-1 game, you can still score late in the period, and Buffalo's not going to play some kind of crazy, frantic style. It's not like they need 3 goals to even come back, but they're going to play a little bit risky. You need a goal. You just straight up need a goal, and they're going to, if you're Montreal, you got to look at Buffalo, who's going to try and push the puck, push the pace, try and get that goal, try and capitalize on their mistakes, be that more mature team, try and predict what they're going to do. As Sportsnet did just show a graphic as well, showing the ice times in this game for the Habs forwards. And I want to hear everyone's thoughts and chats on what's going on right now. Jake Carroll, who's been the #1 chatter today, definitely work to be done in the back end in the offseason, but we still got this. I think if we had a fully healthy Noah Dobson, we'd be singing a different tune. But not to mention, we have David Reinbacher ready to come up and Adam Engstrom also ready to come up. So, there's lots of stuff on the back end we can work on for the future. I still think that 2C's a big thing, but that's beside the point right now. That's for another day. Taking a look at the forward ice time, Juraj Slafkovsky actually 14 minutes more than Cole Caufield, which is pretty crazy. Suzuki at 16, but you can see Phil Deneau 9 minutes, Evans 11-14. Marty really relying on Evans, and of course Demidov out there on that power play up at 12 minutes. But isn't it awesome, Jesse, to see that Ivan Demidov is the 4th most used forward And like, as a rookie here for the Montreal Canadiens in a game 7, that's just a 1-goal game with a period left to go, you knew Danault and Evans would get lots of the share. You knew Oliver Kapanen would probably be the least used forward tonight just because of the spot he's filling and because of the fact he hasn't played that much. But I love to see Demidov getting the chance to create. I love seeing it just being very balanced. I think it speaks a lot to how Montreal's played this year. Bolduc and Dach, again, below 7 minutes, haven't been relied upon as much, but it's the vets, right? It's Anderson, Danault, Evans, and even a guy like Texier, who are able to step up. And honestly, when they've been on the ice, I felt very comfortable with how Montreal's played.
And what a progression it is for Ivan Demidov, because he certainly hasn't been one of the ice time leaders for the Montreal Canadiens. He's really needed to fight and earn more of that over time, especially here early in the playoffs where he wasn't getting tons of time. He's been able to really find what he needs to do to be on the ice and is getting rewarded. And this means big things for the Montreal Canadiens. I love that you're highlighting the ice time for Ivan Demidov, because for them to be successful here in Game 7 of Round 2, they need Ivan Demidov to be one of our best players, and getting the most ice time outside of our top line there is just phenomenal to see, because that's really that depth and then that next wave that is just so important, because for teams to be successful in the playoffs, we know we need that depth. You can't just have that one line, that two line, like you need it all around, and we need Ivan Demidov truly playing at the best version of himself in order to get this win here. So look for him to factor in, because he's just been getting better as the series going on. The fact that he was able to now start registering some goals and getting that monkey off of his back is huge. That shot is still a threat, and we want to see him utilizing that here in that third period.
Oh, he's ready to unlock that shot, man. That one-timer last game, he takes some weird one-timers. Like, I know he's not intentionally doing it, but the puck is like flat on his blade when he's shooting them, but he still launches him into the top corner. It's crazy. But his wrist shot's so nasty, of course. That first career playoff goal and the absolute snipe as the Habs' 6th goal there in Game 5. It was unbelievable. I'm so ready for Ivan Demidov to go out in that third period and roll. But Marty, you got to think that Marty is just trusting his guys right now. I want to know. Maybe we'll know eventually, Jesse, because I'm sure there's cameras, there's microphones in there, and we're going to see the kind of speeches maybe in the rebuild. I don't know if they're doing another season of that. I hope they are, but I'm sure there's something out there where we're going to see the speeches, some behind the scenes stuff of what Marty's saying. We've seen the stuff after the games, the celebration, Wolf of Wall Street, all that stuff. I want to know what he's saying to these guys, because like, this could be the last, it is the last game of the season for one of these two teams. And Montreal, like, you've been here before. Buffalo, like, barely ever. Buffalo's won 1 Game 7 ever. And, what the heck is going on there? No. Buffalo's won 1 Game 7 ever. And so Lindy Ruff is probably saying to his team, we want to be the second, right? We absolutely need to be the second team here. As I think we dropped a little bit of frames there for a second, but we should be back now. Thank you for, I don't know what the heck happened there. I think the internet browser freaked out, but it's the motivation. As someone who has never played pro sports, played medium level sports, but when you get to these moments, it really shows your character as a person, as a team, what you do for each other. And I think that's where Montreal really thrives. Not that Buffalo isn't good at it, because I'm sure they are. I haven't really paid as much attention to their locker room, but fighting for each other, that's where Montreal really has a strength. And to me, that's one of the most important aspects heading into a final stretch of 20 minutes like we're seeing right now.
And, that's a really big factor in clutching up. Like, when you actually care about your teammates and you have those genuine relationships, and when it's beyond just kind of that normal sort of friendship with, like, Montreal, it is a culture. Like, you do battle a little bit harder, right? You go and you kind of get brought into the fight just that much more. You're that much more motivated. So you got to feel like that's going to be a big factor here for the Montreal Canadiens, is like how close they are. They're able, like, now defensively, like, they're able to really come together, and they're collapsing down low, and that's obviously they're blocking so many shots. They're coming together as a team for their goalie. But obviously, like, as we said earlier, like, the worst thing that we want to do coming into this period here is we don't want to be in that defensive shell. We want to really get on the attack here. And it's going to be normal. Like, it's a heavyweight bout. We've made that analogy before, but it's really apt, right? Because both teams they're going to throw their punches at different points of times, and that momentum is going to be so key. That being said, if the Montreal Canadiens can stay out of the penalty box, continue to play good defense, there's just a rule of thumb that if Habs allow less than 3 goals, like anything like 3 goals or less in a game, they have a very good chance of winning this hockey game here. So playing that strong defense as well, just playing that discipline, Josh, like, For me, that's where it begins and ends, because the offense, it's going to come from being disciplined. It's going to come from playing that right defensive game. So it sounds counterintuitive when we just played a lot of a period in our own end, but I think it's just about getting those details right. We're not actually going to be spending that much time. We're getting on the attack and really get on our toes from there.
You got to, right? And I think a lot of that comes down to discipline, right? Just when you get the puck in your own defensive zone, yeah, make sure you get it clear. Just focus for just half a second, get the clear, right? You're playing defense, you can't afford to lift your stick and risk getting a high stick penalty. You cannot, right? These are the things that mature teams, playoff style teams, they know how to do it. They know how to demoralize the other team by staying disciplined, and that's what I'm excited to see about Montreal now. I feel like my stream went behind again.
I got puck drop coming up momentarily.
Okay.
Incoming here. 5, 4, 3. Puck drop now.
Puck drop now. Okay, so I'm a little bit, let me just go back here. I'll say, there we go. I think we're pretty good here. As the third period is now underway, let's get the text going here. I don't know why. My stream always does that. It always just decides to just, I don't know, go further back than I needed to. But here we go. Third period, 20 minutes to go. 19 minutes and 38 seconds left. The first whistle goes. I don't know why that keeps happening, but hey, we're here. 1938. 3 straight Game 7 road wins, allowed 1 goal in each game. Now, one of them was this year. Some of them have been a while ago, but we remember that Game 7 against Toronto. That was the second most recent one back in 2021. 2-1 win, I believe that was. Brendan Gallagher got a goal, and anyway, yeah, that was a game. That was a very, very fun game for me and not my Leaf fan friends. But it's the top line out there, Jesse, with 19 and a half minutes left. Shots 23-18 Buffalo right now. There's a bit of a contact away from the play, but it's Caufield getting into it with Tuch, which you love to see. Dobson at the point rips one, but it looks like it gets blocked, and the Sabres already just kind of scrambling around their own defensive zone, but get it out in transition here. But a fantastic stick by Nick Suzuki knocks that pass out of the air. I mean, these kind of plays, those are what can make or break your team. Shot attempts, Jesse, 58-31 for Buffalo. Something that Montreal is going to want to improve on here in this third period. And I think Marty's probably telling him, like, just keep shooting the puck, get the puck on net. All things will end up working out for you.
Yeah, for sure. That's what it is here. But you know, the boys have led in a lot of ways here. Many shot attempts here in this series. But Josh, like, again, we're just going to need to excuse the smile on my face. Here we are in the third period, generally so excited for just what this means, like being able to, like, we have just been treated to such amazing hockey. And here we are, we're excited in this third period, having the lead here, having a lot of faith in this Habs team here, as it looks like looks like we might be catching a little bit of a bad break on this one.
Yeah, and it's Phil Deneau. It's the exact penalty that we just talked about. You don't do this and you're fine. I saw it the second it happened. Phil Deneau going for the stick check, and he just slams the stick. Yep. You just can't do that. You just cannot do that. Phil Deneau has had such a great series, such a great playoffs, but a very, very bad moment to take a high sticking penalty. That's the kind of undisciplined play that you don't want. But you need to get this penalty kill right now. It's always a high stick, isn't it, man? Like, why? Why do we just do that? But this penalty kill is going to be so crucial. This is the biggest moment of the game. Type believe in chat right now if you believe the Habs can kill this penalty. We need.
Let's go. We can do this.
The effort. Come on. Everyone in chat, let's get in on this. The Habs clear right away, Jesse.
They couldn't keep it in.
This is where we need the hype, right? We got to bring the hype right now.
Yes, Josh, and I'm just excited that this wasn't a 4-minute power play. I thought for sure, I saw him bleeding. I thought for sure that was a 4-minute. I feel like we're almost dodging a bullet by the fact that it's not here. This is a huge kill for the boys just to rally. Bring that energy in the chat. The boys need it right now. This is going to be a huge kill. We got full faith in the boys.
I got full faith in the boys, full faith in Jakub Dobes. The Sabres get a chance in front. It's a save. Jack Quinn got a clean look in the slot. That's not what you want to see. The Habs fighting to clear the puck. They can't get it. Thompson gets it over there, but the puck does come out. Let's go. And the refs are they going to call it offside? No. It was a delayed offside. Montreal does get the clear down in the Buffalo zone. A minute 12 left in the power play. 17:30 left in the third period. This is such a major moment for Montreal. Rasmus Dahlin, in the first few games, he was completely shut down on the zone entries, but gets a pretty smooth one there as Montreal's kind of playing a little less aggressive now, knowing that one little small mistake and it's going to cost him. But the Habs get another clear. Let's go. This is what we need, Jesse. The
Big
momentum's
one.
in our favor.
Third clear here on this power play. And just so, again, the fact that we're getting this momentum, we're not making it easy for them on zone entry. We're working hard just as a four-man unit right now, and Martin St. Louis has to love what he's seeing right now.
For sure. Byram struggles at the line, and Jake Evans manages to get it out as it's Alex Newhook who comes in shorthanded. I don't imagine, he's just going to dump it into the opposing corner. I think he tried to shoot it, but couldn't quite get it on net. And with 16:50 left in the period, 25 seconds left on the power play, it is Josh Norris who drops it back. And the Buffalo Sabres and Bowen Byram, is that Byram? I can't even tell. Get one last chance here in the offensive zone. Tuch tries to dump it in, but it's clear, Jesse. Woo! That was a clinic. That is a clinic of a penalty kill. Exactly what you needed. That shifts the momentum back in your favor. Phenomenal defense. The power play at times in this playoffs has been a detriment to Buffalo. And so far on that attempt there, that's exactly what it was. Now Montreal has to capitalize on the momentum that they just gained and try and get a third goal very quickly.
Taking that negative and turning it into a positive right now. And again, this is gut check time for the Montreal Canadiens. They're going to have to show how much they really want it. And a lot of it is all about that structure. It's about wanting it, but not losing that composure where we're just chasing guys out on the ice. It's really about just keeping that good positioning and really working as a unit instead of just trying to do it all yourself defensively or offensively.
Exactly. Work as a team right now as Kirby Dach is out there. There's a bit of a mishmash of lines, I think, right now. No, it's not. It's actually, what do we got here? Yeah, it's Suzuki, Dach, and Danault on the ice at the same time. Yeah, it is a mishmash. I don't know what happened there, but Buffalo just continue. We can't get the puck out of our own zone. There we go. We finally did, but that's going to go down for icing. Montreal not able to get clean zone exits. Once again, look, it's an icing. It's not too bad. Caden Gooley knows that he probably could have taken a second there. We're going to take the power play off the board here. Go, Habs, go. Just go. I need more people to type believe. Let's go. We need to start our own pressure. Absolutely. It's not still a power play. That's my bad. Believe. Can I see the game, please? No, that is illegal, Cammy. I'm sorry. I wish I could. There's a little bit of audio if you want to listen to it, but we cannot broadcast the game legally. Sportsnet, if you want to do watch-alongs with us, we are wide open to it, by the way, if you're listening. But, no, unfortunately, not yet. Can you explain to me why Hutson doesn't play PK? Norris Trophy worthy, you're not going to... He has. When Dobson's been out, Hutson has played PK. It's just that we rely on the other guys a little bit more, and it's been maybe more of their games, but Hutson's good too, as Buffalo wins the draw. Dahlin looking, shooting! Deflects just wide. Zach Benson gets behind the net, tries to wrap around, but it's stifled by a good stick, I think, from Noah Dobson. But there we go. Jesse, already in this third period, some chances for Buffalo, but Montreal doing a much better job of not letting that puck get anywhere near Jakub Dobeš, so I'm happy to see that so far.
It's the adjustments, and again, it's that chess match that's being done. You got to like that Marty St. Louis and the boys are really, they've had the chance to talk. Obviously, during the game and on the period with it being so loud, it's hard to make those adjustments. You really need it in between the period to really adjust to what you're seeing out there and make a game plan accordingly. And I'm liking right now that even though we want to get a little bit more time on the opposite end right now, there's still some really positive things that I'm seeing that they're cleaning up from the Habs right now.
Yeah, I agree, though. It's, oh my goodness, Matheson. Oh, he's okay. And actually, he's starting out in transition. Matheson, the smooth skating Matheson over to Newhook, who fires it on net. UPL came up wildly out of his net there. If that puck had rebounded in the wrong place, he would have been SOL, as we like to say. But it's Suzuki who gets the puck up to Matheson. He's going to shoot. Ooh, it just sails wide. That was a nice shot attempt by Matheson. Hutson at the point. Back over to Matheson. Looking. Sends it towards the net where Newhook was screening UPL. And another nice shot attempt there from Matheson. Just get the puck towards the net. That's what we need to do. As it's, Nick Suzuki out here shifting with Newhook and Demidov, but it's Buffalo out in transition. It's Konsta Helenus, the young rookie. Byram shoots, and it just goes wide as it's Jack Quinn who recovers along the half wall, sends it to the slot for Helenus. Over to Byram, one-timer. Oh, he couldn't quite get it. Back to Helenus. He shoots. It's on the goal line, but it's gloved by Dobeš, and he gets
Let's go. What a save.
By Jason.
Oh, my God. Save of the year. Save of the year. Jakub Dobeš is a brick wall.
Oh, my goodness. I cannot believe Dobeš, he saw that puck. And he saved it. You know what that's time for? Adobe is a brick wall, baby. Oh my goodness. We need to see a replay here. The refs are not. Dobeš is not happy. He thinks he got steamrolled after that unbelievable cover on the goal line. We need to see a replay of this, Jesse. What an unbelievable sequence.
Oh, and Matheson just ringing the post just moments earlier. So close to giving us a 3-1 opportunity here. And then Dobie absolutely getting run over while he has possession of the puck. Buffalo continues to be playing some dirty pool here. You know that the Montreal Canadiens are going to be having a long memory on that one year and using that as motivation here in this game to really rally hard.
That is filthy. I mean, at first, maybe the ref thought that he got pushed in by Suzuki. Jason Zucker made no attempt to stop after Dobeš covered the puck. Zucker's shoulder went directly into Dobeš's head, and I don't think they're going to call a penalty on that. Like, I know we're talking about iffy penalties in the playoffs. I might need to see another replay. They only showed a slow motion, which doesn't always tell the full story. It was from one angle. I'd love to see another replay, but certainly, based on that angle that we just saw, that was just Jason Zucker completely recklessly skating through the blue paint and shouldering our goaltender in the head. And no call. The ref's like, oh, no, I'm not going to be the one to make it. It's a 2-1 game. I can't call that. Anyway, here's his eyes. Says, where is Arbor? Get him out there. Marty is not one to, he's not one to send out Arbor in situations like this. I think we kind of have learned that over time. I would be surprised to see Arbor get very many shifts, if any at all, here later in this game. But, I mean, Jesse, with 13:47 left in the period, Arbor Jackeye, he's played 1 minute 52 in this game. Marty is essentially running with the 5 defensemen, and he's running just various pairings. So we're getting some different looks, which is maybe a good thing. But I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that. The fans are certainly not very happy about that Zucker play, and I need to see another replay, because if that's not a penalty, I don't know what is.
And in most sports like the NHL, they go out of the way to protect key star positions, like at the quarterback in the NHL or in the NFL, rather. They put a premium on protecting those type of positions. I feel like the NHL has to do so as well. The fact that Jakub Dobeš is having to plead his case here, really to the referee, who should be having a bird's eye view of exactly what's going on in that situation, for me is some negligence there. That should absolutely be a call for goaltender interference. You're influencing the type of game when you're just feeling like you're getting a shot on a goalie here like that. You know, like you're obviously like you're just having way too much control over the game than you should. That being said, the Montreal Canadiens, they're going to use that as motivation here because they rally as a team. If you're taking shots at the goalie, that's probably exactly what the Montreal Canadiens need, just to really motivate them to finish off this game strong.
Completely agree. And Buffalo gets a nice chance again, a nice opportunity. Alex Tuch, a clean shot on net, but Dobeš blockers it away. Montreal, no shots so far, almost over 6 minutes into this period. Talk with that little sneaky shot. Oh, it hit the knob of Dobeš's stick, but that's okay, as we have a new member, Hazen Hughes, in chat. Welcome to the channel membership. Hey, why don't you send your Jakub Dobeš channel emotes? That's one of the big perks of being a member. Send those emotes and you get priority responses. Thank you so much for becoming a member. With 13:39 left, Jesse, I mean, I think they're saying Nick Suzuki shoved Zucker into him. He didn't. Anyway, Montreal, you got to win faceoffs. They can't win that one. Owen Power skating downhill, and the Buffalo Sabres score.
Woo! This is a tough one. The boys, they're going to find a way in this one here today.
I am livid. Like, I want to scream. You have Jason Zucker just steamrolling Jakub Dobeš. Nothing. They say Nick Suzuki, but no, he didn't. He shoulders him in the head, and then not even a minute later, like 14 seconds of game time later, Buffalo scores a goal. You cannot tell me that this is not game management. Look, regardless, all you can do now is try and recover. That's a great shot by Rasmus Dahlin, well executed by the Sabres after the Habs could not win a defensive zone faceoff. I mean, great play, missed coverage. No one covers Rasmus Dahlin coming down the side. Maybe Dobeš could have got over quicker. It's over, says Chris. Come on, Chris. Stay positive, man. Let's go. Let's go. We need to believe in the chat.
We got this.
We believe in this team.
We're not even entertaining
playing
that.
like a, you guys, come on. We're all better than this. It's a tie game in Game 7. We got people turning off their TVs. That's not what being a Habs fan is about. You got to believe in this team. They're going to come out and they're going to fly here right now. In the face of adversity, Montreal steps up. That's where you change the minds of everyone right now. Let's go. It's time to turn it around. Absolutely right, Jason. Jesse, we got to lock into this game right now. Play our game because, yes, everything has gone against us right now, and it's time for Montreal to make some serious noise.
And Lane Hutson said, you know, in this series that it's like they don't want it to be easy. They're not expecting it to be easy, and they don't want it to be easy either. So it's really gut check time here in the third period. Yes, that's a missed call. That's very much later leading to a goal from Buffalo here. But the Montreal Canadiens, they've had to battle through a lot of adversity. That's why we bring the propaganda so hard like we do, because we know the Montreal Canadiens team, they need it. They're not getting enough respect for as good of a team as they are. So we're certainly bringing that. We have faith here. This, again, it's 0-0, Game 7. 12 minutes left. It's really going to come down to which team really wants it the most right now. But you got to feel like the Montreal Canadiens, they know that they have a solid opportunity to leave their mark on this game, and they're going to be aiming to do just that.
They really got to, because the momentum is all in Buffalo's favor as Lane Hutson cannot corral the puck behind his own net. Jack Quinn goes down, no call there, as there shouldn't be. Noah Dobson gets the puck in the corner, and he sends it out to center ice as Alex Texier takes it with a bit of speed through center, over the blue line, into the Buffalo Sabres zone. He sees a streaking Lane Hutson, and Lane Hutson, you know, if there's anyone that needs to have a massive third, it's going to be him. Back to Dobson, who shoots. It gets almost all the way through. Dobson gets it back again. He loves just putting the puck on net. He sees Phil Deneau the other side. Can't quite complete the passes. Deneau shoots it. It is tipped on UPL, but he makes the save. And right now, Buffalo's coming back in transition. Gons to Helenus. Up through center. Gons to Helenus. Stops. Shoots. Oh my goodness. Another great chance for Buffalo. Montreal's bending a little bit right now. They're breaking a bit, but you got to just keep pushing forward. Phil Deneau sends it into the offensive zone. The play is not as clean as the first period as UPL covers it with 11 minutes and 53 seconds left. I mean, you know what, Jesse? You want drama? This is how you get drama, right? You get drama in a tie game nearly halfway through the third in a game 7. Here we go. Here we go. This is the time where you got to step up. I mean, I don't know. So right now in chat, everyone give who is the game-winning goal going to be. You can pick Montreal or
Lane
Buffalo,
Hutson.
but I think we say Montreal. Lane Hutson, you're saying Lane Hutson? I like that. I like Lane Hutson. I'm going to go with my boy. You guys say Lane Train. I'm going to say it's Ivan Demidov. I think he's going to just finally rip one on net, as Montreal is still looking for their first shot 8 minutes into the second period, but it is the Demidov, Evans, and Newhook line that's out there as Samuelson gets it behind his own net. He chips it up, and it's Alex Tuch who comes out heading towards the Habs blue line. He gets checked there at the line. Jakub Dobeš behind the net, fires it around the boards, tries to get it out, but no, it's Buffalo who once again keeps in the offensive zone. There's no pressure on the puck carrier at all right now from Montreal. Buffalo's just getting clean looks at the net, and it's not what you want to see. Caden Gooley's stick gets tied up. I don't think the ref's going to call a trip. He is not, but there's a broken stick. Buffalo gets the puck at the blue line, looking. Ivan Demidov hounding the puck carrier right now. He's hounding Ryan McLeod, and Demidov forces a turnover. So some great defensive zone player from Demidov, but the puck, well, there it is. Demidov pokes it out. So he's making some noise, Jesse. Even if it's not on the offensive end, it's on the defensive end, and that's where you need to really dig in. You need to play on both sides of the puck, and great example of that from Ivan Demidov right there.
And that's where his offensive game is going to be built off of, is making those strong defensive plays from there. And he's going to get his opportunities. Nice to see Ivan Demidov contributing in so many ways, because he's just such a skilled player that has so much to be able to add to this team. Now, that being said, it's like this Habs team, they know what they need to do here in their own zone. It's really about, again, clearing that front of the net, allowing Dobeš to see any shots that are coming against him. It's going to take an unreal shot to be able to beat him. Eliminating those cross-seam passes, give him a clear view. That has to be the path in your defensive zone. But I love that we're looking to get some offensive zone time here right now.
We are for sure, as Slav puts a puck on net and it squeaks loose in front of UPL. And that top line generating a bit of a chance there. A nice flip pass from Suzuki up to Matheson, who put it on net. 10-16. There is a shot on goal there for Montreal. Shots now 29-19 for Buffalo. Jakub Dobeš, 27 saves right now. We're going to read through some people in the chat. Who do they think is going to get the game-winning goal? Newhook says Jason Patrick. Newhook says Richard. Demidov says Mr. Had. Some ridiculous chats in here. Demidov says Danny. Can't score without a shot. Great point, Kurt. We need to put the puck on net, but someone's going to do it. We get Harper if he gets the chance, says Diane. Bolduc, Newhook, Jesse. A lot of Newhook here in the chat, and I kind of love it. People are really high on Alex Newhook, and you know what? Why not? Right? That line hasn't really got to go into 5-on-5, but I think you can see some noise from. Honestly, it's anyone's chance to step up and be that hero, and you know that's what like fairy tales are made of, right? Getting the chance to be that hero in a game 7 as the Sabres score.
They're waving it off.
Well,
they're waving it off. This is the break that we needed right here, boys.
Oh yeah.
This is the break that.
So
they're doing right by Jakub Dobeš. You gotta protect. Show this man some respect at some point here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what happened there. I think let's take a listen here.
Have a listen. Judge for yourself.
So I think there was a whistle. I think they're saying there was a whistle. They're showing the replay. Oh! Yeah, that's not going to be a goal. Oh my goodness. So the ref blew the whistle as the puck squeaked out behind Jakub Dobeš. It got through Dobeš. But Wes McCauley blew it dead before Buffalo could poke it into the net.
Finally, we get a break.
That's right.
Finally, we get a break.
We deserve
out of all this. There was a missed call on Dobeš very much earlier.
Yeah.
Things are balancing out. We'll call it a wash. Now I'll be okay, and I won't be upset with it being 2-2 here. We can say after that play on Dobeš, it is as it should. All is right in the hockey universe. And now both teams are going to get an opportunity to win it here in Game 7 when it really matters. Josh, I refuse to be all doom and gloom here.
No way.
We're under 10 minutes left. Game 7, tie game. You work so hard. If you're telling this Habs team, you're going to get to the second round. You're going to get to Game 7, and it's going to be a tie game. And the Habs, you can say, are you going to take that or are you going to refuse that opportunity? They're going to take that every day of the week. They're going to say, that's the game. That's what you played to be exactly in these type of positions. And it's sometimes hard, right, when, we had this opportunity where we're up 2 goals, as we know, but this is a very young team, and this is being part of the process. But again, right now it's just this great opportunity to really rewrite that chapter and some history here of showing that, okay, even when we have a lead, if a team is able to come back, we're still able to finish them when it really matters. You have to feel like this opportunity isn't going to be lost on the Montreal Canadiens, and they're going to be motivated to finish off this game like they know they can.
Yeah, they really have to be motivated. I mean, Buffalo has kind of been all over Montreal since the end of that first period. Montreal getting some chances, but you got to just put the puck on the net. I'm not sure what's happening. I think they just they start to all right, come on. We got to just hold this lead. It happened a lot this year. It happened a lot the last few years. Montreal gets a lead, and they start playing this prevent game. Okay, we're not going to take risks. We're just gonna play instead of playing their game. But now in a tie game, you don't have a choice. And I think arguably it can be beneficial, right? Montreal's okay, well now we actually need a goal. So we got to head into the offensive zone. Let's see. And guess what? Sure enough, right after Buffalo scored, we had a chance. So right now, it's exactly what Montreal needs to do. There's a whole lot of doomers in this chat. And yeah, wait, what time are you at right now? I think mine went backwards again.
I'm at 9:47 right now.
So am I. Are you seeing the same thing as me here? Dahlin flipping the puck up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Exactly.
We're good because I'm a full 2 minutes behind. I think real time right now. So anyway, I was just making sure. So shots are now 30-19 for Buffalo. As you see, Tage Thompson there. I mean, maybe he just always looks like he's tired, but a fantastic player. But yeah, we got all kinds of fans in chat. Everyone welcome here. So we've got some doomers. We got some people who believe, and that's okay, right? It's all about a balance. We can't expect every single person here to share our opinion, but we're glad that you're enjoying the stream at the very least. 9 minutes 41 seconds left. Alex Carrier at the center ice line. It's Ivan Demidov who sends it up, and the puck is dumped in. Alex Newhook chasing after it with Rasmus Dahlin there, but it's back to Evans who tips it back to the line. Mike Matheson looking over to Jake Evans, down to Ivan Demidov, back to the point. Evans rips a shot. It gets, I think, all the way through, but Samuelson is able to clear it out of the zone, and Evans is trying to get back quick, but quickly Tage Thompson closes in on the puck carrier. Evans, nice cross-ice pass to Newhook, who sends it in deep. I mean, this line already creating some opportunities. Ivan Demidov tries to poke it on net. It's Newhook in the slot, creating some chances, Jesse. We said it. When we need a goal, the team steps up. It's okay, we can't play prevent anymore. Now we need the chance, and Montreal's starting to execute at a pretty decent level.
Yeah, and I love to see, again, Mike Matheson looking to just funnel some pucks towards the net. It's definitely a good look here as its third period creeps on. But getting those offensive zone time and that presence is huge because momentum can shift very quickly here from one side to the other. So the opportunity is there for the Montreal Canadiens to claim it right now.
It really, really is. And you can see Lane Hutson playing with a purpose, just taking the puck himself, skating past half the players on the ice, getting it into the offensive zone as he now has it behind his own net, though Alex Tuch manages to emerge with it in front of the net. Back to the point is Bowen Byram with a nice little sidestep, heading it on Dobeš. He's getting a little close, fires a backhand high. It's going to hit the netting, and with 8:23 left, we get another whistle. It's going to be a face-off next to Jakob Dobeš, I believe. So right now, Montreal, we talked about it, you need to bounce back. I don't know. Is it that they play better in a tie game or when they're from behind because they need now to go out and get a goal and they feel like they don't need a goal when they have a lead? There definitely is a psychological element to that, but it certainly feels like that's passing the eye test in this game. So who knows? I mean, Montreal has been the better team 5-on-5 in this series, so I'm ready to see how they can continue to capitalize on this momentum that they're generating.
It's a young team that's really outperformed expectations, but at the same time is just going through the process of learning what it takes to win really in the playoffs, because outside of Newhook and a couple of choice other players, there's not that ton of that experience for what is a very young team. So I think that it's really part of the process here, and they're just having some huge opportunities to be able to grow. And when it really matters, that being said, Josh, I have faith in this team. Again, when it really matters, and I know it can be easy to feel negative right now. And I know that that's probably some Habs fans are feeling that way only because they truly care. They've been through this roller coaster, and we're just trying to, protect ourselves a little bit when you care about a team quite a bit. Now, that being said, all is not done, and you got to really remain positive and feed that positive energy to the team, because it's truly contagious, and that's where the magic happens for the Montreal Canadiens. You got to feel like Marty's not giving up. The boys aren't either, and they're going to be playing their best hockey to finish this one off.
They definitely are, though a Phil Deneau turnover behind his own net led to a prime opportunity for Constantine, who's been honestly a bit of a gamer in this series. The rookie stepping up, called up, playing in his first playoff series, and my goodness, does he look good. But right now it's Dobeš, who looks better because he is better. It's Jakub freaking Dobeš, baby. The brick wall himself has been unbelievable so far, and even these little mistakes, Dobeš is able to bail us out a bit. 31-20 the shots. Dobeš with 29 saves as the top line is back out there. And who else but Nick Suzuki? And sends a pass in front of the net. Caufield couldn't quite get to it as Lane Hutson sends it over to Noah Dobson. Back over to Suzuki. Tips it to the point for Hutson, who wires it on net. It deflects about 3 times. But it's Slafkovsky now fighting for it behind the net. Suzuki, Caufield, and Slafkovsky all in the same corner looking for the puck. Slafkovsky relocates behind the net. Someone's stick got lost in the scrum here. I think it might actually be... No, it's the Sabres player, I believe. But Buffalo emerges with it, and they're coming out the other way. There was a... Slav kind of poked at a loose stick there. I was hoping that nothing weird happened there. That should be... That was interesting. Beck Malenstein kind of didn't even go for the puck and just decided to shove Hutson into the boards, but didn't matter as we were under 7 minutes left. A screen shot nearly gets through to Dobeš, but who else, Jesse? Cole Caufield once again with a great defensive play to help Montreal get a clutch clear once again, and is going to hopefully here, help the top line get a change. He has been really, really good in this game tonight.
Those small little details are so huge, and we've seen that multiple times in this game here, and that's why we're staying hopeful when, the top offensive players for Montreal Canadiens are also contributing defensively. Then you got to feel really good.
Yeah. Exactly, and Montreal is generating a whole lot of opportunity in the offensive zone now. We can't quite get the clean shots away, but consistent pressure is what we've needed. And it really just seems like Montreal plays better when they're not leading. Like, they don't play great with the lead, but they show a replay of this Hutson shot. It was actually a great tip by Slafkovsky that just got tipped wide. Oh my goodness. I mean, this game, it's coming down to it. Hey, make sure if you're watching right now, you are subscribed. We're 20 subscribers away from 27,000. That's our big goal for this stream tonight. We got over 300 people tuning in, watching this game with us, and we got videos every single day, often twice a day, all playoffs. No matter what happens tonight, every single day, the rest of the playoffs, all off-season long, you have no reason not to click that subscribe button. It's completely free. We're going to be here for you. The most consistent channel out there, baby. Let's go. Ivan Demidov in the offensive zone fighting for the puck. Really, right now, Jesse, I'm actually feeling fantastic with how Montreal is responding to this game being tied. The pressure is there. Buffalo looking a little tired. You have to wonder, did they use a whole lot of their energy, their adrenaline, to get those 2 goals to come back in this game? And is it Montreal's chance now in the last 6 minutes to put on some serious pressure and try and break through?
For sure, and they're going to look to do that by getting out wide right now. Buffalo's playing a 2-1-2, a little bit more of an aggressive forecheck, but if they can just break that first wave, there's going to be some opportunities to establish themselves in the offensive zone like we're seeing right now.
Absolutely. Phil Deneau taking it behind the net. He looks poised. He knows he's made a few mistakes in this game, but he also has a goal. He's been very solid throughout these entire playoffs, so we'll give him a bit of a pass as the puck gets cycled back around to Buffalo, and it looks like it's going to... Oh, no, it almost squeaked out to the point, but it's Ryan McLeod who steps around Mike Matheson, coming into the Habs zone, passes it back to the streaking Sabres player in the slot. It's Rasmus Dahlin, but once again, it's Jakub Dobeš who just calmly squeezes the puck. Let's take a break. Let's head to commercial. Jakub Dobeš. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're showing that replay of the Buffalo goal that was not. But right now, 2-2. 5 minutes left. How are we feeling in chat? Oh my goodness. This is the time where you gotta lock in. You gotta play. Montreal's playing a much better style of hockey here, Jesse. And we know how they fared in some clutch games late. I think they have that clutch gene. So I'm excited to see how they continue these last 5 minutes and overtime if it must come to it.
And let's go in here in the chat. Dobie. Dobie.
Let's go.
Honestly,
Let's
get
go.
your Dobies here in the chat because this guy is just so big for us when it matters. If the Montreal Canadiens are winning this game, it's going to be largely in part to his effort, to his mentality, to his resiliency, to his sheer absolute complete refusal to be intimidated and to be eliminated in this game here. I think the Montreal Canadiens, when it matters here, again, it's just a matter sometimes of who really wants it the most. Jakub Dobeš, I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find a player here on the ice that wants this W more than Jakub Dobeš here tonight.
Completely agree. I mean, this dude, him and maybe Lane Hutson, but you know how bad everyone on this Habs team wants to win this game. Like again, like Gallagher is just in the stands, like, bro, I wish I was out there. I bet Marty is probably like, man, I wish I was out there. Like these guys, this is what you live for as a player. 5 minutes left. Every single person who's ever played any sport, tie game, just a couple minutes left, the game's coming to a close. You imagine yourself when you're young being that guy to go out there, score that goal, to win your team the game, to win your team the series. This is what dreams are made of right here. This is what everyone wants to have happen. The true gamers want to step up at this level. So far, Jakub Dobeš up to the challenge. Lane Hutson, we've seen him lock in this third period. The top line looking good, especially Cole Caufield. I think Caufield might just have to break through in this one. He looks so good. He's all over the puck again. He's been robbed by UPL on multiple occasions. Montreal has 2 breakaways that they haven't scored on. It's all going to come down to this. 5 minutes left. The puck's about to be dropped. The Sabres crowd is going nuts right now as the puck is, okay, it's recovered by Buffalo, and it's Zach Benson, who's had a relatively quiet night himself, but he's going to be one of those guys. He's one of those guys that's going to give his all in these last few minutes, make it as tough as he can on Montreal. But it's Tage Thompson fighting along the boards here with Alex Carrier. Josh Norris tips it back to the point. Rasmus Dahlin breaks his stick on a point shot, though there's a wrap attempt, squeaks out in front, but with the broken stick, the Sabres were not able to do much there, and it's Slafkovsky up to Suzuki. Top line out there, Jesse. Marty is going to rely on them a lot going forward in this third period. As Slav creates a turnover, chance in front, and it's just deflected into the corner. Top line, Jesse, we've been talking about it all game. This is their time to shine and finally break through.
I don't know about you, Josh, but in a 2-2 game here in Game 7, I'm having a great time. Has this been a roller coaster a little bit all over the place? Absolutely. But we see the top line buzzing, getting their opportunities in front of the net. That's exactly what I want to see by the players that need to be supplying this for the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh my God, it's unreal. As Suzuki pressures Dahlin into nearly turning the puck over, but it's Byram who's sending the Sabres out the other way. A little 3-on-2 chance here. Pokes it up to Jack Quinn. Tries to send it into the middle to Konsta-Helenus, but guess who? Ivan Demidov, who just jumped on the ice, is able to intercept it. Brings it into the offensive zone. Over to Jake Evans. Can't quite get the pass through. A great defensive stick there by Bowen Byram. And now it is the Sabres the other way, Jesse. A whole lot of back and forth hockey, though. You're going to see some shorter shifts. The guys need to stay fresh. They don't want to get caught out there on a long shift, right? You see Helenus out there had one offensive chance, and he's back on the bench. So right now, you don't want to be the guy that's caught out there or that forces your team into a prolonged, defensive zone time here. So you're going to see some quick shifts. You're going to see the top line out a whole lot as we're down to just about 3.5 minutes left in this one. I mean, the tension could not be higher.
And the fact that it's like I'm seeing some open ice for the Montreal Canadiens, which is getting me excited because we know that means speed, which again, we know the Sabres like to play that as well. I'm not focused on them. I'm focused on the Habs game and what's allowed us to be successful all year long. So just seeing those open pockets on the ice here, Josh, is getting me excited.
For sure, as Dahlin gets a good look, but it's deflected up into the netting. Shots 32-20 for Buffalo right now, but the Habs getting some more good chances here. Slafkovsky with fantastic forecheck there as Caufield was, you could argue that's a hook on Owen Power. I don't know. He kind of had his stick on the ice, but it is what it is. But a great block by Josh Anderson, who gets some good shot blocks. Cole Caufield, Jesse, 7 shot attempts tonight, 5 shots on net. Cole Caufield has a quarter of the Montreal Canadiens' total shots tonight. That just tells you how much he's been around the puck as the Habs do win the faceoff. It's Phil Deneau, because of course it is on the left side. Oh, and it's a bit of a break here for Josh Anderson. And he's taken down again, but the refs are not going to call it. I'm going to need to see another replay on that one because Anderson was taken down on a partial break. He looked unhappy. He's slammed into the boards multiple times, but you got to get back on defense. The Sabres now have it in the Habs zone. Lane Hutson fighting with Zach Benson, 2 of the biggest guys on the ice going at it, of course. But it's the Habs who managed to get out here in up to center. Texie dumps it in. Jesse, I don't know about you, but I thought he got taken out. We might have to see another replay, though. That was a close one.
he's getting his opportunities, and that one might have been he might have a little bit of a better case to say that he might have been taken down there. We gotta love Power Horse. This is what he does, right? He's going hard to the net. We're creating those opportunities. We're knocking. If we keep knocking hard enough, that door is gonna open.
Oh, Juraj Slafkovsky with a rough turnover there as Buffalo's coming the other way. As Jordan Greenway who sends it into the slot. Nothing doing. Slafkovsky with a great stick to bat the puck away, though it's the Sabres who come away with it. Right now with under 2 minutes to go in the third period, a one-time shot by Timmins. Couldn't get through. Suzuki sees Caufield. Nearly a break there, but they're going to reset. They're going to get a change, and Slafkovsky's going to pressure Byram to force him to make a decision. Slaf's going to go off for a change. A minute 45 left in the third period, Jesse. Jack Quinn chipping it up. I'm not going to say OT yet because there's still lots of hockey to play. We're going to have to wait and see. Marty relying heavily on the Demidov line and the top line here in the last few minutes. Of course, you're going to see Deneau out there with Anderson for these defensive zone faceoffs, but, Marty needs offense, and he knows where to get it.
Yeah, and really relying on the big guys to be there when we need them the most. And on the back end, Dobesh is just emanating calmness right now, which I think is just so important, not only for him and his play, but also here for the Montreal Canadiens. I think that just that effect that he has just from that energy that he brings into the game. So I'm liking the body language I'm seeing right now from Dobie.
I completely agree. The dude is just always calm. Even when he gets run over, he's like, hey, ref, do you mind calling that next time, please? He's just like, hey, I just chat with the ref all the time. As Montreal does dump it down, that is going to be called for an icing. Caden Gooley, another icing that maybe is a bit unforced. Not what you want to do here with about 50 seconds left in the game. Now, we're going to see a replay, Jesse, of Josh Anderson as he just, oh my goodness, got out in front of the pack. Maybe. I don't know. Owen Power stick. It hits Josh Anderson's shin. I don't think that caused him to fall. I think he just lost an edge again. I think that, unfortunately, might be the right call to, as a ref, not call that. But hey, you know what? Great opportunity by Anderson. He has been everywhere tonight, and he's been a massive force for Montreal, as has been the case in pretty much every playoff run while he's been on the team.
And a huge opportunity there where if the Sabres defenseman maybe isn't even getting that rebound, that's maybe going in the back of the net as well. So got to love guys like Anderson being big opportunities here. And I think it's important that we call them out, that we remember them here in Game 7. Who are the type of guys that have been able to get us here in this moment? It's been guys like Josh Anderson, guys like Alex Newhook, Dobesh. So that's who we're really going to be relying upon most in some of these clutch moments.
Absolutely. And with 15 seconds left, the Montreal Canadiens do get a clear. It's Alex Texier fighting for the puck at center. 10 seconds to go. Texier dumps it in. And, I mean, could you script it any better? It's going to overtime. We're approaching midnight here in Newfoundland, and we're much later where you are. And, Jesse, a 2-2 tie. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen has been great through second and third period. Jakub Dobesh, even better through this whole game. I can't find the words, is what I can't find. What are we feeling? I don't know. I don't know what to feel. Jesse, OT in Game 7. I mean, heroes are made in these situations. When was the last time the Habs had an OT in Game 7? I don't even know. This is, I'm not scared. I'm confident, but this game might be the end of me here tonight. I don't know how I'm going to sleep at all no matter what happens. I'm either going to be so excited or so devastated one way or the other.
This is what the Habs magic is made of. And again, this season has just been so incredibly entertaining. The Montreal Canadiens have been one of the best hockey teams to watch, just from the offense, the style of hockey that they play, so enjoyable. Young stars like Lane Hutson, Cole Caufield, etc. And I think it's only right that they're just going to treat us once again to just a fine display of hockey here. And a large part here, it's like, you know what, it's hard to really fault the Montreal Canadiens. I think it's just two teams really here in the later stages of the playoffs trying to put forth their strongest effort. And again, we're coming down to the wire here in Game 7. And in a lot of ways, although the Montreal Canadiens the Sabres, were able to tie this later on in the game, they were able to find back a little bit of what made them successful, I feel, here later on in that third period. And the big question is, can they really bring that over into that overtime period? That's just going to be so huge. Like, we see what Buffalo is doing right now. So they're looking to get the puck in the offensive zone and really just play that puck possession type of game, right? Like, just hold on to the puck, get somebody in front and kind of chip it to them and just play that type of game. right now. So I think just really since they're looking to be like play that puck possession style, again, it's just you're just gonna have to hold down defensively. It's not by like making some risky plays and trying to go for the puck. It's just hold it down defensively. They're gonna maybe look to play that puck possession style, just be in your right spots, counter at the right time, and then I think we're gonna have some opportunities for some rushes going the other way.
Yeah, you absolutely are gonna have some opportunities, and like this is where I don't know what it is, but Montreal seems to play better when the game is tied or they're behind. So I'm gonna put OT. I guess third intermission. Like I guess third intermission. But like in a tie game, it's interesting, right? When Buffalo's behind, they get all the momentum, they come back. When Montreal's behind, they get the momentum, they come back. When it's even strength, Montreal has been the better team. They straight up have been the better team. Buffalo has not been a great overtime team this year. So actually, I'm gonna take a look here. NHL standings. I'm gonna check on this because I might be talking out of my butt here. Let's take a look because I think we can see the OT record, right? So Buffalo this year have 9 OT losses. Where do I see it? They're 5-1 in the shootout, but that doesn't count. Regulation wins 42. Okay, I mean they had 8 OT wins. Oh no, 5 of them were shootout. Oh yeah, okay. So they had 8 wins past regulation, 5 of them shootouts. They had 3 OT wins, 9 OT losses this year. Buffalo 3-9 specifically in 3-8, sorry, specifically in OT this year. They have not been, but that's 3v3. 5v5 is completely different, right? So like it's not really the same, but still, clutch gene stuff. That is what it is. But right now, yeah, this game is absolutely unbelievable. I'm taking a look. There have been so according to Google search, I don't know if this is true. Until today, there have been 31 game 7s that required overtime. So this would be the 32nd time that a game 7 required overtime. That's some NHL history. So I'm gonna check here. All-time game 7 history. Let's see. I mean, I don't know the last time one went to OT, Jesse, but okay, the last game 7 that went to OT was last year, Winnipeg versus St. Louis. So Montreal has a chance to do that. I mean, we know what happened in that game, but other than that one, the last one before that, okay, 2024 Boston-Toronto game 7. So these games, you remember them. NHL fans, hockey fans remember them. This is, again, is what dreams are made of. Who do we got scoring the OT winner? I'm going Caufield, Jesse. I don't know who you got, but I feel like it has to be Mr. Saturday night on a Monday.
I don't know why Alex Texier is just coming to me right now, but he has been good in the playoffs just at certain moments when it really matters. Again, it's just, this is the moments that we truly live for, right? Like this is the drama when we're following this team year after year, season in the off season. It's for these moments here. May I remind the chat once again, it's this game 7 overtime periods. And again, the Montreal Canadiens have a solid opportunity to be able to advance, to be able to play the Carolina Hurricanes in that next round in the Eastern Conference Finals. And how absolutely nuts would the city of Montreal, scratch that, the entire city of Canada be if the Habs are able to win this after such a dramatic game? All of Canada right now is watching this. Habs fans across the world are glued to their seats right now, seeing how is this game going to play out here tonight, because obviously there's going to be just so many reasons to celebrate. If the boys can really pull it out when it matters, they're going to have an opportunity here to really be able to do that. And I think, again, it's just building off that strong play like they had in that first period is going to be the playbook for them. And just playing that really strong forecheck game, supporting each other, and really that's going to do the work for them.
It really is supporting each other, just playing the game that we saw at the end of that third period and to start this game. Like the bookends of this game have been great. The middle, man, when Montreal's tied, they're great. Like that's why I'm excited here. And based off some quick research, Jesse, on the side, it appears to my eye that this is Montreal's first game 7 overtime since they lost to Boston in 2011. So it's been a while, 15 years since Montreal has had a game 7 overtime. Unbelievable stuff. And I'm going to run through some of the chats here now in a moment, but this is unbelievable. I'm going to bring that up on the screen so you guys can see it. I also have some stats from regulation time in the game. I might also have to run to pee in a moment because holy crap, this is I've been drinking a lot of fluids, talking a lot here. Game 7 OT. Okay, I'm going to put this up on the screen. But yeah, here we go. Montreal's first Game 7 overtime since versus Boston 2011. Montreal lost that game. I don't know. I don't want to go back until they win one here. I don't know the last time they won a Game 7 in overtime. I can keep scrolling a bit, but the thing is, the Habs, like, they have an all-time pretty good record in Game 7s. This team has a pretty all-time good record in clutch moments, wouldn't you say? And I think this Montreal Canadiens team is just very well built to handle what Buffalo has to offer. We saw that throughout this series, minus like last game. And the one guy that I think is really going to be the biggest difference maker here is Jakub Dobeš, Jesse. He saved 2 goals above expected in this game already. Like, he's so...
And I really feel like, oh, it's so true, Josh. Like, it's a great point. Like, you're reading my mind exactly. Like, Jakub Dobeš is really, I feel like he's going to refuse to get scored upon here in this overtime. Like, he's really going to take over the game, I feel like, when it matters the most. This guy is just a gamer. Like, the compete level from this guy is absolutely through the roof. If you're asking me who I think has a better chance to be scored upon in this overtime period, UPL or Jakub Dobeš, based on the way that this entire playoff series has been played, I'm going to go that UPL has a much higher chance of getting scored on than Jakub Dobeš.
I would completely agree with you. UPL has not had fantastic numbers. I mean, Jakub Dobeš, the save percentage, unbelievable. He was already second only to Freddie Anderson in goals saved above expected for the whole playoffs coming into this one. And he's just compounding on that. It's been unbelievable. We're going to go through some of the chats here. I'm going to try and shout out some of the wonderful chatters. A lot of people with different guesses here. Look, so a lot of people saying Hutson, Doc, oh my goodness, Anderson, Texier. Keep telling you, it's going to be Newhook. It's going to be someone we don't expect to score like Carrier. You know, I remember back years ago in the COVID, we had Eric Gustafsson. It wasn't an OT winner, but he had a clutch goal for the Habs. Like, these kind of things, right? They happen. Who's going to be the next hero? I don't know. Like, it could be a folk legend. What, Oliver Kapanen, Jesse? We might see him get a couple shifts here in overtime. Kirby Doc, wouldn't that be a story? Shut these Buffalo fans up. It'll be incredible. Canadian Dude is saying, I wonder if the head knock on Doby contributed to the second goal. Maybe, but Doby looked pretty locked in after that anyway, so I think we're good. They started double shifting Suzuki and sitting Cappy. Yeah, and that's going to be something I think we'll see a lot. I wouldn't shock me, Jesse. In overtime, like, these are these games where you start to see these ridiculous minutes played stats. And I wonder about a guy like Lane Hutson, right? Because he leads the Montreal Canadiens in ice time with 27 minutes tonight. He's second only behind Rasmus Dahlin, who played 28 minutes tonight. I think Hudson's going to be on the ice as much as they can get him out there. Arbor Jack has only played 2 minutes tonight. Oliver Kapanen under 5 minutes. Bolduc, even though he has a goal, he's only been out there for 7.5. He's also a -1 on the night. So I don't know. It just feels like the kind of night where Suzuki, who was already played, Jesse, 25 minutes in regulation. Like, him and Hutson are going to be out there as much as Marty can possibly give them, because they know, like, you got to just leave everything on the table here. You cannot afford to leave this game thinking, I could have given it a little bit more,
These are the type of game where Lane Hutson truly thrives. We know that he's the type of guy that can't get enough of hockey, right? Whether that's obviously practicing or game days, he's just always the first one on the ice, the last one to leave it. And it's when you're that type of player that you put so many reps in that it's going to really matter here at the Game 7, because often when you're in these type of moments, you're going to default to your highest level of training. When you're a guy like Lane Hutson, you're putting those reps in just all the time. We know Ivan Demidov, one of his best buds, doing the same thing. It's like those type of players that can really kind of perform under that pressure when obviously you're just, there's so much fatigue setting in. It's that muscle memory that Lane Hudson's been able to develop that may allow him to separate himself from the competition in this overtime.
Yeah, I think he really will be able to. You know what? I might not be able to help it. I might have to step away for a moment to run to use the washroom. So I'll be back literally as quick as I can, but we're 6 minutes away. So sorry to leave you here. Everyone in chat, as I'm going, by the time I come back, what should even the question be? Like, let's say one word, right? One word. Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna put up a poll. Who's gonna win this game? That's the simple way to do it, right? Who's gonna win this game? Who will win? It's simple. Is it gonna be Montreal or is it gonna be Buffalo? And I'll be back in just a moment. I'm sure you guys all understand nature calls. I'm not gonna go into any more detail than that. We all get here. I'll be back as soon as I can, Jesse. I promise.
And that's not a problem. You know what? Because this team is all about supporting each other. And that's why I'm feeling so good, chat, like going into this overtime period. Because this team just exudes heart when it truly matters. And that's from the top down, whether we're talking about Martin St. Louis, whether we're talking to Caden Gooley stepping up at the blue line, or Jakub Dobeš really holding it down on the back end. Like, this is this time for this Montreal Canadiens team to really, again, just show what they're made of out of at this most important time. And I truly believe here, when it matters for the Montreal Canadiens, they're going to answer the bell. I do not believe, and let me know, like, who do you think is going to be the guy to score here in this overtime? But I don't think that this Montreal Canadiens team, they're not going to be going on their back. They're not going to be whimpering out of this playoff series. We've seen from Martin St. Louis the type of heart that he's really bringing to this team. It's contagious. The boys, they're going to be ready to go. They're going to be leaving it all out on everything that they have and really emptying the tank here. And we know that that wasn't the strongest second period here today, but there's really those ebbs and flows in the game, right? And it's just about really, I think it's going to be holding it down, playing that strong defensive game here in the meantime, because when the overtime period, it's a very tight game. We're going to need to double down really on that defense and know just if we're able to really just keep that good positioning, that our opportunities are going to be coming the other way. So again, in overtime, you can really feel like it's that time where you might want to get overzealous and what can we do and to be that difference maker. But it's going to be here in overtime where, once again, this tight game here in Game 7, we've been saying all along, the mantra is really defense. I think it's about really holding that down, but obviously pre-handling a lot of the issues in the neutral zone, so we're not having to defend against, because we know over the course of the game, chat, like, obviously, like, you guys have played a lot of sports in the past, right? Like, it can be very fatiguing sometimes when you're having to play a lot of defense. At the same time, this Montreal Canadiens team, they're going to be motivated to really get the puck, go on the other way, and get some of that positive momentum here. We're going to look for boys like Lane Hutson, obviously, to be the guys that are really driving the play for the Montreal Canadiens here to establish that offensive zone time. We know these young legs for the Montreal Canadiens are really going to matter so much as this game is going on. They're obviously, they're very young, so that's going to help them and keep them poised here to really bring the pace here in the third period. I want to be bringing the game to the Buffalo Sabres here in this overtime period.
The young legs is a fantastic point as I seamlessly transition back into this. The young legs is very important because, you know, like, you just straight up, you can go faster. Guys like Alex Newhook, guys like Lane Hutson, Ivan Demidov, whoever it is, like, these guys are going to be able to do it. And you can actually see, like, as this game has gone on, the Newhook, Evans, Demidov line, just in that third period, when they were on the ice, they were generating some crazy chances, right? They were down after the first period. They only had 10% of the expected goal share. And now in this third period, now it's gone up to 51.1% of the expected goal share. Unbelievable. As I'm going to fix the camera here. There we go. A little bit up. Yes, sir. There we go. We're going to get you cropped up. Because when the game goes to overtime, the batteries run low, folks. This is what happens. Because the Habs are incapable of finishing games in regulation. It's just wonderful. But yeah, right now, like, you can see the top line, Slafkovsky, Suzuki, Caufield, 68% of the expected goals. Newhook, Evans, Demidov. I mean, it's one of these lines, Jesse, like, I have to think that they're going to get some extra time here in overtime, but I wonder, too, if Marty's going to start double shifting guys like Suzuki over Evans every now and then, or little things like this to try and just spark some extra offense.
Because, Josh, I think a goal is going to be scored here within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that there's going to be offense here for the taking. And so to be opportunistic at the right times and maybe double shifted Nick Suzuki with Ivan Demidov is absolutely, I think, a really good take on what Martin St. Louis might be looking to do to create some offense here in the overtime. We're going to need to be creative. Look for Marty to mash things up a little bit.
I'm so excited for Marty to mash things up. By the way, guys, we're only 15 subscribers away from 27,000, and we got a lot of you.
I'm getting puck drop right.
Oh goodness!
Now on my end.
Okay, and there we go. So I'm maybe a couple seconds. There we go. Okay, good enough. Close enough. Oh my goodness. Why does my stream always do that? What is going on? Okay. Let me get back here. Overtime and time. There we go. 20 minutes. So you're at what time, Jesse? If you don't mind saying.
I'm actually just at 1950 right now.
Oh, 1950. Okay, let me go back a bit. And I'm at 46, 45, 44, 43.
I'm at 30. I'm at actually 1930, 24 right now. Excuse me.
1924. Okay, I'll pause it at 15. Tell me when you get to 15.
And we're there right now.
Cool. So now we're synced up again. There we go, 1915, as there's a shot as from Ivan Demidov, and overtime is underway. I mean, Jesse, you just, I don't know what to feel. Like, I'm excited, but I'm nervous, but it's the Habs' first overtime Game 7 in 15 years. This is not something that you see every day, right? You get one every now and then, like every year or two. You see it in the NHL. Again, we saw it last year. We saw it the year before in the playoffs. But for the Habs, like for any individual team, you don't get it very much. Buffalo has only one Game 7 win in their entire history. That's in 1997. Montreal has a whole lot. I mean, everyone in chat, continue to send your predictions on who will score the OT winner. I'm starting to feel the nerves in my belly a little bit here.
And you got to, right? Because that's how you care. And that shows that you care about this team. And that's obviously how we want to feel. And we should after all the great hockey that the Montreal Canadiens had played for us so far this year. This is just a great opportunity for this young team once again to prove themselves. Like if we're looking for the playoffs in terms of just like an opportunity to grow and develop, like you really can't ask for more for the Habs. It's the more that they're able to play, the way that they're able to grow, and we see that development from like one game to another. Like from a developmental standpoint, like this playoffs have just been an absolute dream for the Montreal Canadiens. But we're looking to keep it going, Josh. And like I'm seeing some positive signs here early where we're just getting back into that puck possession game, which we know is just so important for the Montreal Canadiens. They have so much skill. If they're going to hold on to the biscuit, good things are going to happen as a result.
Absolutely. All right, well, here we go. Jakob Dovish already making a nice save here. I mean, the Habs just, getting a bit of an offside call. What do I mean a bit of an offside call? An offside call is an offside call. Whatever here. 17:52 left in overtime. Shots 34-22 for Buffalo. Jakob Dovish, 32 saves. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen with 20 saves. Both goalies rocking above that 900 save percentage. Shot attempts are 80-50 for Buffalo as they're showing on the broadcast as Buffalo tries to come out through center, but stifled by Noah Dobson. Sends it to Alex Texier, who sends it deep into the Buffalo zone. As Josh Anderson chasing down Mr. Big Owen Power. I feel like I need to say big because he doesn't play like it, but he is a fantastic player anyway. There's a bit of a board battle here going on, but it's Phil Deneau who wins the board battle because of course it is. Mike Matheson stepping in, looking around, cutting towards the net, sends it in front, but he gets his stick lifted at the last second and he's not able to get that puck into the slot as Buffalo comes out the other way, but it's Matheson who recovers and Buffalo goes off for a change. Matheson stepping up a little bit, Jesse. I mean, that's one of those unheralded guys too. As long as he plays a mature game, we know what he can do when he's able to skate around freely, because Mike Matheson could very well be a big difference maker, maybe for better or for worse in this one.
And there's a couple times in this game where we're seeing Mike Matheson having the puck on his backhand, curling towards the net, and he is making himself look dangerous when he's doing that. So we know, obviously, defensively, he's really kind of gone into that role much more, but we're seeing those flashes of the offense here in this game where he can still very much be a difference maker on that side of the ice.
Absolutely. The nerves are riling up in my stomach right now as Cole Caufield has it at the point. He sends it behind the net. It's Juraj Slafkovsky. He's getting shadowed by Rasmus Dahlin, who stops Slafkovsky in his tracks, sends Buffalo out with a 3-on-2. It's Zach Benson through center over to Josh Norris, who trips and falls, loses his footing. Caden Gooley does a great job recovering the puck, sending it behind his own net. Lane Hutson is just going to calm things down. The calm is not really the word I would use to describe Lane Hutson's game most of the time, but he knows when to just take a little breather and take a second. So Lane Hutson is behind his own net. Jakob Dovish doing his little moves there. I'm not really sure what he's doing. He does his own thing. I'll let him do him. Here we go. Habs up through center. It's in behind the Buffalo net. It's Owen Power who gets the puck. It's Alex Newhook who wins the battle. Jake Evans looking in front. Ivan Demidov looking in the slot back to the point. Alex Carrier looking, shooting, tipped just wide the rebound. Look, it's sent in front. Ivan Demidov was there on the doorstep, but the puck could not get through to him. Demidov back to the point. Mike Matheson looking around, sees the broken stick, hesitates, waits a second. Matheson waiting, shooting. It's Alex Tuch without the stick. Tuch's going to get a new one on the bench, but Ivan Demidov heads up play to get the puck back into the Buffalo zone as Tuch was going off. Newhook fires a shot, and he just misses wide. The Habs with some sustained pressure, though, but it's Buffalo racing after it. The icing is called, Jesse, and Montreal is going to head right back into the Buffalo zone. Fans don't like it, but that's the kind of pressure you love to see from this line and from this team.
And that's the type of pressure that is really so important, these type of just plays in terms of getting those offensive zone face-offs, which is just so incredibly important. It's about building that momentum. Now they're getting some good opportunities as a result of that.
Really, for sure. And Mike Matheson, some really heads-up plays. They're a great block, though. But, I mean, Mike Matheson, I mean, you could say classic firing into the shin pads of Alex Tuch and kind of giving him a chance. But, hey, you know, it is what it is there. You know, Mike Matheson with a smart play regardless. You got to put that puck on net. So, getting the puck on net, at least trying to, never a bad thing in my book, as it's Carrier behind, or sorry, Dobson behind his own net. Springs up the wing for Nick Suzuki. He's going to get a whole lot of ice time, though Suzuki stumbles, loses the puck. But Lane Hutson does a great job of winning it back of the line. Buffalo's going to come in. That looked offside, but they didn't call it offside, as it's Consta Helen who's back to the point shot. It gets steered wide and out of play with 14:51. I really thought that was going to be offside, but it's not. Pavel Bure, Demidov, go Sabres, says Orlando. Ask I'm Cat. If quit spamming, or we'll have to time you out. I'm just seeing the letter E in chat. I don't know what that means, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you for being here, by the way. Thank you to Sabres fans and Habs fans here in the chat. We're seeing all the love coming through. 450 people, and if just 10 of you click that free subscribe button for daily Habs content, often multiple times a day, short form as well. We're on all your favorite podcast networks, all that stuff. This is the spot to be for all the latest stuff. Habs are going to move on tonight, and we're going to be doing more of these as the playoffs go along. We don't miss a single day, baby. You have no reason not to click that subscribe button. We'd love to hit 27,000. Let's go. First time I listened to hockey on YouTube, says Shock, saying, hey, we're pretty good commentators. Cat on keyboard, sorry. Go Habs, even though I'm an Habs fan. That's actually hilarious. The Ask I'm Cat has a cat on the keyboard. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that very, very much, as it's Alex Carrier bringing it in. Josh Anderson rips a shot. Oh, it looked like it got past Luukkonen. I'm not sure if he tipped it behind him. Luukkonen didn't look sure about that one. Alex Texier, Jesse, your pick. Anderson in front, rips it just wide again. Josh Anderson generating the chances. Jesse, you said Texier, and this line's making some noise right now.
You gotta love it. And again, he's shown to be clutch when it really matters here. The skilled Frenchman having some opportunities in this game. You know he's gonna want to get some payback here on UPL, here in overtime, when it truly matters the most.
Oh my goodness, Tage Thompson gets in all alone, but he's not able to put the puck on net. And it looks like Dobish saved it, or I'm not sure what happened. We're about to get a better look. It's deflected out of play with 13:51 left in the period. That was the best chance of overtime so far. The 2-on-1 from Buffalo, right on the heels of Josh Anderson hitting the post on his first shot, and the second shot he hit back-to-back posts, Jesse. Josh Anderson hit back-to-back goal posts, and then immediately Tage Thompson with the toe drag, Jake Evans with the phenomenal defensive play, Jakub Dobish with the great positioning. Nothing can happen, and with 13:51, we're not taking a break. We're going straight into it. What an incredible overtime so far.
And if you're Jakub Dobish, you can't play that better than you did. His position was absolutely perfect. He's leaving no opportunity, tracking the puck so well, competing out there, just doing everything that we expect from Jakub Dobish, looking so tremendously solid between the pipes right now.
Very calm, too. Like, he knew where he needed to be, and as soon as he could stand back up, he did. As the puck is lifted back into the Sabres zone, there's no icing. It's a perfect weight there, as it's Connor Timmins who sends it up the right side. Buffalo coming out in transition is Alex Tuch over the blue line, tries to send it over, but there's no one over there. Lane Hutson gets the puck, but Tuch, the big body he is, fights Hutson for the puck, though it is Suzuki who tries to clear. Once again, a failed clear. Hopefully this one doesn't come back to bite the Canadians, as it's Caden Gooley who does successfully chip it back out to the Buffalo blue line, but Buffalo is right back in the slot for Ryan McLeod. He fires a little slap shot, but hits Gooley's leg, and nothing really happening there. Rasmus Dahlin shooting the puck again, but it's deflected. It's going to go back to UPL, who's going to control it. 13 minutes left in this OT, Jesse. I'm liking what I'm seeing from both teams. It's been a very, very fun game, but I don't know. I feel like Montreal has a slight edge in this one, and I think the nerves, I mean, for both these teams, it's who deals with it best. It's who plays their game the best, and that's honestly, it's all you can ask for in a Game 7 overtime.
Very tight, but the Habs are playing a solid forecheck right now, and whenever a Buffalo Sabres player is getting the puck, there's a Habs player on them immediately. So again, if like what we're looking for, how to see them execute defensively, they're doing exactly what they should be doing right now.
Exactly. Montreal is executing, and we said after the first period, my word for the Habs was execution, and it didn't quite happen in the second and third, but in overtime so far, it's looking good. But overtime, anything can happen. All it takes is one bounce, one play, and you got to be the team that tries to, manipulate the game so that the bounces go your way. As Beck Malenstein's going to try and chase after Dobesh. Dobesh sends it over into the corner behind him for Alex Carrier. It's going to go down to the Buffalo zone. As you can see, Zach Bolduc hounding the puck carrier. Looking. Oh, Bolduc is one of those sneaky guys. You never know what kind of turnover he can force, but it's Jake Evans back into the Buffalo zone. Jake Evans has had a great game so far tonight. Zach Bolduc chips it in behind the goal of the UPL. It's Bolduc, Evans, and Kirby Dach right now, as Oliver Kapanen continues to not see any ice time, as Buffalo does ice the puck with 11:42 left. It looks like Kapanen's probably not going to get any run in this one, Jesse, and if it's not Suzuki double shifting, it looks like it's going to be Jake Evans. So Marty just running with who's playing well, and especially in OT, I think that line of Dach and Bolduc, that kind of duo there, could actually force some real nice turnovers behind Buffalo's net, because you got to think they're nervous handling the puck there in overtime.
Yeah, and the vets really are coming up clutch right now. No surprise that it's a lot of the some of the more veteran players like Josh Anderson for the Montreal Canadiens that are truly shining out for them, not just in the third period, but carrying that over now into the overtime, which is so big. And if you're the Habs, again, it's just you know what you need to do defensively. Here, great to see we're getting another offensive zone time here, but like the Sabres, they're not trying to do anything miraculous here in the offensive zone. If there's nothing there, they're just looking to dump it in and get into some good spaces where they can get the puck. So it's really just about communicating, making some easy passes on your D-men, just making it easy by yourself by not maintaining some huge gaps and just looking to break out the other way.
Exactly. Montreal trying to get some sustained offensive zone time here. This is Alex Texier along the boards. I swear I have to think before I say every time. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Josh Anderson fighting Matthias Samuelsson along the boards here. It's Anderson and Texier fighting in the corner, but it's poked away by Connor Timmins. But it's poked right back in by Lane Hutson, who pinches in at the right time. A centering pass. Ooh, it's deflected. No Hab was nearby, but nothing really doing there, as Lane Hutson is going to go back to collect the puck. He's been out there for a long time right now. But he's the kind of guy, Jesse, that can be out there for the entire overtime, and I think you probably wouldn't even bat an eye. He's one of the guys like a guy like a Quinn Hughes, like a Brock Faber, the two guys in Minnesota who are known, Cale Makar, for getting these ridiculous ice time numbers. Hudson's right up there with them, in my opinion. Ooh, there's a quick shot by Slafkovsky as he tries to be UPL shortside. UPL goes down as there was some contact from a Habs player as Josh Norris comes out the other way. It's Tage Thompson who shoots, but it deflects and does not get to Dobesh. And it's Cole Caufield, a little bit of a 1-on-4, so he's just going to dump it down behind UPL. And yeah, right now, like, these little quick shots that Slafkovsky shot, not that dissimilar from how he scored his overtime winner in Game 1 against Tampa. This one was a one-timer, but the same spot, Jesse. I mean, I think he knows what he likes.
And it might not take a Picasso to really score here in overtime to make the difference. It's really get some pucks on net with some bodies in front and let some bounces help to do the work for you as well. So I like his way of thinking of the way he's attacking right now.
Exactly. Is Jake Evans behind the net looking, this line doing good. A little slap pass to Demidov, and it's just blocked and steered wide. Oh, by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Ivan Demidov was my pick for him or Caufield for an overtime winner. But I think I actually ended up saying Caufield, but I said Demidov earlier for game-winning goal when it was tied earlier. But Mike Matheson fighting Josh Doan. The puck comes out in front of Dobesh, and instead of covering, he just swings it into the corner where Josh Doan is able to recover. Mike Matheson down in that same corner, but he spins away from Doan, and he's looking for his options. Nearly turns it over, but does send it up to center, where it's recollected by the Montreal Canadiens and Alex Texier.
Big clear.
Yeah, it's a big clear there. I mean, great play there by Matheson. A lot of poise there. But it's Helenius who rips a shot. He has looked dangerous. I'm excited to watch his development in the next few years. Hopefully not for this overtime, though. As Montreal gets the puck, it's Alex Texier who's going to tip it in. So far, Jesse, I mean, I've been pretty happy with how Montreal has played in this overtime, and you just gotta continue right now. You just gotta continue. Ivan Demidov has his head in his hands because he knows he probably could have ripped that home, but that's the kind of passion you want to see from all of your players.
Yeah, that's the grade A opportunities that we want to have right in the slot when it matters. Gotta love that great work from Evans on the backhands, being able to find him. Some great vision from there. Evans just continuing his strong play again with the sauce backhand into the slot. You just absolutely have to love that. The boys are getting their opportunities right now, and it's just about maintaining strong defensive positioning. And again, knowing that it's going to come from there. And we know we're bringing up the word defense here quite a bit, but Josh, you can't help but, like, you can't blame us if we feel like the Montreal Canadiens, like, that's what they figured out in their game during the season. Like, the offense was always there. It's when they doubled down on the defense that they truly took off, becoming the team that we're seeing here today. Obviously, they need to remember that identity and double down on it the most here in overtime.
And I think they really will, right? That's what your whole season is just muscle memory. Now, the guys are getting so tired that they don't have a choice but to just go there. The less you think, the better you play. And I think Montreal has the better team. Total time on ice tonight, Rasmus Dahlin leader, 32 minutes, 41 seconds. Lane Hutson second, 31-17. Matheson, 30-57. Suzuki is the only forward in the top 5 of ice time tonight. Suzuki, Jesse, 29-30. He nearly has 30 minutes time on ice. And just for reference, we're at roughly the same point here, yeah? You're seeing Lindy Ruff, the Sabres bench, drinking some water.
I'm actually just at 9:08 right now, but it's okay.
Yeah, so I'm also at 9:08. Just want to make sure that we're... Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because Texier touched that puck, but the refs called an icing. So that's interesting. Let me know when you drop the puck, because then we'll try. Then we'll probably just try and sync up, just in case we are a little bit off. But right now, I'm just seeing Texier skating past, looking, wondering what's going on. It is going to be a face-off in the Montreal Canadiens zone. They're getting ready to line up here. Oh my goodness. Let's go, boys. Let's get it done, says Jason. Absolutely. Make a play. Come on. Everyone is a bit confused. I'm not sure why this face-off has not happened yet. I think the refs were convening. Sure looked like it touched Texier's stick. I'm not really sure. Like, an icing when it touches Texier's stick. Just another little thing, you know. Just another little thing that you don't love to see. But I seem to know lining up. Are you at the face-off dot here now?
We are. And as again, we're at the bottom end now of this overtime period here in Game 7. Let's keep the energy high in the chats. Let's get your hearts for your favorite Habs players. Let's get the Habs vibes going. Let's get the believes going. Let's get who you think is going to the Montreal Canadiens to score this goal. Who's going to be the hero for overtime? Just type in the chat. Who's your favorite Montreal Canadian? All the vibes. All the love is welcome for the boys here. We're looking to rally. This is clutch time right now. And you as a fan is a big part of their success as well. So really own that. Sound off down below who you really feel is going to be the difference maker for the Habs in overtime.
Yes, I want to see all kinds of names. Who's your favorite? Who do you think is going to make a difference? Habs or Buffalo? We got some people saying Buffalo. We got some people saying go Habs, go. But the most important part is that we're all having fun, right? I don't know. Is this fun? I think it is. It's more fun if we win. Let's take a look here. The puck gets onto Dobesh again. Dobesh coming up pretty clutch so far in overtime. Jesse now up to 35 saves. And the further we get into overtime, the less that I'm thinking, okay, it's whichever offense is going to break through first. To me, it's which goalie is going to crack first. Tage Thompson, a little sneaky shot. That is not an easy save from Jakub Dobesh. So, unbelievable stuff here. Shot attempts are 90-58 right now for Montreal. Jesse, this is unbelievably stressful for me. Josh Norris is taking the face-off here against Jake Evans, and Jake Evans wins the... No, he doesn't. It's back to Norris, and a fake one-time slap shot from Rasmus Dahlin. Fighting for Ivan Demidov at the line, fighting for the puck, but it's the Habs out in transition here. Alex Carrier up to Alex Newhook. Newhook rips the shot, and it's in! Alex Newhook scores the Game 7 winner!
Yes!
Newhook, let's go! Alex Newhook, baby! The pride of Newfoundland! Then the Montreal Canadiens are going to the conference finals.
Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm witnessing here. The pride of Newfoundland making us so proud. The Bell Center's absolutely lighting up right now. It is electric. It is the clutch, man. When it matters the most, doubling down for his team, Josh. The one playoff, the one guy that's got the Stanley Cup here on the Montreal Canadiens is bringing us to the Eastern Conference Finals. I cannot believe it.
On the heels of me saying, I mean, we knew it. It's which goalie was going to break first on a very unassuming shot from above the circle. Alex Newhook manages to put it past Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen as we get a replay. Newhook from the top of the circle. It's a weak goal. It just squeaks under the glove hand of Luukkonen. Jesse, you said it. What did you say in overtime? Which goalie did you have more confidence in winning this game for their team? It is Jakub Dobesh. 35 saves on the night. A bit of a screen knuckle puck just under Luukkonen's glove. Poor positioning. We're going to play it again. It's Alex Newhook. First Game 7 road playoff overtime win in Habs history. It's a bit of a specific one, but it's the pride of Newfoundland, baby. Jesse, my phone is exploding. The people know it's Alex Newhook. It's over. Montreal versus Carolina coming up. I cannot believe this. Unbelievable ending to this game.
The Montreal Canadiens are finding a way. They refuse to give up no matter what adversity is coming their way. They just find a way to really buck up when it really matters. And of course, it's a guy like Lane Hutson who's starting to play. No surprise. At the center of just so much success for the Montreal Canadiens, being able to go cross-seam on the ice and really just create some opportunities and create some angles, right? And without that inventiveness of a Lane Hutson just to put this team in a good position to win, without his teammates crashing towards the net, creating just a little bit of havoc on that puck in front of UPL, this team, it's truly taken a team effort, Josh. This has just been so incredible, this run that this team has gone on. Their inability just to quit on a game and just to always stay and believe. You got to just feel so good for Jakub Dobek, just bouncing up and down for everything that he went through for this game. It's just got to be incredibly rewarding for this very young Montreal Canadiens team.
I can't believe it. I mean, being here in Newfoundland, I can't imagine what the conversations are going to be like tomorrow. 8 down, 8 to go, says Mike. And we got some super chats. $43 coming in from Hackdog, guys. That deserves more than 3 likes. Go leave some more likes there. Hackdog, 4-3 series win. Next stop, conference finals. We got some more. I'm going to change the title here right now. Instant reaction. Habs win game 7. Instant reaction. Habs win game 7. Sure, we'll set that as the title. Thank you so much, Hackdog, by the way, for being such a loyal supporter. Just $43 for the 4-3 win. Unbelievably generous. You guys are so kind. Simone Desjardins, re-upping the membership. Alex Newhook, that's right. And Jake Carroll, another $5. Jake, you've been donating so much today. Thank you so much. The Brian and Joy of Newfoundland. I am also a Newfie. Jake's a Newfie. I'm a Newfie. Jesse, honorary Newfie. You got family, right? With everyone in chat is a Newfie on this wonderful night. Mr. Newhook, I cannot believe it. This is, and we just hit 27,000 subscribers to boot. Unbelievable what we are witnessing. Now we gotta play it for Carolina, man. This is exactly what can you imagine at the beginning of this year telling us that the Habs would make the conference finals? Unreal.
And again, feeling good going into it all the same, right? A lot of people are saying that the Carolina Hurricanes, that they're the Air Pants are just going to kind of waltz right in the Stanley Cup Finals. So people saying that, I say, where's their imagination? Every single year, there is one team a lot of the time that you don't expect that's able to insert their name in the conversation and go for a big run. That year, this team is the Montreal Canadiens that you don't expect that are able to make a run, insert themselves in the conversation. And they're going to be well suited here for this matchup against Carolina, having played a very defensive series against Tampa Bay, against a team that's actually won in those circumstances compared to a Carolina. We have faced 2 very difficult series. And again, let's just give let's just say a respectful shout out to the Sabres fans that are here, that are just being a part of enjoying the game. We're going to be good sports. Again, this was a very tough fought series. Like when you just thought it couldn't get any closer after that 7-game series against Tampa, Josh, the boys are able to top it here tonight. The Cardiac kids for a reason, keeping us at the edge of the seats. Always so unreal, whether it's a comeback, just finding ways to win games when it truly matters. Like, what more can you say about this team? We've always believed, we always had the faith, even in the dark days, because we saw the lights at the end of the tunnel. Those signs of positivity were always there, and we were clinging to it. And Josh, and we know here on the channel, we're never quick to throw these players under the bus like you might see sometimes, because we truly believe in these players, because again, here, and they're rewarding us for that here tonight, of always having that belief in them, taking us to the Eastern Conference Finals. This run isn't done yet. Josh, what more can we say about this young Montreal Canadiens team?
There's nothing more to say. I mean, if you look at this, by the way, shout out to Mark or in chat. Mark,
keep the faith.
Keep the faith. Newhook is this year's Claude Lemieux. You know what? Why not? Why not? Like, I kind of is true, right? And Sabres fans are going to have absolute nightmares of Alex Newhook after this series. Like, nightmares, legit nightmares. See you in Carolina, baby. Here we go. I mean, on to Carolina. Simone MTN, another channel member. A lot of channel members coming in here. I'm going to roll one to celebrate this. What a night. You enjoy yourself responsibly. All of you enjoy yourselves responsibly. Habs for the cup, some people saying. I mean, why not? The goalpost won it. Hey, I mean, look, Josh Anderson had 2 goalposts too. Now I can sleep well, people are saying. Unreal stuff. The Montreal Canadiens, Jesse, heading to the conference finals for the first time since 2021. Yeah, and I wanted to agree. Shout out to the Buffalo fans who stopped by. The Poirier's 19, so this is now I can sleep well. Yeah, I mean, I think I have some good sleep there. I can't wait to see that weak goal by the Habs. Hey, we'll see. Montreal 3-0 Carolina? Yeah, we'll win the series in 3. Why not? Nui, only second player in history with 2 game-winning goals in Game 7 in one playoff. That's true. He had the game-winning goal in last game. That's crazy. Second player in history with 2 Game 7 game winners. The most clutch player, like, is Alex Newhook shooting his way. Like, who needs a 2C when you have Alex Newhook, baby? I mean, unbelievable. Like, unreal series by Buffalo. Fantastic fan base as well. The ones that have shown up here have been nothing but kind. They support their team a whole lot. The arena was loud, even if some Montreal fans made their way in there. But what a hard-fought series, you know. I don't think we underestimated Buffalo at all. We knew they'd be tough, but they pushed us to the brink, just like Tampa did. But, I mean, you know, like I was going to say earlier, Jesse, I mean, if you had told me at the start of the season that any team, let alone Montreal, would be the youngest team in history, in modern history, to make the playoffs and make the conference finals in kind of the first year that they even might be a contender, you'd be saying, wow, that's one of the most above expectation seasons I've ever heard of. And right now they're defying the odds. And you know what? There's no signs that this train stopped.
Punching above their weight is what the Montreal Canadiens do. They got into the playoffs last year when really nobody thought it was their business of being in there. Now they showed what they were capable of their potential. Okay, their ceiling much higher than expected, but also arriving much sooner than expected. And aren't we just the beneficiaries of that? Now in the playoffs, that those indicators of there's something special about this team, so young, making noise. Now we're seeing in the playoffs with being 20 million approximately under the salary cap right now. Like, we are not, compared to the other teams that are in these conference finals right now, there is so much that remains untapped with this Montreal Canadiens. And while we want to add, and we'll want to do that here in the offseason, we're going to be careful to mind the chemistry because, again, we said it coming into this overtime, the Montreal Canadiens are more than the sum of the parts. Here they are so much under the cap, and they're finding a way just to do it, that the chemistry's there. It's not like we have that all-star 2C that's holding it down. Just a guy like Evans that's going to bring it offensively and defensively and be there and just clutch moments time after time. And again, it's really the team effort, but it's the depth, Josh. Like, when we see that, it's like a lot of people say that's the depth of teams that like have success in the playoffs. You got to think of the Montreal Canadiens right away because you got that star top line. Like, we have that, but we truly have the depth around us. That's what's going to make us dangerous here. Carolina, they're having a huge break here coming into this next round. I don't think that that's an advantage for them. The Montreal Canadiens are in the pocket. They're staying hot. And I think that that's going to be a competitive advantage coming into the Eastern Conference Finals for the Montreal Canadiens.
It's almost unbelievable to say. Like, fans of any team that's not Montreal, that's not in the playoffs, are like, man, like, what else could you ask for from a franchise in terms of like rebuilding, retooling the way they did? Like, it's actually unbelievable. Mark Orr in chat, an angel just appeared to me and said Connor McDavid just called his agent and told him to get him traded to the Habs. You hear what Bill Guerin said today? He's like, hey, anyone can be traded in this league. Wayne Gretzky got traded. So you wonder, right? Like, so Connor McDavid, I don't know. But we swept the Canes in the regular season. I mean, it's a surreal feeling. This has not happened since we started the channel. The rise of this team so fast, Jesse, from us getting 5th overall pick twice in a row, getting so hyped for Ivan Demidov and David Reinbacher, and then to go to the next year and just to see Slav bloom, and now we got Jarofsky coming in, Hage, and all this stuff. It's like, man, everything about this team is, all the signs say this is still just the start. Like, if this is the start, what is the final product? I think that'll be my last question. Like, what is this team's ceiling? Let us know in the chat. We're here now. Jesse, the Leafs, I hate to bring them up, but like, we made the conference finals before they did in a long time. And like, you know, what is the ceiling of this team? If your team backed like mostly by like rookies and like sophomore, third-year guys, like, it makes the conference finals while, like you said, being like so much under the cap. What even is the ceiling of this team? I honestly don't even know how high it can get.
Speaking for this year, it's a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
The Montreal Canadiens, they are going for the Stanley Cup this year. They're not looking to just punt it towards next year or just be happy to beat the Eastern Conference. Here in the overtime, it could have been really easy. The momentum went the way of the Sabres, and it could have been easy to kind of fold after they were able to tie the game late and just to bring us into the extra period there. The fact like that performance in overtime shows how much it matters for this team. It's not like they were completely outplayed here in overtime and they're able to get a goal. It was just built off good work, off that a good offensive zone time they were building, getting good opportunities. They're in the slot. Demidov's getting robbed, But what do we know? You keep knocking on that door heavy enough, and that door is going to open for you. It's just inevitable at a certain point. But like the Habs, just like again, like their ability to just be so resilient. Like you're a Jakub Dobeš, you're a rookie goalie, and every opportunity that you're having against like some skilled players from the Sabres barreling in on you. And Josh, you're not just protecting your net, you're protecting your net while attacking the opposing player. Like just this mentality from Jakub Dobeš, like if any, like he's the reason why I'm probably the most confident going into the Eastern Conference that we can beat the Carolina Hurricanes. Like we know they've had some solid goaltending on their end. At the same time, it's like I'm looking at Jakub Dobeš and it's just the signs again, like when you're just that big, you're 6'4", you're playing with that much confidence outside of your net. You have that much technique, and then you're that mentally strong. It's just a combination with the power play being as good as it is for the Montreal Canadiens, figuring out the defensive game, being able to hold it down here in a Game 7. Josh, like these are some strong indicators. We can keep going. We can get all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, like why not, right? Now you literally have the two top goalies in goals saved above expected going head-to-head with one another. And you know what that tells me? It's probably not going to go the way we expect. There's probably going to be a lot of high-octane offense because that's what Montreal loves to do. Like, it's always what happens, right? It's like, these playoffs, you throw everything out the window. It's crazy. Now, and I'm also thinking back, like, Sabres fans are probably going to be looking back at that play that was whistled dead. Like, you know, like, there's I didn't even think of that, but, you know, there's no need to think of this right now. Dobie cosplayed as a brick wall tonight. Absolutely, he did. Cheers from Czechia. Oh, shout out to Czechia, where Jakub Dobeš is from. Unbelievable. Is he from Ostrava? I think he is. Either way, shout out to Czechia. Unbelievable. I'm happy for Benson. Go cry and golf with Bills. I mean, look, as much as I started to not like Zach Benson, and a lot of the Sabres players, I can't say that they didn't give it their all. I think he's a little pest, but you know what? I think a lot of teams would love to have him on their team. So, you know, we're not going to disrespect the Sabres around here. Valiant team, valiant effort. Did I love everything they did? No. Do I think some of their players did some questionable stuff? Yeah, but we put that behind us. We shake hands. You move on. Jesse, it's going to be Carolina. Any final thoughts before we wrap this stream up?
It's looking like this is going to be a solid rivalry with the Buffalo Sabres here for years to come. But getting these bragging rights early on, we can't say like how tremendously important that is for the vibes, especially when we're going against other young teams that we're going to look to be in the mix from. Like getting these bragging rights early on, so incredibly important to build upon. And just the experience that the Habs are going to be able to get from this is, again, just so huge of how that's benefiting them. But again, that's not just paying this forward to next year. My final thoughts here today is that all the experience that the Montreal Canadiens are getting in this playoff series, they're going to want to benefit from it this year. They're going to want to take advantage of it, knowing that these opportunities don't come around all the time. There's lots of players, they've worked hard their whole career, never had an opportunity to get to an Eastern Conference Finals. I'm sure that this opportunity is not going to be lost on the Montreal Canadiens, and they're going to be motivated to keep this going.
They absolutely will. And we got another wonderful super chat from Doofus Rex, the Doofus Rex and Muffin Mouse, the tandem. Here's a contribution to the Bring On. Oh boy, hold on. Let me. We got any mods in here? Got to ban someone real quick. Just going to hide the user on the channel. And yeah, wow, that was caught that pretty quick. This is what I do. Oh, you got it. We're good. Anyway, thank you so much to Doofus Rex. Here's a contribution to the Bring On Carolina Fund. Hats off to all the boys. Dobie Dryden, Alex the Great, $22. Jesse, I mean, it's unbelievable the support we've got from fans. Doofus Rex, Muffin Mouse, unbelievable stuff. Yeah, I don't even know what to say anymore. The support the fans have shown for us, for the team, it's been unbelievable. It's what allows us to do this. I see the thank yous in chat, so thank you to everyone who tunes in every single day. Like, we're nothing without you here. I'm so glad we could all share this experience together.
And thank you to Doofus Rex and Muffin Mouse. And so many of you, we feel like we kind of know you without actually never meeting you in person. We're going to definitely change out some live events here in the person and be able to be there to meet with you all, because we honestly do really appreciate the support just in so many ways. And again, there's just so much to celebrate. We thank you again for the good vibes here on the channel. And again, we're here with just feeling so validated with so much really to celebrate. Here tonight. The boys were really able, when it mattered, not to let some bad bounces or a bad period define them, but really able to rewrite their own history, take matters into their own hands. They got to be extremely proud of themselves. At the same time, they're going to reset after this one, knowing that the larger prize is still in play.
Absolutely. The biggest prize, the biggest trophy in all of sports. Cannot wait. Well, that'll do it for this live stream. Thank you all for tuning in every single day. Jesse, conference finals coming up in a few days. I cannot wait. Make sure you're subscribed, tuning in every single day. Thank you for this wonderful stream. 200 likes, 27,000 subscribers. Thank you for being a fan. I'm Josh Gosse, my coach, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you all in the next one.